Welcome to the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast.
If you like a lot of wrestling on the
How you there, pal?
Oh, you dear.
I'm not bad, pal. How you there?
I'm not bad, pal. I'm just here in Oberhausen.
I'm in Oberhausen to watch the wrestling. Here are 17 wrestlers you might not know the name of, but I'm familiar with them because I follow them around the town.
Matthew's not actually here this week. You might have realised he's in Germany at WXW
VXV.
for 16 karat goals.
Suspicious goings on today. Tom Campbell obviously films the Cultaholic SmackDown review with Matthew before coming in here. Or Matthew comes in here.
Yeah.
Matthew hasn't told Tom where he's gone. Tom was expecting Matthew to turn up to the office this morning, and Matthew didn't turn up. We knew he wasn't here, but Tom, his husband, did not know.
Oh my!
I mean, it's scandalous, don't you think?
Well, how was Tom's reaction?
Oh, he's not here, is he? Oh, and he walked out the room.
Oh!
I don't know what he did outside the room, but he came back in the room. So Tom is still with us, but he's taking a knock today.
Oh my!
So yeah, Matthew, you prick.
How's your week been?
Fine, I've got nothing to report. It's been filled with work.
Yes, sir.
Because it's a pay-per-view week.
It's always the weeks that are sandwiched between two pay-per-views that are just hard.
Yeah.
Yes.
Joel's
here as well.
Hiya.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Not bad. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm very sore. I've
Sore?
got sore muscles.
Why?
What have you been doing?
So I've recently been climbing at a climbing
Rock
gym.
climbing.
Yeah, well, bouldering.
What's the difference?
Just bouldering, you're not strapped into a harness or anything, and it's
Well, you
it's
sicko.
Whoa.
How are you going?
not high at all. It's not very high. It's like taller than this. It's like double this room, but still.
What?
What if you fall?
There's mats on the floor. It's fine.
Matt?
Yeah,
You're
it's
like Darby Allin, you.
It's all about you've got to go up a certain route, and there's certain difficulties to the routes and stuff. It's really fun.
How experienced are you? Are you a beginner?
Beginner. This is my second time going, and, I'm really, really hurting now.
Are the ones who are like really good at it? Are they like the stereotypical like hippie, like
Long hair,
tank top?
Yeah.
drink humor.
Hey
Yeah.
dudes, you just got to feel one with nature.
Yeah,
dudes.
but also I went the other day, and there were kids that were doing it that were better than me, which I felt.
That's natural.
Light body weight, they can hold
Yeah, that's
themselves.
what I
at that.
thought.
Yeah, yeah.
Think about
fearless as well.
Donnie from the Wild Thornberrys. When he grows up, he's not going to be able to do what he can do when he's a kid, can he?
Exactly.
It's natural aging process.
yeah. I suppose so.
What's the goal? Ninja Warrior, the grandest stage of them all.
Yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
What is
it's
the
good
goal?
fun. I don't know.
Why are you doing it?
Oh God, you're right.
What made you start?
Health and fitness, probably.
Well, I did do it like a couple of years ago with my mate, and there's a gym near me that's opened up, and I thought, I'll go, and it's really fun.
Oh, nice.
An old man came up to me last time, and we figured out a route together. It was very sweet.
Oh, that is wholesome.
Yeah, it's nice.
Did he lead the way?
He was better than me.
Oh.
Yeah, I need to get better. It's
Wow.
fun though.
Wow. At least
Come
you've
on,
done
come
something
along.
interesting this week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do a
that's
vlog
about it.
next time. Let us watch what you get.
All
up to.
right.
Like a GoPro on the head.
I feel weird filming in a
Yeah,
in a
GoPro
gym.
on the head and make sure you're very close to like the backside of the old man. Get a good view of his juicy double.
We
you know?
don't climb up behind each other.
Oh, right.
It's one at a time.
Ah.
Fair enough.
So you're like, oh, left hand up there.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you gave a twister, but on a sideways
Yeah,
plane.
and good job. Give him a fist bump.
I should mention, for anybody unaware, if anyone waiting for us to talk about that dastardly John Cena and what he did, check out if you haven't seen it, we did an Elimination Chamber podcast special, which went out on Monday.
Yes.
That's where we. Well, I'm just still heartbroken about it, to be honest.
The signs were there. But it doesn't make it any easier to get used to.
No.
I can't believe they've done it. Because they're going to have to turn him babyface, you would assume, by the year's end when he retires.
Yeah.
He's not going to retire as a heel, is he?
Did you see Meltzer's deleted tweet?
Nope.
Meltzer tweeted out something like, I have received this information personally. The original plan was for Cody Rhodes to turn heel and join The Rock. But Triple H didn't want that to happen. And then he said something like, but Triple H knew that Nick Khan would never side with him versus The Rock's idea. So everyone just convinced Cody just to go, nah. And Cody just said no.
Bloody
So then
hell.
Cena was the second choice. And but then he deleted it. So we don't know how he's
Is that a
retracted it.
retraction? Yeah.
If it is, then fair enough. If it's not, that's 2 years in a row where they've gone for plan B, scrambled something together, and it's far better than what the original plan would have been.
Yeah, a John Cena heel turn at this point would have been much more bigger than a Cody Rhodes heel turn.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
it would,
yeah.
The reaction would have been very interesting to see.
It would have
Cody's
been-
too much of a babyface today.
It would have been interesting, but the Cena one's far more interesting. I think.
Yeah.
Wow. Sorry to just cut off your story just to go right wrestling now.
No, that's good.
It is a wrestling
Yeah,
podcast.
It is a
it's
wrestling podcast.
There's been more
Yeah.
deleted tweet news this week, though. Becky Lynch. Oh,
no.
So obviously on Raw this week, CM Punk was like, "You better come and get your man, Becky Lynch, before I break his neck." Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. And then this saw Becky Lynch go to Twitter and say, maybe I'm not the one who should be getting my man, with a picture of Roxanne Perez and CM Punk, whose gear at Elimination Chamber happened to have the same colour scheme, which means, Jack, that definitely means they're having the canoodles behind the scenes.
It was knowing what some wrestling fans can be like. It's a reckless tweet for Becky Lynch to put out there.
Fantastic.
I'd be fuming if I was
It's a
CM
shame
Punk.
that she's deleted it. If there's nothing there, who cares?
Did you see Cora Jade's response?
Oh, you're a weirdo. Or
Weird
something.
behaviour. Just weird behaviour. Didn't tag Becky in it, but like she's pals with Roxanne Perez.
And she's pals with CM Punk.
Oh, he's a hero. Hero. Not like that. Not pals like that. He's their NXT dad.
He's all the women's dads.
Yeah.
All of them. You never see him taking a picture with a male NXT superstar.
Oh, no.
Imagine
I don't
come
wanna-
Tuesday being there and picking Roxanne Perez to go and sit next to instead.
I don't want to believe this about my hero Phil, so I'm just gonna choose not to.
Oh, there's nothing there.
No, there isn't anything
Until
there.
there's something there, there's nothing there.
It's reckless from Becky, I've got to say.
Fantastic from Becky. It's a shame she backed down. Because when he tweets something like, you can't delete that. You've gone big. You can't then hide it.
Well, as I said on the pitches or the news, I think it was, whatever as long we know what CM Punk's like, and we know that he'll take this in stride, and he won't get petty about this at all.
He'll lock Becky Lynch in the toilet. That's what he'll
He's
do.
gonna batter her.
Like-
no, wait, no, wait,
Whoa!
no. Sorry, I just meant in a wrestling.
just said that,
no,
man. That's
no,
your hero.
I just meant in a wrestling sense. I just meant in the wrestling. Oh my god.
On a game of 2K25 where intergender wrestling is now a thing.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Right, let's do the Hall of Fame.
Oh, doing more news? What's happened this week?
Oh right, God, I don't know. I'm so shaken. I thought we were going to do the news as and when in the wrestling.
We went back to the old format like 3 weeks
I
ago.
thought we'd flip reversed it, as you would say.
Joe,
back to the old
any
one.
news that come out?
I'm really sorry.
This is an absolute travesty.
God, Matthew was the glue.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, we might as well do the Hall of Fame.
AEW and Amazon.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Thank
Right.
you, Joel.
Don't get confused though, dear viewer. You still have to pay for your pay-per-view. The clue is in the title.
And they are still available on like Beta Report, on their usual pay-per-view
Yeah.
stuff as well. Yeah.
So there's a lot of, I think Trevor used it to his advantage, being a heel that he is now in wrestling, saying, "How stupid are you people? Pay-per-views in the name, even though you do have obviously pay for your monthly subscriptions of Prime. You have to pay on top for the AEW pay-per-view because it is pay-per-view.
Yes. Try to think of any other big news.
There's not been much, has there?
It's all been in the wrestling itself.
Yeah.
Fair.
Apparently the Cena heel turn was mapped out last October.
Oh, well, that contradicts
that.
the Meltzer thing massively.
Yes.
Um,
No, the WrestleMania something was mapped out last October. Again, we're flying with no notes.
was it Cody
here.
versus Cena was mapped out last
Potentially.
October? Yeah,
It was on
maybe.
Monday. I remember faintly speaking about it.
Yeah. Oh, good.
So that's a great news segment.
Everybody get excited for the Cultaholic Hall of Fame!
Ah,
Oh,
the Hall of Fame.
the Hall of Fame.
Um,
Everyone's favourite segment, the Hall of Fame.
in condescending order from last week,
Because I don't know what ascending means or descending means.
young John Tender looking like old John Tender, 14%.
I mean, we can say this that Matthew's not here. That's a big bully pick, that.
Well, it's a bully pick,
It's
yeah.
disgusting, really bad.
Flash FM from Grand Theft Auto Vice City, 32%. I'm all right with that. But the winner, with 54%, is Ross's pick. Giant Haystack slamming a man on the cold, hard floor after the man clearly called wrestling fake.
Well, it's a bit of a poo house win for me this week because I've jumped to a conclusion there, but a conclusion which, according to a lol Patreon person, is incorrect.
Yes, this clarification comes from, or like I guess added context, comes from Nathan Metcalf, who says, note for the Hall of Fame. Didn't expect to see UTVs, brackets not Yorkshire Television.
What's U stand for?
I don't
Come
know.
on, you Leeds!
Didn't expect to see UTV's Jackie Fullerton getting slammed by giant haystacks on the Hall of Fame, but here we are. To clarify, if you watch the full video, which is online, he in no way calls it fake and seemed rather up for taking the slam from Big Marty and is only winded by haystacks rather than threatening to sue like Belzer and Stossel. Thank you for reading. Thank you, Nathan Metcalf, for the added
Thank
context
you, Nathan
there.
Metcalf, yeah. Took this to the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast chat, showed it to Matthew, was like, oh, well, obviously Giant Haystacks is a bit of a prick then. Didn't have to do it as hard as he did.
Yeah.
Then Matthew was like, oh, he's protecting the business there, pal.
Oh, Matthew's old school, yeah.
I should just give him a nipple cripple or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
You have to slam him on the floor like that.
It was brutal,
It was.
but it hasn't stopped him from making the Hall of Fame.
Great guy. One of the
Giant
best.
hairsticks, yeah.
I know nothing else about him apart from that story where he had to take the front seat of his car out so he could drive it.
Oh,
So he had to sit in the back seat.
really tall and big people must have a hard time.
Yeah. Well, especially back then. Your Morris Marinas and cars like that.
Yeah.
Oh, if
Robin
you're over
Reliant.
5'6", you're struggling to get your knees in.
You won, so you get to go first.
And I've won this week as well because I have had sent to me, and I'm going to get the name while Joel plays it. It's a full-length video, but I've taken the highlights. It's 1974. Let's take ourselves back to 1974. And a certain world championship is happening, and it's very pertinent to the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast, Joel.
Any diddler worth his salt will be in Kinross today. This man is the crown prince of the diddle, a champion among champions, whose prowess at the diddle has won him many international diddling awards. And so, as silence falls upon the hall, the first diddler takes the stand.
A lot of very, very strong diddlers here today, so it's all now with the judges. And now the crowd rising to what I suppose is a living legend in diddling.
Mind you, diddling can be
This is the final
infectious.
line.
This international contest ended with a communal diddle. Let's face it, diddling is harmless, diddling is fun, and above all, diddling's free.
Diddling free. So thank you to James Erdos, I hope I've pronounced your name correctly there on Instagram, who has found brilliantly BBC archive footage of the 1974 World Diddling Championships. We saw the great of the game there of the diddling. Well, diddling is not, well, it's weird because at the start of the segment, they'll go like, oh, and here's the Crown Prince of Diddling. And he's walking up to every child and like kissing them on the head and stuff, and it's the juxtaposition's horrible. But yes, diddling, which I've not been able to find any more records of any future or past years of the Diddling World Championship.
Yeah, I think this was it, right?
Yeah, this might have been it. It's 1974 and that was it. I don't know if it got rebranded to something else. It's basically when you go diddle-a-lay-diddle-a-lay-diddle-a-lay in a Scottish fashion. But the news reporter back in 1974 definitely knew what he was doing because he mentions it every single time. There's another bit where he's interviewing one of the judges and he's like, well then, are you born a diddler or can you be made a diddler? And then the lady's like, well, you're born a diddler, aren't you? So, when I saw this in my Instagram DMs, I nearly fell off my seat. So it's won the Hall of Fame.
It has won the Hall of Fame.
I can't
It
believe
might
it's
get the
pretty
highest
good.
percentage of the vote in recorded history. I can't believe you're right. Whoever wrote it or the producer knew. What,
Yeah.
There's the emphasis on diddle as well.
Diddle.
Yeah.
Play it again, Joel. I want to hear it. Crank it up, Joel. Unbelievable scenes on
my
BBC.
God.
For the BBC to put
Any
out as
diddler
well.
worth his salt will be in Kinross today. This man is the crown prince of the diddle, a champion
child
among
there.
champions,
There's like
whose
3 more
prowess
kids
at
in
the
the promo
diddle has won
package.
him
Look at
many
that beard.
international diddling awards. And so, as silence falls upon the hall, the first diddler takes the stand.
A lot of very, very strong diddlers here today, so it's all now with the judges. And now
He was
the
crap, by the way.
crowd rising to
So the Crown Prince,
what
he's awful.
Is he?
I suppose is a living legend in diddling.
Mind you,
come
diddling
on.
can be infectious. This international contest ended with a communal diddle. Let's face it, diddling is harmless, diddling is fun, and above all, diddling's free.
Buffle. Just runs away.
So the Crown Prince is literally just, I mean, he would have been about 47 there because that's what they look like, 47-year-olds in 1974.
I was about to say, didn't the 70s look like a crap time to live? What are they doing? Every man looks like Ian Botham for some reason.
I showed Kayla the other day and she's like, isn't it funny that it sort of sounds like King Ross? The town's called
Yeah,
King
yeah,
Ross.
I heard that as
So
well.
Diddlin and King Ross. And she's like, that's funny because of you. I was like, well, nice.
That's like an extra bit of funny, but the main thing there is superb, Ross.
Yeah.
It's a great pick.
Thank you very much.
Thank you to, who was it?
James, I've forgotten.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for putting you on the spot there.
James Ross. James Diddle. We'll call it James Erdos.
James Erdos. What a fantastic pick. Thank you very
He
much.
found it on Reddit somehow.
I was quite optimistic about my pick this week. I thought he was going to do all right, but now there's just no chance.
I mean, there might be just a coup. They might just vote against me because they know it's going to be the winner.
nah. In a way, the Hall of Fame's like golf or darts. You're not playing the team. You're just doing as best as you can.
Yeah.
And I've just come up against like Luke Littler in the form of his. I can't beat that pick.
Yeah.
I am quite proud of my pick. It comes from the Hold and Give YouTube channel.
Whoa. Danger.
No, there's no bad language or anything. It just shows the intensity of.
This moment here. I had a tight chest
So,
after this.
just to give a bit of context, Ross is in a title race with Sunderland AFC. Sunderland. And it's a stressful high-scoring affair against Crystal Palace. He's holding on to a 5-4 lead.
Every game's like that.
And there's an almighty scramble in the box, and Ross's reaction really gets the intensity of the moment across.
Play like West Brom. I've just gone through a very boring FA Cup tie against West Brom for context. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. Clear it.
That's pretty
Christ. But that Cody Gakpo, let me tell you, for Crystal Palace, their centre forward, he's unbelievable.
They've got Gakpo.
They've got Gakpo.
Wow.
Who else? They've got Zinchenko as well. All their wages have gone on 2 players, Crystal Palace.
It's amazing how far computer games or video games have come. But sometimes you do get, even in the most modern FIFA, the animations there with players just falling all over each other and stuff.
It's the worst FIFA for many years.
Oh, really?
I've
In my
heard
humble
that, yeah.
opinion,
I bought it when it came out, and I've played it like twice.
Because at the start of this career mode, Legendary was like physically impossible, so I had to put it down to world class, like the poo house that I am. But then they released a patch, which has made you go back up to Legendary and be able to hold your own, kind of.
Is Legendary the highest?
Second highest.
Second highest, right.
I've not had it go on the highest one. I'm too scared.
Okay.
I mean, look at the state of me there on the second highest. It might be the end.
Do you believe now that, because I've not played FIFA for a long time, but I've heard about all the scripting accusations.
Oh, yes.
Is it true?
Dark Forces I mentioned every week.
I've heard that if you score a goal late on and they take the kick off, there's a really good chance they'll just Barcelona it through you, prime Barcelona and score.
Exactly.
And that looked like that one might be about to happen.
But there are certain games where I rarely win like 3-0, for example. It's always 5-4, 6-4, and they always go 2-0 up. But there's some games where I get humped 5-0. And that's where the Dark Forces come in. Because it's like, what? It's not even against the top team either, because I'm second behind Newcastle, who are top. Chelsea, who are like 6th place, got beat 5-0 at home.
Right.
How does that happen?
It just doesn't.
No.
That's a disgrace.
Newcastle and Sunderland at the top. That's exciting.
Yeah.
That is exciting.
The first game of next week's stream is the second time we had Derby of the season. The first one, Newcastle heartbreakingly won 4-3. Isak with the, as you said there, got an equaliser, I think near the end, and then he went up the other end and just scored straight away.
Wow.
Didn't have time to get an equaliser, but yeah.
Great for the region, though.
Yes, it is fantastic for the football hotbed that is the northeast of England.
Owen told me something the other day. He was talking to, I can't remember, was it you? He said to someone, if Sunderland were in the League Cup final, it was to a Newcastle fan. It was to Aidan, I think. He went, would you want Sunderland to win? And Aidan went, well, no.
No.
And then he said to me, would you want Newcastle? I was like, no. And then he said, yeah, one of Dan Heppel's friends is a Newcastle fan and says that Dan should be at least neutral in the League Cup final.
That's
I know,
how
I
it
don't
works.
understand. I know, yeah, I don't know why.
What's the comparison to make there?
I don't know.
I mean, either.
No.
Something you hate
I wouldn't
is
have
going to
done-
do something well.
When we were in the League Cup final in 2014, I didn't begrudge any of my Newcastle mates for not wanting us to win.
That was the worst week of my life.
Oh, it was I've never felt my heart ripped out like it was that weekend.
I was on loan. I was on my I was on my uni placement at the Sunderland Echo that week. So I had to write 300 words on a turtle with a piece of red and white paper on its back.
Oh,
saying,
yeah, was that
This
then?
is how brilliant it is. I had to go around Sunderland with the Echo's photographer, taking pictures of flags in random people's windows and going, huh, what made you put that in there? Terrible week. But at least they got beat, though.
Oh, right. Oh, great.
There was a period of time where it looked like you might win.
I am terrified.
But then Yaya Toure said hello.
I'm terrified that Newcastle are going to win next week. I know that all your players are missing now.
There's not a chance.
There is a chance.
The entire left-hand side of our team is missing.
There is-
Botman is missing.
It's only Trent you're against.
And Salah.
Oh, aye.
Lewis Hall, who did well against Salah, I thought, at Anfield, he's not there. Yeah. We're going to have either Tino Livramento, who's a bit more attacking and not as defensively sound, or Exmazone, Matty Target, who has missed like 3 months of the season with X-Men.
With X-Men.
Aye.
I forgot he was still
I
there.
thought you said Xma's own. I thought you said Xma Zone. Like highway to Xma Zone.
Apparently what he has been very serious. I'm not making light of it. It's just weird when you hear a footballer miss
Oh, with
matches.
Xma, yeah, fair enough. Well, there's our Hall of Fame. Joel.
No, Joel. You're the third man.
Yeah. Get this, right? I'm going in for the kill.
Are you Levi LaRue?
Yeah. I had something else in mind, but now I think I'm gonna play the numbers, and I think I've got a chance of winning.
Oh,
So I'm gonna do it.
Tactical.
It's quite a heelish
You think
move.
you've got a chance of beating the 1974 Diddler World
Yeah,
Championship?
well, I don't know. People might vote for it.
do you know where you're sat right now? Have you listened to one mailbag with 3 questions and 3 greetings that say,
Hi,
good
Diddler."
evening, diddlers?
Yeah. But I'm gonna nominate, just plain and simple, John Cena's heel turn.
Oh, you absolute rapscallion.
I want to win. I want to win.
You're going to take the Diddling World Championships away from our Hall of Fame.
I've never-
I'm coming back next week with the same pick.
I've never won the Hall of Fame before.
This is a titanic battle now because I think they're really evenly matched. As cheap as that is, yeah.
I think if people are just reading it, they might just go for the.
I'm in last. I'm in third now, but that's fine.
But that's fine.
Oh, this is going to be...
You absolute bitch.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
It's quite a heelish move, isn't it?
Oh.
But, yeah.
Joel's face right now, he's doing the Cena face that he did when he looked at The Rock. I hated that face, by the way.
Scary.
I'm not convinced.
Oh, they can see your face. What am I talking about?
yeah.
Sorry.
I'm not convinced it is John Cena. I think it's someone else.
Yeah, play.
I think it's like a Kurt Angle and other Angle from WrestleMania 19.
Was it Eric?
Eric, yeah. Yeah, that's not John Cena. It's a different man.
What an actor, man.
He's got a pastier complexion as well. That was distracting.
He has for a while.
Yeah.
Oh,
Different
man.
He does look like Dennis Reynolds, like you said. He really does.
Yeah,
The
he
episode
does.
where Dennis has no makeup on it, especially that one, is really.
There's one particular picture that I tweeted side by side. It's not from that episode. It's just when he's doing like a psychotic look across the room.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I don't think I need to say anything.
that's a mad... Oh, you
John
sneaky...
Cena's
You
heel
bad
turn.
You
man.
horrible man.
You are the coldest white man in the podcast room today.
Come on.
Don't F with Joe Holland. He's a bad, bad man.
Yeah.
That was the Hall of Fame segment. I'm quite rattled by that.
Yeah.
So
I was going to nominate Conan O'Brien at the Oscars.
Did he do
That was
well?
my backup. Yeah, he was ace.
I saw the Adam
Really
Sandler
funny.
bit.
Yeah.
You're dressed like a bum.
I saw a picture of him in a hoodie. What was he doing?
That's just
That
how
was
he
the
dresses,
whole
isn't it?
thing, yeah.
And even at the Oscars, he doesn't care. Fair play to him.
Tell you it was good, I thought. I've not seen all of it, but Ben Stiller. He was doing like
I didn't see him.
the presenting for the production award or something like that, and he had like a lift, but it didn't go all the way, so his head was just then. He's just like, "I'm here to present the award for production," and then went all the way down and up. And
That is funny.
It was good.
It was funny. Conan's just funny.
He
You
is.
just need a funny man to present it, and then it works.
Apparently, Adrian Brody's speech was awkward. Went on and on,
It
apparently.
was the longest in Oscars history.
Really?
Longest speech.
That's mad because you get some per category like best, costume design, and all these costume designers get up and speak for 20 seconds and then they play them off.
Well,
But he gets to stand there and
They
do
started playing him off. They started playing his music, and he was like, "No, cut the music."
that. Oh, cut my music.
He's like,
cut
"I've not
my
done it."
Say,
music.
what's his theme? You said playing his music. What's he come out?
Adrian.
So that was the Hall of Fame. I'll get my pick out of the way first because this is a titanic tussle this between Ross and Joel. But my pick is Ross's reaction on Hold and Give this week. I'll just call it that or something.
Yeah,
Ross's pick
The 1974 Diddling World Championships.
and Joel's pick.
John Cena's heel turn.
It's massive.
Don't
that.
why are you shifting your eyes like that? Halfway through saying that, he shifted his eyes like Alexa Bliss does in her pod.
Oh, this is like WrestleMania X7.
It's exciting.
Wow.
It's a big week.
Yeah, that's huge. I can't wait for next week where Matthew might undersell it a bit. Well, why did you pick that? Then? He was like, We've been too mean to Matthew at the start of this one.
No, it's fine. He's not here. He's not going to watch this back.
Yeah, he's not
Oh
listening.
no, of course
is he?
not. No, yeah, it's true. Fair enough then.
Matthew was actually at the 1974 Diddling World Championships. He is the... No, it doesn't matter.
These picks are yours and yours alone if you sign up to vote at patreon.com/cultaholic, which brings me to our wonderful producer.
Get that camera back on you, Joel. I need some
Joel,
help.
you might have to, because I'm reading them out, you might have to join in with Ross on this one.
Can
Right.
do.
Ready? It's Reno 2200. Noah Anderson. Levi
Anderson.
Levi LaRue.
Doing it for the kill. Oh, Joel. He's doing it for the thrill.
Jimmy Gillen.
Gillen, the best a man could get.
Tear of Grace.
Feel the tears on your grace. No one else can feel them for you. Only Brett can let them in. He likes cats. He likes cats.
Lord Bushi.
Hey, Bushy, you're so
I've done
fine.
it again. Hey, Bushy, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind,
Hey,
oh, Bushy.
Oh, and finally, Kendrick Alltop as well.
Hey now, Kendrick Alltop on the Patron. Hey now, Kendrick Alltop on the Patron. Just punched the table, didn't mean to.
Just full on punch
Up the Hall of Fame.
of the Hall of Fame.
Patreon.com/cultaholic if you are that way inclined. That's a weird way to... If you are able to, much
Yeah.
appreciated it will be.
Thank you. It's on to the next segment.
That says, this week in the wrestling. It's this bloody week in the wrestling.
It's time for This Week in Wrestling.
Hopefully the last week where we see Travis Scott.
Oh,
By God.
injuring Cody.
Yeah, he's there with his sage, apparently. That wasn't sage.
Yeah, what is that?
That was the sweet Mary Jane, and you will not tell me otherwise. I
See-
know it was the sage, because he was soothing his being because of what was about to happen or something.
You and Matthew said last week that Cody probably told him to lay it in, pal.
But there's a difference between doing that and then recklessly being off your tits, which he was, because he couldn't. He was like, wait. He didn't know how to hold Cody's arms out straight, and he slapped him, bust his eardrum.
Burst his eardrum?
6 weeks away from WrestleMania.
It's risky, that.
Yeah.
Black Eye as well, did he?
Black
I
Eye.
think it was
Black
Black
Eye,
Eye
yeah.
as well.
They're not even going to tell off Travis Scott because he's a celebrity.
Yeah, but apparently he's now training. He's going to come back 100 pounds heavier with muscles.
100 pounds heavier.
100. Well, he weighs like 5.
Yeah, he's quite a slight man. Yeah, that's true.
It's a little bit. He's such a small man.
He's a very little papoose. Yeah, right. Well, that was awful, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was,
God. Let's talk about SmackDown before this all happened.
Yeah, and a much nicer. No,
No, it's foreboding. When
It's
I
not-
when I watched it back for the notes, I was like, "This is horrible. This knowing what's going to happen."
I was about to say in a much nicer world before what happened at the weekend, but it was the same crap world, but with one less crap thing.
The main event or the last segment is awful. I can't believe they've pulled out this angle and saved it, but they have. Anyway, we see Cody Rhodes arriving at the arena. He is invited to a private locker room, courtesy of The Rock.
I like to.
Ooh.
I found it funny how we were supposed to believe that this is out of character for Cody Rhodes, who of course has a massive, gargantuan private tour bus just for himself.
He
and
stays on
maybe-
his bus during the show.
Maybe
Yeah.
Brandy and maybe little small person
Liberty.
Rhodes. Liberty.
Yeah, he does. When he's not, he's often shown, in fact, during SmackDown, if he's about to have a segment or whatever, he gets off his bus.
Yeah.
That's where he is.
And do you reckon he goes to McDonald's before that with his bus straight and that bus fits around the drive-through?
Maybe,
I don't
yeah.
think so. He's got a buffet on there as well. You can't pull the wool over our eyes, Cody, you formerly poor man who is not poor now.
I was about to bring up a very boring fact about Cody Rhodes there. I'll mention it. Just when you mentioned going to McDonald's before his match, I saw an interview once where he talks about how long before a match should you eat, and it's like 2 or 3 hours or something. But he always gives it 1 hour, like even before that, because he likes to wrestle on a bit of an empty stomach. I was like, oh, it's
I
interesting.
guess that'd be good for bloating purposes.
Yeah, you don't want to feel weighed down, I suppose.
You know, on the brink, do you? When you walk into the ring, imagine taking a big scoop slam when you're on the brink. Sorry, everybody. Sorry. I also to your point, shifting gears. There was an interview we did where he spoke about him and John Cena being in the car late at night when they're at McDonald's and they gave him the old excuse, "Oh, the ice cream machine is off. You can't have your ice cream, John Cena." Then apparently John Cena, who's clearly been a life heel before he was a wrestling heel, whips out a $100 bill, gives them it. He gets the ice cream.
That's such an arsehole move.
John Cena is an arsehole from start to finish.
Apparently, I've been reconnecting with a lot of old friends. Not a lot. A few old friends this week who don't know anything about wrestling, but were fans of Total Divas.
Oh, yeah. I've been watching Total Divas recently.
And my mate from school mentioned this episode, which is like, Nikki's prepared a lovely meal for John, but he thought they were going out. And he's like, oh, and you just keep the plates off the marble.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know it's reality television, I know.
Well, there's some shoot happenings, though, because he gets bitten by Josie, the little French bulldog.
Okay.
Yeah, and dogs know best. So obviously... And then John's reaction is not like, oh, maybe we should go and get the dog trained because it's on the owners when a dog lashes out like that for poorly training the dog. He goes, well, it's getting taken to the pound then if that happens again.
I can't believe he was ever like this in public.
I
on the show.
imagine when the cameras were turned off, he used the compromise to a permanent end line.
Yeah,
Like he did for Osama bin Laden.
Oh, my God.
And then he went up there and
No.
a great week for the bin Ladens.
Oh, God. Hometown gal Trish Stratus comes out to cut a promo. She asks what year it is because she's wrestling tomorrow and The Rock's back. She points out that a dad in the crowd probably had her poster on his wall as a child, and he agrees wholeheartedly.
He did the old VAR sign, didn't he?
Yes, I did love to look at your poster. I'll just leave it at that. That's what I'll...
Hello, my daughter. I had this lovely lady on my wall when I was a wee boy, and I would know.
The girl knows as well. She's embarrassed. She's like, oh, God. Trish is excited to team up with Tiffany Stratton, who's been taking the women's division by storm. Tiffany arrives and they sort of successfully say their catchphrase together.
Well, I was watching this show as Netflix allows you to do on 1.5 speed when you're watching it on desktop computer. And even in 1.5 speed, this was still really slowly done.
It's Tiffy time. And Trishy time. That's what they did.
Really wank.
It was
It was terrible.
It was like two young girls in the schoolyard who've come up with a play or something like, yeah, it's Tiffy time. And then they start doing handstands against the wall or something. It was bollocks.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm so familiar with the behaviour of that. Sounded awful. I'm so sorry.
You went to school.
That's all right.
God, yeah.
But you went to an all
Jesus
boys
Christ.
school, right?
All boys secondary school. But then girls came in year 9. We were there
wow.
for the first time in history when the school admitted girls. It was an absolute nightmare.
that was chaos.
It was carnage, like, honestly. And there was only like a quarter the amount of girls as there were boys. So like you just had no chance of finding love. You just had none.
Looks like a holiday to Magaluf.
Yeah, it was like that. Yeah. And the teachers, right, let the girls get away with murder.
Literal murder.
No.
I don't know. I hear these sort of things happen at your fancy schools. Oh, Chauncey.
No, it'd be like
He cheated the croquet on my lawn.
The French teacher, right, was my form teacher in year 9, and she'd read the register at the start of the day, and she'd be like, all right, like just first names like Jack, blah, blah, blah. The lovely Miss Jessica. The lovely Miss for all the girls.
Now. What a nonce.
In the Northumberland sense
In the
of the word?
Northumberland.
Yeah.
No. In the actual Drake sense of the word, allegedly.
No. Yeah, allegedly, yeah.
Is there anything to that? Because I've said it in a few videos this week, and I don't know whether to stop.
He's taking legal action, so just be really...
I don't believe that. That's just what I've been told by my good personal friend, Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah. You better never go to cell block 1, he says to Drake. Never
Why?
go.
What happens there?
I guess it's like general population, and you don't want to be like an S offender.
You'll get beaten up there.
Yeah, beaten up, yeah. She's excited to team with Tiffany Stratton to take the world by storm. They successfully say their catchphrase, sort of, before throwing their matching Maple Leafs jerseys into the crowd. Woo!
That's a nice take home for someone who got their hands on that.
Yeah, it's true.
Didn't they do something a bit weird before they threw them?
Well, they went, woo!
I thought they licked them or something, didn't they?
They licked them.
Maybe I dreamt that.
That's not sexy. That's just weird.
You look at Rhea Ripley when she did that for that fan. She like spat on something and then sold a card or something for like $500,000.
She, I feel bad for her this week though. Anyway,
Why?
it's just heartbreaking, isn't it? She knows that she was stupid. They've been hanging out a lot. And you know that because they tell us they have. We've been hanging out a lot.
Have you not
Trey.
seen the videos, Jack?
Yeah,
Pilates. Is it Pilates? No, yoga.
something like that. One of them. Yeah, they're therefore.
I did yoga this week. Sorry.
And
Trish and Tiffany.
bouldering.
Yeah,
What a week you've had.
I did hot yoga.
Oh, that's when you're in a hot room and do yoga, isn't it?
Yeah.
That sounds horrible.
I was sweating so much.
That sounds awful.
I was dripping. Anyway, sorry.
Why did this happen, Joe? Why did this happen? What made you go, I've had enough of bouldering?
Because I had a free... you can get a free class as your first one. And then if I went, I'd get my girlfriend a tenner off her next one.
Oh,
so,
right.
Oh. How long does it last?
An hour.
Is she used to it? Was she fine?
She'd been... This is the second time going.
Oh, right, okay.
I was
okay.
the only man there.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah,
I would have hated that.
uncomfortable. It was
That is
good though,
awful.
relaxing.
Yeah, but you'd feel suspicious. I mean, everyone's looking at me.
And by the end, you're like,
What's the temperature?
37 degrees.
Is the woman telling you what to do
yoga?
and stuff, or is it just like a tape?
Yeah, no, there's a
There's
woman
an instructor.
telling you what to do.
No,
Yeah.
no.
It's very nice.
I
That
think
doesn't
it's
sound relaxing at all.
I think it sounds like my worst nightmare. To be
Having had
honest
a
with you.
go at DDPY in my time, doing that in 37-degree heat does not sound pleasurable.
Well, you get used to it pretty quick. Like I don't like saunas, but this was.
I like a
is all
sauna.
right.
To be fair,
I can't breathe in a sauna.
I like it to a point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should have a trip to a sauna together.
Mm.
All right. We'll do a podcast in a sauna.
Who's gonna look sexiest in the sauna? Sorry. I like the shower or the pool after the sauna. That's what I like. I like
Yeah, but
that.
then water therapy.
No.
That's a thing when I book a hotel for a holiday. It's got to have a water therapy place. You get like a hot shower, then a cold shower, then some kind of other water jets on you, and you hop into somewhere else, and there's a cold plunge.
like a
and you
car
hop in a
wash
hot
for a
one.
person.
Yeah, basically.
It must be great for the skin.
Sounds horrible.
Fantastic. Oh, it's a thrill ride.
Not as much of a thrill ride as this promo was. They've been hanging... I'm being sarcastic. They've been hanging out a lot and are confident of beating Nia and Candice tomorrow. But Chelsea Green and the Mountie interrupt. It's Piper Niven dressed as the Mountie. Chelsea gets cheered, because she's Canadian and funny, until she slags off the Maple Leafs and the people of Toronto, saying her life improved as soon as she left this dump. She's honoured to represent America because the people there are better. Tiffany says, I'm American and you don't speak for me. And then Chelsea insults Tiffany, who wants a match, but Chelsea suddenly has other plans. Oh, no, I don't want a match. Trish thinks it's a great idea, though, and says, well, I wonder if Nick Aldis agrees, and maybe he'll send out a referee. And right on cue, a referee runs
He doesn't hang
down.
around Nick Aldis.
No,
That's
no.
why he's the best.
In fact, Joel, he's back to the best. He's on top of the league table this week. It's him, Pierce, Ava. Pierce nearly fell below Ava, but not quite.
Why does Ava keep scheduling press conferences for her pay-per-views during a show?
I don't know.
Makes no sense, Ava.
Yeah.
Anyway, Chelsea was rightfully calling out the snooze fest that was the promo that was taking place before she came down to the ring. Classic heel bollocks with her saying, oh, whoops, I can't make it. I've got plans. And then we get the match. Do you have notes about the match?
The match itself? Yeah, I'm about to read. Yeah, don't worry. But I just wanted to say that I don't think Trish and Tiffany have very good verbal chemistry.
Well, no, because they're making Tiffany Stratton a fangirl. And that's not who she is.
I didn't like this. But it's weird talking about it now that that's wrapped up. She won the match at the Chamber with Trish, and it's all fine now. I suppose. She can go back to having a bit more of an edge, hopefully.
Hopefully. But then she's up against the Queen now, so if there's anyone who's going to knock that edge away from you, it is the Queen.
Absolutely.
Oh, dear God.
Piper Niven tries to help Chelsea Green during the match, but Trish stops her. And then Tiffy does a terrifying swanton down onto the floor. Tiffany's about to get the win, but Nia and Candice arrive to attack Trish. Stratton tries to save her and gets attacked as well for the DQ win. Trish and Tiffany are beaten down at first, but they fight back and clear Nia out of the ring. Tiffany sets up for the moonsault on Candice, but Nia drags her out of the ring.
Yeah, I would like Tiffany to stop doing these big dives to the floor because every single time it feels like she just lands on the floor instead of a human being. Like this time for the big swanton off the top rope of the floor, she lands on the floor. It looks like Piper Niven should have been in a slightly better position to catch her, but she wasn't. And I guess these mistakes happen, but when it comes to Tiffany doing these big moves off the top to the floor, it happens more often than not.
She spends a lot of that swanton upside down. Obviously, it's the nature of a swanton, but with her, it feels like she particularly does. She goes down quite a dangerous angle at first. So it always makes it look a bit more terrifying as it would be terrifying anyway. But like some of these moments are hairy, is what I'm saying.
Hairy.
Yeah, hairy, scary.
And the match ends in DQ, and then we see some stuff we're going to see at the Chamber anyway, which didn't age very well because the Chamber match, I thought, as we said on Monday, was just a very SmackDown match.
Yes, it was. Yes. I saw that North I was talking about the other week when Rampage mugged me off.
No, you mugged him off.
I'm terrified.
You belittled him and his abilities as a big scary man.
I really didn't. I didn't. I was just.
Stop it.
But in the opening match, it was Amir Jordan versus Big Damo was back. Big Damo, and you can't really see the canvas from some standing areas in that venue. So Amir Jordan does a swanton, stays down holding his knee, and I'm like, oh no. The referee's checking on him. Damo looks confused, and I'm like, and then Damo shoves the ref out the way and beats him up. I was like, they got me.
Oh wow.
And then afterwards, I saw Amir Jordan. I was like, I thought you were really injured, and he said,
"You effing Mark."
He said, "If I can get you, I can get anyone." As if I'm like an expert. I was like, "Thank you so much. I've never wrestled a day in my life, but thank you."
Well, that's the old king of the smarks,
He's a lovely man. I'm not the king of the smarks.
Yeah, you are.
Absolutely not.
You are.
Matthew's smarkier than I am.
No.
Ah, of course he is.
Yeah, he is.
Joel, are you a smark?
I guess maybe, yeah.
Well, do you watch any of any like 90s All Japan or anything?
No.
Okay, modern smart.
Yeah.
You're lying to me.
Joel, do you use wrestling vernacular in your everyday speak? Because that's to me is the true measure of a smart.
Maybe a little bit. Like, oh, he's a heel.
Yeah. Okay, because some people get really sucked in to the point where like I've heard someone refer to a roundabout exit as a gimmick. Take the third gimmick.
That's weird.
Yeah. It was a wrestling promoter who said it. So I think, right. Or like, if someone's shouted at somebody, you say like, "Oh yeah, they absolutely cut a promo on them." It's weird.
Yeah, I haven't done that. That's a bit too much.
That's too inside. Yeah.
That was Jennifer Louise he was talking about, by the way.
It wasn't Jen, and it was her birthday the other day as well. I hope she had a wonderful day.
She's 48 now. That's the lady who. Imagine if you didn't watch like us before a certain point. Yeah, that's why the Week in Wrestling segment sounds like that, because it's her. She used to do a show here.
Yeah.
And then we killed her.
Happy birthday. And we still celebrate her birthday out of malice.
Just like we do for Princess Diana. I don't know.
Oh my. We get a video package in which Nick Aldis books a mini tournament to determine the US title #1 contender, which will take place entirely tonight. Nice. Yeah. I like little tournaments that happen in one night. We see Knight versus Escobar, Hayes versus Strowman, Andrade versus Solo. Oh, where is it? Oh, this is another part of the reason why Aldis was the best GM this week. Yeah. He was on top of things. At least, well, he's waiting to go on the other side there, to play devil's advocate. Mm-hmm. Shinsuke Nakamura's been chasing fools for weeks. So it's about time he did something. At least he's done it now. Because no fools are chasing Shinsuke. No. Because he's rubbish. Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga meet with Solo backstage. Jacob tells Solo that their miscommunication, last week was an accident. It's a mirror of the week before when the other thing happened. But Jacob doesn't really buy it, does he? Solo believes him, but seems tense. Solo gives Jacob his spot in the tournament tonight because he wants him to be able to be the one who brings the US title to their family. And he says everything he does is to show how much he loves Jacob. Again, Jacob doesn't say it back. He walks off. Solo and Tama exchange a suspicious look.
Well, I think this has been bubbling under the surface for a little while now. That Tama Tonga's been the spare prick at the wedding, so to speak. A role which is no fun, which I learned back in November.
How are you
Because Kayla was bridesmaid at one of her friends.
I
down
thought you meant at
south.
Tom's wedding.
No.
Oh, right, okay. Well, you
was
said November. You said November, and that's the wedding we were
And a
both at.
second one in November.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I was the spare prick at the wedding, so much so. Well, I was down in the south, so everyone's rude anyway, and don't come up and say hello when they see someone on their own. Which, up in the north, we would do. And then I was so alone that one of the people behind the bar said, "Oh, you must be the best man. You look really nervous." Thinking
That's not what you want to hear.
Thinking I was getting ready, because I was just sat at the side of the bar with a pint of Guinness at like 10:30 in the morning, just on my own. I didn't know what to do. So
That's a massive assumption to make, to ask someone at a wedding, though. You must be the best man. Yeah. No, I'm not.
What do you do in that situation? You got groups of families just talking to each other.
Yeah,
It's nice to see you after 10 years. Hello,
That's-
I'm Ross,
yeah.
a stranger.
It's not Kayla's fault. She's got people to talk to in that, but I don't know
She
what
was
you
taking
do.
pictures at the time, so I was on my own, being a bridesmaid.
It's hard, isn't
Yeah,
it?
you can't just go up and introduce yourself.
Exactly.
To
So
Yeah.
you want
It's a
people to
tricky
come over to
situation.
you.
Especially in
Yeah.
the south.
Damn Southerners, they're so rude. If you're from the South, change your life.
I had an embarrassing moment at Tom's wedding. I don't know if you were there when it happened, but I was coming back from the toilet, and I walked past one of those like plant pots and just knocked it with my elbow, and it smashed on the floor in the bar room.
Should you be saying this on camera?
Well, I helped the guy clean. One of the lads who was working there came over. I helped him clean it up and that, and I was so embarrassed. And then I went to the bar to get a drink, and the lass on the bar went, "Try not to spill it." I was like,
That is good. That's
she
good stuff.
Absolutely did me.
Yeah, she did.
Was she dressed the same as you by any chance?
Oh my god,
I
this was an
remember this joke.
unbelievable moment.
I think about it every week at the moment. I wish I got a picture. So here's me,
It rings a bell,
5'11", 500 pounds.
No,
very
come
big
on
lad.
now.
And then there's
You were dressed well. I liked what you were
there's
wearing.
a 4 foot nothing lady wearing the exact same, well, nearly the same trousers, same black shirt, same black shoes.
Because Ross went, when I first walked in, Ross was like, "There's someone dressed the same as me," and I thought he was exaggerating. And then I saw it without having to be pointed out who it was. Black shirt, checkered suit trousers.
Oh, wow.
It was unbelievable.
I was too nervous to go and ask for a picture because she was American, and she probably would have said no, being rude and American.
God.
But like Tama Tonga, to go back to the point at hand, he has not been getting any focus on him at all for weeks now. Like when Solo's coming out, he's always in the background. It's always just like, when Jacob's coming out, he's in the
With
background.
Tama
It's always,
Tonga.
not even says Tama, not with Tama Tonga, it just says Jacob
Really?
Fatu.
Oh.
It's been that deep, so I think it's going somewhere because the look that Tama gave with those beautiful eyes of his, it was telling.
He does have beautiful eyes too. I think do you think he's angry at Solo? Or do you think he's siding with him secretly?
I think he's secretly siding with him.
because he's jealous of the attention Jacob's getting.
Solo's been gone for a while, and Jacob's been the one who's been running on all gas and no brakes.
Yeah, I would agree.
Share the gas around, Jacob.
Cody Rhodes finds a lot of fancy seafood in his private locker room and also finds R-Truth.
This was brilliant.
Cody tells Truth that he's considering selling his soul to The Rock, and Truth says that makes sense because The Rock is the soul man after all. I think he's confused him with his dad. He remembers watching him team with Tony Atlas back in the day. Truth thinks that maybe Cody should consider The Rock's offer because look at all this nice stuff in the locker room. He asks if he can have some, and Cody says, "Yeah, of course he can, mate. Yeah, it's fine." Truth asks if Cody can ask The Rock to get some jelly rolls in next time.
Yeah.
And then just lurks behind him eating like a crab leg or something.
He makes it pun as well. He says like he doesn't want Cody to be shellfish.
Shellfish. Very good. Very good.
Our truth segments like this make life worth living. It was fantastic to see.
It was good, and I thought Cody was good in it as well because he looked guilty, he looked conflicted. The fact that when he shared the food with R-Truth and went, "Of course you can have some, mate," then he realised, I'm not this guy. This isn't me.
But he is though.
But he
he's
is,
not.
as we've said, yeah. But he totally is.
In kayfabe, I guess he's
Yeah.
not. He still eats pork and beans off the floor where his grandfather does the plumbing.
Yes. Jacob Fatu faces Andrade in the first tournament qualifying match. So it's 3 singles matches, and then the finals a triple threat. Jacob wins, which is the correct decision.
Yes, but Andrade, and I said Andre there, Andrade was given plenty at the start. There's massive chops, the Hurricane Rana over the top to the floor, the moonsault off the top to the floor. There's a poison Rana. Rarely have we seen Jacob look so much on the back foot.
Maybe never.
Yeah.
I was thinking not even Braun really got that much in on him.
He got a lot in, did Andrade. F knows what Jacob Fatu did to turn the tide, but he wiped Andrade out, just ran at him and made him fly. It was fantastic. The bonsai drop to turn the tide again, then an arse, then an impaler DDT, and a moonsault, and it's over. But again, go back to the point at hand. Andrade's been nowhere for a year.
He's been on WWE Speed.
Apart from like that feud with Carmelo Hayes for a few weeks,
Oh,
that was
yes.
sort of something. But he's been nowhere for a while. But he got a lot of offense in here, which was weird.
It was weird, but he hits it well. To be fair to him.
But just it's like don't make it like a thing where the other promotions mention. But in AEW, someone does well, it's not followed up on. He's done well here against Jacob Fatu, who's been built as the monster of all the WWE. Build on it
Let's
more.
build on it, yeah,
don't forget about him again.
We see a meeting between Nick Aldis and the Street Profits earlier today. Street Profits are angry about never getting the tag team title shot they were promised, which I think is true.
Yes.
And they're not going to stop wrecking matches and stuff until it's fixed. Legado del Fantasma interrupts, and Santos Escobar wants an apology because the Street Profits falsely accused them of beating them up when they didn't know who did it. Santos says that they'll have to beat this apology out of them if the Street Profits aren't going to give it. And Nick Aldis goes really well. He's, just save it for the ring, lads.
Yeah.
And it works. He calms them down.
Yeah.
Great GMing.
Great GMing. That's the only note I've got written down. Great man management. There's no analysis to be done there.
No.
The lad said some things, and that's what happened.
Street Profits match against the Shagging Cousins is next, but Ford and Dawkins are attacked during their entrance by DIY. All three teams brawl, and the Street Profits seem to be on top, but then Pretty Deadly run out and briefly get the better of the Street Profits before they are taken out by DIY. Raise your fists! Something's fallen. Something's fallen there. What's that there, Joel?
I don't know.
Something's fallen over.
Oh, was it just a card? I think there was a card on the
Card.
Oh, it's
That's
all right.
all right.
It's just a memory card.
No, that's fine. I don't know. It's all right. It's all right. Everything's okay.
Everything's fine.
Yeah.
It's the Motor City Machine Gun
No.
who join the fray and win a mini brawl with DIY, but then all the teams seem to recover and it just kind of continues until security break it up.
Big prediction, I reckon we'll get this, but with other teams doing the battering each and every week until WrestleMania. Until
Yeah.
Aldis goes,
That's enough!
Stop it now! Just all of you get in a match together!
It's going to be a big ladder match or something.
Yeah.
I didn't mind this segment though because every team got a little chance to shine in the brawl.
Weird seeing Pretty Deadly be bona fide baby faces, though, for me, still.
It's a bit of a... I would have kept them heel, but they're entertaining lads.
They're so pretty.
Congratulations to Elton and Kelly for their baby.
Yeah, Rancid. A smelly baby. Rancid Kelly Clancy having a baby. Smelly little Melly. That's what her name is.
I know what the baby's name is, but I feel weird because I went on Instagram because she was back on NXT. I was like, oh, she must have had the baby.
Sure, I got a new head.
She had a new head.
Ah, she new hair, new look,
Oh,
new
nice.
makeup.
Yeah. No, very cute baby. Congratulations.
Oh, is it? Fair.
Yeah.
I don't know what a cute baby is and what isn't.
I don't know. I just thought it's a nice thing to say, isn't it? You can't go like a smelly. Well, you did go smelly baby. yeah.
Smelly Melly, the little baby. What's its name?
Poppy, I think.
It.
I
Poopy
think it's
Poppy.
Pop-
Smelly Poopy
No,
Poppy.
we can't do that. We can't do that at all. It's a lovely baby and they're a lovely couple. And a lovely tag team as well with Kit Wilson. What a lucky man Elton Prince is.
All right.
I'm trying to compensate for the horrible things. Where was I?
My mate at home's had a kid, and he was telling the story how he was changing nappy. I don't know why I've said like changing nappy, and he's got the little grip on the legs where he's lifted the legs up, but he's trying to wipe with one hand and keep the head. And apparently she's farted this baby, and excrement has gone up the wall and on the blinds, which I found impossible for a baby to do.
That's crazy, yeah.
But he showed a picture as well. He had a picture on his phone. He's like, we had to buy new blinds and repaint the walls. I think babies are expensive enough.
Apparently, my mum and dad have said in the past that when you have a baby, you kind of become immune to disgust. You're always covered in sick and poo and
Yeah. I'm not ready for it, me. But the clock's ticking there, chap.
What were we talking about here?
Elton Prince's smelly baby.
Elton Princess. No, we weren't. There was a brawl and security broke it up. Backstage, Drew McIntyre bumps into Cody Rhodes and tells him, I don't know what I'd do in your position, but back when they were rookies together, they know they would have done anything to get to the top, which is where they are at now. Drew thinks it's very telling that Cody didn't reply to The Rock straight away. Maybe when he finally says yes, The Rock will be disappointed to learn that Cody sold his soul a long time ago.
Is that bloodline-related things being brought up again by Drew?
That's what I assumed. But whatever he was meaning, it got played off really well in the promo itself at Elimination Chamber when Cody went, my soul wasn't mine. It hasn't been for a long time. Because of this ring and these people. Go F yourself!
Yes.
Yeah! And then John ruined everything.
He did do that, yeah.
Yes.
No. He was good.
He was good. He was very good.
It's a great heel turn, and people should vote for
Oh,
him.
we're not saying that it's a bad heel turn. We're saying it's heartbreaking that someone of such charisma and what's the word I'm looking for? Integrity would turn their back on everything like this.
He's just trying to plug his Hall of Fame pick.
Yeah.
Bitch. Diddling World Championships 1974 is better than John Cena's heel turn.
This next segment is very, very long and very wordy, and I hated recapping it. Drew McIntyre interrupts a John Cena hype package and walks through the crowd to ringside and threatens poor Lee in the production truck.
And a man who stinks in the crowd, who I assume was Elton Prince.
Stank, mate. Yeah. Oh, no, not Elton Prince. Lee, I'll come there and batter you if you don't turn off that hype package. Drew calls Cena a hypocrite for inserting himself into the Elimination Chamber. Nobody's been brave enough to criticize him, apart from maybe he admits CM Punk did a little bit. It wasn't great, but he did a little bit.
Yeah, this was pre-Raw this week. Yeah.
Drew sits cross-legged on the announce table in Punk-esque fashion and wonders what the old John Cena would say about the current John Cena. He'd probably start with a rubbish poopy joke, which he would, before then tearing apart the new Cena for turning his back on wrestling, for Hollywood, and for his massive bald spot.
That deserves its own area code.
It's been mentioned on TV now, because they all just ignore it.
You can't ignore it,
But
though.
now Drew's said
and
it.
fair play to John for taking this route rather than Chris Jericho, who had similar issues and decided to get hair plugs instead.
I think you're allowed to do what you want, aren't you?
Of course you are.
But you
but I
respect
would
John is braver, certainly.
Yeah,
Oh,
I would just lean into it, me, when the time comes.
Aiden's fuming with him every pay-per-view I watch with him with Cena on. Aiden's just like, look at the stare of that, man. Put some powder on it. Just put some, you're rich. Just get a transplant. He spends the whole match complaining about
That's
the
because
bald
Aiden's
spot.
speaking from experience.
But
isn't
he
it?
says, I've got one myself, but I put a bit of powder on it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, wouldn't you sweat it off if you were John? And he goes, no, it's fibers, clings to you. clings to your
Wow.
hair. Yeah, I know. And I'm assuming Cena can afford to get the top of the range hair powder.
But I'm glad he doesn't.
I
Makes
think-
him a more relatable man.
Aiden's only got a small one, whereas Cena's is like the whole top of his head, though.
It's got its own area code.
Oh, God. Goodness me. Drew used to be scared of Cena when he was younger. I like this bit. Not physically scared, but politically, because John Cena could end a career just like that.
Feeding off those internet stories, Alex Riley says hello, Nexus say hello, other things like that.
But Drew isn't...
Well, no, the Nexus wasn't his fault, was it? I think Vince just did Vince
I
change
can't remember.
plans? Yeah.
I can't remember.
Maybe.
But Drew isn't scared anymore, and he's going to bury John Cena at the Chamber.
But I tell you what, at this moment here, I was hoping that John Cena's great friend Damian Priest came out to save him, because we're not shoehorning a WrestleMania match onto the card here. Damian Priest and John Cena go way back to the streets.
Drew's interrupted by Damian Priest, who is sick of Drew's complaining. This felt like a 2010 babyface promo. All you do is go on and on.
Ozzy Osbourne, get out here and help me kick some butt.
Priest calls him delusional, saying that our truth makes more sense than Drew McIntyre, which gets a laugh. Priest thinks Drew is just upset. Priest says Drew's upset at being screwed all the time, but points out that all these so-called injustices are actually Drew's fault because of his obsession with CM Punk. Now, I didn't like that at first because I was like, this is going back to like last year. Why? It's old news. But then Drew says, I'm not obsessed with Punk. And Priest says, look how you're sitting right now.
Yeah.
I like that bit.
Then Drew replies, I drop the pipe bombs now.
Yeah. Priest and Drew are about to fight, but then Seth Rollins arrives. He says he'd have beaten Priest for the title if it wasn't for Drew's terrible cash-in attempt at last year's Money in the Bank. I had to go on the Wikipedia to remember what... Triple H loves these old references. I know it's not... It was only a few months ago, but I just couldn't remember what happened.
Me neither.
But,
What happened?
Drew won the Money in the Bank and tried to cash in the same night. But
This was
Punk,
Australia.
Punk ruined
Yeah.
it, and yeah. Was it Australia?
Yeah.
All right.
Perth.
Yes, Perth. But he's not the same broken down Seth Rollins he was last year. He feels as good as he looks, and now the others don't stand a chance.
Yeah.
CM Punk interrupts and says, Seth, you look like an oven mitt, which he does.
That was good.
It was a good line.
The follow-up line was even better.
was that?
He's like, you look like an oven mitt, and I cooked you on January the 6th, and I'll cook you again.
Come on.
Oven mitts. Don't be touching hot pans now, kids.
Kendrick who? Because Punk's got the bars. Sorry. He runs down everybody in turn and says the Elimination Chamber isn't about any of you. It's about me. If they don't want to turn up tomorrow, just like Cena hasn't turned up tonight, he understands, because there's no chance they're going to win.
God, I would hate for John Cena to come round after CM Punk just said that there. I did like that bit from Punk where he's like, Priest, I've got no issue with you, but the rest of you, you're a set of arseholes.
Rollins says Punk will only main event WrestleMania over his dead body. Everybody starts bickering and shouting over each other until John Cena's music does hit. But it's just Logan Paul.
It's a surprise to hear a mention of a dead body and then Logan Paul appear.
Say Drake. I hear like I'm young. Don't ever go to cell block 1. I messed that up. Big style.
I would love for Logan Paul to go to cell block 1.
So when anybody talk to him and they're in love, just make sure you hide your little sister from him. That's
everybody
the
in the club getting
Everybody in the club gets it.
A minor.
Yeah. Mother on the beat. He says, we're so white. He says that Cena
But
clearly...
the coldest white boys in the game. You've got a
Yeah.
hat on. Joe's got a different kind of hat on.
You've got tattoos.
I've got tattoos, yeah. Glasses. Like the Cray twins. Ah!
Logan says that John Cena clearly doesn't care about Canada and runs him down for being a part-time celebrity Hollywood wrestler, not like Logan, who's just one of the full-time boys.
Yeah.
He cuts a promo on the others in turn. Punk calls him boring, which I found a little bit Cope-esque.
Yes.
It was
fitting as
It was
well.
on Logan, so it's fine.
He was
Yeah.
dying of death there out there, Logan Paul, so he was. Nothing he was saying was resonating with the crowd because the crowd were just booing him. It was that fine line between Logan Paul's genuine heat or go-away heat. And it felt like this week he had go-away heat from the Canadian crowd.
And it was well, if anyone doesn't know what we're referencing there, one time Adam Copeland interrupted Ricky Starks in a promo, and it was like he was genuinely got to, and it came across quite cringy.
Because Ricky Saints,
Ricky
said to Cope, you got buggy eyes?
And he went, dude, at least I'm not a little mark like you. He didn't say that.
Little rock knockoff or something called
yeah.
Vanilla Rock or something.
Yeah. Logan laughs about slapping Punk on Raw. Punk chases him away, and the segment finally comes to an end.
Yeah.
This was a long segment, and it not that imaginative, in my opinion.
And the good bit happened like the first quarter in, I thought, with Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
And then CM Punk came out a good couple of lines, as we said there, but then Logan Paul at the end of a long segment saying things like, Seth Rollins, you look like if Lady Gaga threw up on a coat hanger. Ah!
Take that, Seth. Because Lady Gaga wears weird things, and sick doesn't look good.
But the line to Priest was all right from Logan, saying you can have a priest down the ring, but Logan's still the answer to WWE's prayers. That was a bit better.
Yeah, because it was wordplay there.
Yeah, but it's just at the end of just a long speaking segment where everyone needs to have their chance, apart from John Cena, who was already healed by being a part-timer, obviously. We know this now.
Yeah, I agree.
It was just a long segment.
Very long. It was followed by a match, though, thankfully. LA Knight beating Santos Escobar off the top Rizzle to qualify for the... What I've done.
The United States. What?
I don't know why I said
top
that.
Rizzle.
Yeah.
Like, that's what the kids would say.
Top rope. To qualify for the final, which is later on tonight.
Yeah, dick swinging contest at the start with the posing and whatnot I've written down for some reason. I can't remember any posing. Just imagine LA Knight doing Hulk Hogan's pose now for some reason. He didn't do that.
I can't remember it either, actually.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of wrestling.
Yeah, I thought the pair didn't really mesh together, I've put down. The moves they normally nail didn't have that pop and snap they normally have. Not in a kind of like, this is like a real fight kind of way. Just in a bit, it was kind of like a half second off everything they were trying to do.
Yeah.
Lovely Superana, as Joe called it, from the top rope, Rizzle from Santos, as he said there. And the BFT was very fizzle, very funny. I didn't think
very
I'd have...
funny.
Yeah, very funny.
Funny, it was dramatic.
Santos does a flying nothing.
Ah, right.
Into a BFT, which is a very contrived way of doing that maneuver, but impressive all the same.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't really remember much apart from the finish, which I guess is a bad sign.
Yeah. But that's what Vince McMahon would want, Jack.
Yeah, it's only the finish.
All, yeah. Whatever you see last is what you remember.
Sami Zayn comes out of the ring and invites Kevin Owens to come out here, and we can just say whatever we want to say to each other, and that's it until the match tomorrow night. We hear Owens' voice, but he is revealed to be in the venue elsewhere in town, the empty venue for Elimination Chamber.
He's at Disneyland this week, Big Kev. I saw people getting pictures with him on Twitter, calling him the nicest man of all time. While he was wearing, whose T-shirt was he wearing? Oh, sugar. A wrestler's T-shirt. It was a Briscoe Brothers T-shirt.
Oh, right.
And he had these light pink shorts on. You would never think he's a multi-millionaire.
That's good. I like that
That's
about
what
him.
Cody Rhodes should aspire to be.
Yeah. Kevin Owens really is the spiritual son of Dusty Rhodes.
Apart from his supercar, which I like the juxtaposition of those promos back in the day. It was like, I'm the victim. Hey, my supercar.
Yeah. Where was I up to here? Tomorrow night will be the biggest match they've ever had against each other. And somehow Sammy's convinced people that Owens is the bad guy. But Sammy deserves everything Kev will do to him. And when he's left unable to provide for his family, Owens isn't going to help them. He's just going to watch them suffer.
Yeah. Poor Terry and Suzanne. Suzanne?
Suzanne.
Zinedine Suzanne. Terry and Suzanne. Poor them, because they will get their son felled.
Is Sammy's wife completely unskilled? Like, can she not do a job?
It would appear so.
Oh, right, okay.
It would appear that Sammy is the sole earner. That's what I'm looking for. The sole earner.
Sammy admits that he's nervous heading into this match, but not nervous for himself. He's nervous about what he's going to do to Kevin Owens and the possibility that Kevin's family might never forgive Sami. But he can live with that. Owens is really annoyed that he said this, but he doesn't, right? He just goes, all right, see you tomorrow. And that's the end of the segment. Whoa.
They set it up big. And I think it just about delivered in terms of like the number of bumps. We said this on the podcast on Monday. But once again, Kevin Owens sort of painting himself as the victim. When you're in a wheelchair and you can't provide for your family, that's not my fault.
He can still get another job. I don't know what Owens is on about.
There's loads of remote jobs, yeah.
Of course there is, man. Of course there is, Sammy.
YouTuber Sammy.
Yeah, YouTube.
Chaotic coffee runs are a great way for you to make a living after wrestling.
Have you seen these?
Yeah, I did watch the one that you put in the chat. It was quite... I could watch more.
Thea Hale from NXT has been going and getting coffee and vlogging it.
In a very chaotic way.
Is it that chaotic?
Yeah. She's playing songs that are related to coffee in the car. She takes a risk, everybody, by getting a coffee she's never had. Oh, it was a tea, wasn't it? A matcha
tea.
Matcha tea, which she didn't like. She had to go back and buy another one. Oh, she can't catch a break. The uni shuts down, and then she goes for a tea, and she doesn't like the tea, and she gets a coffee, and she barely likes the coffee.
She's got a nice open roof Jeep sort of thing, though. I like her car.
Very Vice City.
Very good for Florida, yeah.
Mellow Dope Miz.
Mellow Dope Miz, thank you. Miz is excited about his tag team with Carmelo Hayes backstage. And I don't know if it's just me, but Mello seems to be slowly coming around.
Yes.
Miz wants to be in Mello's corner tonight, but Mello says, no, I'll be fine on my own. He leaves to get ready, and Miz bumps into Cody Rhodes, who's still undecided. Miz asks if Cody wants to be the fourth judge on a rubbish failed reality TV show.
Take that.
Big show.
Go home.
Oh, yeah,
the
not
Go
the
Big Show.
Not the Big Show. The Go Big Show. Or does Cody want to go higher? These fans might think that Cody's at the top, but both he and Miz know that there's so much more. And the only way to get there is by taking The Rock's offer. Besides, if Cody doesn't take it, maybe someone else will.
And that guy is The Miz who will take it. We all know this now. He'll take that to go to the top.
I don't even think Miz thought that himself.
No.
I think he was just giving some real advice.
Maybe he was just saying it so if The Rock heard it, he'd be like, oh, yes, the Mike and The Rock. Mike
Well,
Rock.
he knows him from Mania 27, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah,
Helped
they're
him
great
win.
friends. Nice pun in this segment here. Their catchphrase for Miz and Mellow Dope Miz, would be "Awes him."
That was too much for me.
That's "Awes him."
It was just too many catchphrases.
I like it.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
appreciate it.
Yeah, fair.
But yeah, as you say there, it's teasing somebody else potentially taking the offer.
I really liked these little Cody segments all the way through the night. And then the last one, absolutely terrible. Really,
I can't remember
really
what happened until I
The
get there on
Rock
my notes.
appeared on the Tron and cut the worst promo I've ever heard. With the worst audio I've ever heard as well. Yeah.
That was the aeroplane impersonation,
Yeah.
everybody.
Carmelo Hayes takes on Braun Strowman in the tournament. Tama Tonga quickly distracts the referee, allowing Solo to run in and hit Braun with a chair, but he no-sells it. Braun takes out the heels and gets back in the ring, but Melo's got a hold of the chair and pulls the old Eddie Guerrero trick behind the referee's back, and the ref falls for it, and Strowman's DQ.
Call what you see, referee, for goodness sake. It's
I
disgusting.
know. Melo leaves, and Braun takes out his frustration by beating down Tama Tonga.
Who's the cook of the situation
Yeah,
against
more-
CUCK?
More fuel to fuel his sadness.
Yes. And that sadness will eventually explode into a fit of aggressionness.
Yes, I think so too.
Jacob was running the
This
play.
is our job. This is what we
Oh,
do.
yeah,
for
we're
our
very good
job.
at it.
We are.
9 years now. Jacob Fatu was, this is him running the plays, I assume.
yeah.
Sending Solo out there, although maybe Solo was the one running the play.
Later on, Solo says, there you go, mate. I did it for you. So I'm guessing it is Solo's idea.
Yeah, which is not what Jacob Fatu would want, was it? But yes, an Eddie Guerrero reference, always nice to see. Referee should call what he sees. We know this. Disgusting. Especially when a heel benefits from it.
I was a little bit pleasantly surprised by Melo winning this, but then it did kind of telegraph who was gonna be taking the pinfall in the final. But that's okay. It was all just in one night tournament. It's fine. Excuse me. Bayley, Naomi, and Bianca Belair are all getting along backstage. When was Bianca fine with Bayley? How long's that been a thing?
I don't know.
Okay, because I was taken by surprise, but I just assumed I'd missed something.
I can't remember now you're asking.
But they were fine with each other now. They all hope that each of them wants to start the Elimination Chamber with that no good Liv Morgan. Bayley wonders when Liv and Raquel are just going to admit that they were the ones who took out Jade Cargill. Bianca reiterates that yes, they definitely did. It was them, which you didn't need to say. It comes down to the three of them, and they agree that the best woman will win when it's them three.
Yeah,
left.
they've all got their targets in the match. Who will hit their target first? Find out on Saturday.
It was Jade Cargill,
It was, yeah.
who, if you didn't see, beat down Naomi,
Yeah.
implying that she did it.
But Bianca's face was a picture also in the background.
It was good acting.
I think they're going to go down that route of Naomi being framed by Bianca. I think
Me
everyone
too.
and their dog is saying that.
Even
apart from the nation of Canada, who gave Naomi a horrible reception when she left that chamber.
They're laughing
No,
at
no, 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 goodbye.
Yeah. I think that Naomi, even in this segment, is just at the minute, she's such a natural babyface. It can't be her. They can't make it be her.
No. Even though she does have, she's married to a Fatu who had their own vehicular issues once upon a time. Their father, of course, the Fatu's father, he had his own run-in with a little car.
When it happened, the beatdown, though, Bianca's in the ring, or the attack, or it's just the aftermath of the attack shown on the Tron?
No, Bianca's in a pod.
No, the original attack on Jade when she got pushed off the thing.
Right.
When that happened, is Bianca in the ring? She
I
sees
can't
it on the
remember.
Tron during a match.
But maybe it happened earlier before the match,
right,
yeah. Because everyone thought it was Piper Niven back then, didn't they?
Yes.
Because Piper wasn't at ringside with Chelsea or something.
Piper. Scooter song.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that.
Hyper.
Oh, no.
But then someone covered it, and then it's one of the North Wrestlers theme songs. Emerson Jane. You'd love the theme song. It's really hyper.
I don't recognise it.
Hyper.
Piper.
Yep.
Hyper Niven.
Bailey, Bianca, and Naomi take on Liv, Raquel, and Roxanne Perez in a 6-woman tag team match. It's Roxanne who gets the win after hitting Bailey with a chop block and then Pop Rocks. I found this one to be a bit more of how Pop Rocks used to be, though.
Yes, but I think that's because of Palm.
Huh?
Up the palm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I meant it in a too clean way.
All right.
But it was very symmetrical and perfect.
It was a bit more poppy,
Oh, okay.
a bit more rocky.
Fair enough.
Not as much as not so much naffy.
Perez points at the WrestleMania sign, but Alexa Bliss sneaks into the ring and hits her with an Abigail DDT.
Makes you wonder why Alexa Bliss wasn't in the tag team match. Might as well have been.
I've realised I'm not that keen on the Abigail DDT.
Why not? I think it's fantastic.
She pauses too long before. Bray did it sometimes and that worked, but I also like the one where he'd go bang, douche, like Jay White. But Bliss does it, and then here especially, she did it, held it, then let go of it to do that or something, like because she's in the Rascals, and then I was thinking, well, Perez can just get out of it now, and she just stayed there with no hand holding her.
This is just you saying this because you fancy the goddess way more than you do spooky Alexa Bliss.
Bringing this back.
We all know
again.
that you yearn for the goddess.
Yeah, well, CM Punk
Please come
yearns
back
for
to me.
CM Punk yearns for Roxanne Perez. Doesn't he? No.
In the match though,
Oh,
Bianca.
did you see the clip from LFG?
No.
Where two of the lads are having like a promo class in front of Bubba Ray Dudley. I think I just spat on your laptop.
Well, I'll cherish that for later.
So sorry. It might have gone over it or short.
Hopefully not in my can.
No, I
I
don't think
don't
it
want
went
to
that
catch
far.
your cooties.
I don't think it went that far. I think it might have. Oh. Okay. I'm just
It's
wiping
not a
it.
big deal.
I'm so
Don't you
embarrassed.
worry about that. Matthew, I sit there with Matthew. I reckon if I swipe that with a little cotton bud, I could build a second Matthew. Equally just as big as the first Matthew.
What
That's
was
a
that?
comment about his small height. That was a bit harsh. Yeah.
What was that on about there?
LFG.
Thank you. There's a clip on LFG where the two of the lads are having a promo off in front of Bubba Ray, and then one of them goes, "I hear you're dating Roxanne Perez," and Bubba Ray cuts to him going, "Oh!"
I thought you meant Bubba Ray Dudley.
No,
for a
not
second.
Bubba. And then he goes, "She might be half your height, but you're half the rest. She's more than twice the wrestler
Yeah.
you'll ever be," sort of thing. And it cuts to the guy going like, "Yeah, I'm going out with Roxanne, and I'm really proud of her." So he actually gave her a compliment. Goes back to the promo bit, and the guy goes, "Well, you're going out with Maxine Dupree, and she's rubbish," and it's just, or something like that.
What are they actually?
Yeah, apparently the.
Oh, this is relationship news I need to add to my list.
The Roxanne one went down far better than the Maxine one, which didn't really get much of a reaction at all. It wasn't as good. The guy clearly was caught off guard by the Roxanne comment.
That seems like a good portion of that show, though, because I've been seeing bits that I've just not liked. Bubba Ray making that lad do his funny dance.
The knee dance, yeah.
Knee dance, yeah. Undertaker claimed he did Hell's Gate for 30 years. Sort of bollocks, isn't it?
He brought it in the 2000s, didn't he?
2008 when Edge, that was his answer to Edge. All the answers Edge had for him.
Apparently, it's been renewed for a season 2, but they're replacing Mickie James with Michelle McCool now.
I wonder why.
Yeah, well.
Politics in LFG. That's such a shame. Mickey won the feud against her. She beat her in like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mickey's better.
Yeah, Mickey's better. Nothing against Michelle.
That's another bit I saw was Michelle helping Mickey on the show, and then Undertaker's like, what are you doing there, man? Ma, you're against my team. Because they've got their own roster of lads, haven't they?
Ah, right.
So like it's Team Mickey against Team Undertaker in certain challenges or whatever. I think that's how it works. I've not watched the full episode. And then, Michelle's helping Mickey against Mark. And Mark's like, Michelle, what you doing helping Mickey?
Yeah, you don't do that to Booger
Michelle
Red.
should be helping Mark, not Mickey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now she'll be against him, possibly in season 2. Oh,
I can't wait.
Fireworks. Byron Saxton interviews Charlotte Flair, who cuts a little promo on Tiffany Stratton. Time is rapidly slipping away, and she'll see her at WrestleMania.
That she will do.
We get a There's nothing else really. No. We get a Shinsuke Nakamura vignette. The competitors in this tournament should pray they don't win it, because a match with him will result in nothing but hell.
So my notes for this segment were no subtitles at the start, but I see a wolf, so he must be talking about the Samoan werewolf and giving away the end of the triple threat match we're about to see here. Still no subtitles. F knows. It looked good, but I've got no idea what it said.
I had
no subtitles.
I had subtitles.
On Netflix, no subtitles.
Yeah, there was.
There wasn't.
Oh.
1,000%.
Yeah, same.
Have you been watching on Naughty Sites there?
No, I watched it on Netflix. I just think that I must have had to...
I was logged into the Cultaholic 4K subscription.
I think I must have...
External One was the account I was on. Can we say this publicly without getting hacked? I assume so.
Can I say what the subtitles said?
Yeah.
It was about how if a dog bites another dog or something, all the other dogs will stay away from it. And Nakamura's gonna...
Meaningless wank then, wasn't it?
It was the same as usual.
Yeah,
but the point was, don't win this tournament. It's only going to be bad for you if you do.
It's going to be good for them because they'll take the title off that tyrant Shinsuke Nakamura. I don't know why I'm being so harsh. He's booked terribly.
Could you not have turned on the subtitles for that
they're normally
bit?
there, aren't they, on the show?
Yeah, they are. Yeah. But I'm wondering,
what you did,
if maybe that would have fixed it. I can't remember. We get a backstage segment.
Was this the same website you got that film from?
We get a backstage... I went to the BFI Film Festival to watch that film. We get a backstage segment where Solo tells Jacob that he took out Braun Strowman just like he said. Now all Jacob needs to do is win the final. Jacob heads off to the ring and cuts one of his promos on the way. He hopes Shinsuke is watching.
So he's told Jacob that Jacob's doing the play, but in fact, Solo is doing the plays because he stopped Tama Tonga going out there with Jacob.
Oh, did he do that?
He stopped,
I didn't see that.
Yeah, so maybe he doesn't like Jacob like he says he does. Mm-hmm. Convenient time of the year, I would say.
The tournament final is Carmelo Hayes versus Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight. Melo hits nothing but net on Knight, but Jacob breaks it up just in time, but not really just in time. The ref definitely stopped counting.
Yes, he did.
Jacob hits his moonsault on Melo, but then Knight pulls him out the ring and steals the pinfall. Quite a cheap win for LA Knight, but it's LA Knight, so it's fine.
He's capitalising. He's got a brain. He's a baby face with a brain.
Right.
I thought it was a very well-timed finish, obviously. Melo died a death, which is a shame for him. Rest in peace and all that sort of malarkey. Fatu was out there flattening fools. LA Knight looked peppy, despite being tired from his earlier match, and Hayes was also there. Not even his springboard backwards DDT on Fatu worked. Jacob laughed at him.
He did, yeah, that was good.
I've written down bad one for Fatu, I think, as LA Knight does the crossbody off the ropes and gets shunned into the ledge of the announce table.
Right, yeah.
It was like your favourite wrestler, Chris Benoit, but when Chris Benoit did the flip and land on the ledge, Fatu was sort of stood next to it and got shunted into it.
Not my favourite.
He loves the Benoit family. He loves Mr. Benoit, Mrs. Benoit.
What's going on?
And little Chris.
I don't like this.
That's to say Melo was robbed because Fatu was half a second late on the Swanton pin breakup.
Yeah.
And then, the finish was nice, I thought.
CM Punk catches up with Cody backstage, and I just couldn't. I had to pause it because it was the coolness in the room was just off the charts. I couldn't handle it.
You need to calm down.
He catches
every week now. It is.
He catches up with Cody backstage. It's my two special guys.
Oh, Cody as well.
Oh yeah.
You much prefer CM Punk though.
In real life, I've only met one, and I suspect he's much nicer a man than CM Punk is.
Oh yeah, obviously. But I reckon if you were given a chance to hold,
I had to save one.
No, if you were given a chance to walk down the promenade and hold hands with an ice cream with one of them, you'd pick CM Punk.
Cody would treat you better.
But I don't think you like that. I think you like being treated a bit rough and ready, you know?
No, I want CM Punk to be like my pal. But if it's a dating situation, Punk would unquestionably be the better partner.
Oh yeah. You're going to get a better, more slap-up meal on. And I reckon he's more of a gentleman as well.
100%.
He'll pay for the ice cream. The 99 that now costs £1.99.
Punk will turn up looking like Adam Sandler did at the Oscars and just not really talk to you.
Bret Hart hoodie on.
Nah.
Have you seen this match from 1994? Yeah. Even got John Cena doing that at the Chamber. I didn't mention this in the podcast. They did the heart attack together.
Yeah.
He's got John Cena wanking off Bret Hart as well.
Yeah, that's funny.
Goodness me.
I like that. CM Punk catches up with Cody backstage and kind of laughs about The Rock wanting his soul. He's like, your soul? That's weird. Punk admits that he would have taken this offer as a younger man, but now he's wise enough to know that it's good that such an offer never came his way.
Why, though?
Because it would have corrupted him.
He wouldn't have to come back and wrestle. He would never have gone to AEW.
Yes. Punk tells Cody to take The Rock's offer. Cody goes, what? And he says, take the offer, turn it sideways, shine it up real nice, and shove it up his part-time candy ass. Sorry. I was buzzing with this. I was like, yes.
Yeah, I can see why you were.
Cody can do what he wants, though. Punk doesn't mind. He's going to win the chamber anyway and see him in the main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
Felt in a wrestling way, it still felt a little bit natural.
Yeah, I fully agree. I've got nothing else to add.
This last segment was awful.
We'll see.
Michael Cole interviews Cody in the ring. Cole says that the Cody Rhodes he knows would never take The Rock's offer. But then Michael runs through all the perks that such a deal would include.
It's like he was working for the Rock,
It's
the way
like
he
this was
laid out.
written by The Rock, saying the wrestling business is actually crap.
Yeah.
No more small town live events. No more 3-week tours to Europe. Cheers, nice one, Michael.
Yeah, I know.
He could be at home with his family whenever he wants.
No need for a bus anymore.
No bus, yeah. Cole gets word in his ear that a gift has just arrived for Cody. Did it sound like I swore there? The gift has arrived for Rhodes.
I didn't pick up. I think you're fine.
And an American Nightmare pickup truck arrives on the stage.
It's really cool. It was red, shiny.
I couldn't give a crap about it. But Cody does. He's tempted.
Well, he's a southern boy, isn't he?
Yeah, he goes
I
up.
bet
and
they
he's
all
looking
drive
at
them in Georgia, going down Safeways to pick up their shopping and put it in the back.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Imagine
yeah.
that.
Oh, I picked Safeways.
You
You ever have Safeways back in the 90s, Joe?
No.
No?
I'm not trying to. My mum texted me with some like old stuff she found, like old stuff that I'd written when I was a kid, or like drawings and that. And I didn't know this, but I was one of the winners of Safeway's Smile of the Year when I was a little boy.
Wow.
I know.
What is that?
I'm going to try and find the picture now. 1 second.
Of you smiling?
Yeah, I'm a little boy. They sent a letter with it. There it is. I couldn't believe you brought up Safeways there, because this was literally this week. Oh, God. I can't.
Smile of the year?
Yeah, what is that about?
Well, that is bloody adorable, isn't it?
Should I send you this to pop up
Yeah,
when it
yeah,
comes
yeah.
out?
What do you bought, like a 20 crate of Carlin?
Dear winner, because I'm clearly not the only one, like loads of people won. Congratulations, I'm delighted to inform you that your entry... I didn't read this in full. Your entry in the above competition has won the runners-up prize.
Ah!
No, I thought I'd won it.
I hope James won.
James? Oh, come on now. Your prize is a Safeway Oracle goodie bag, which contains...
Hang on. I'm going to have to try and guess this. A bag for life, half a trolley.
It's really not as good as that. It's really not good. It's 4 toothbrushes, 2 adults, 2 children, as well as toothpaste and mouthwash from the new Oracle Dental range, which I have pleasure of enclosing herewith.
So I'm sorry to break the news to you. What you've won here, they've framed it as the best smile, but you've actually won a competition for the boy who needs to brush his teeth the most.
I wish I'd never brought this up.
You didn't even win it anyway.
I didn't even win.
Someone else has got slightly worse teeth than you.
It was far more disappointing than I thought it was going to be. I didn't even win. Was Safeway's a local thing?
I don't know.
That sounds not
There
like...
was one in my hometown.
I don't remember.
I'm sure Morrison's
I don't think I've ever
bought it because Morrison's took over the
maybe.
Warpeth site.
Yeah, I've never stepped foot in one.
I don't even like my smile. My front 2 teeth cross over, but I refused to get braces as a child.
Why?
Because I was a teenager and I had acne and stuff, and I was like, I can't have braces and spots. But looking back, I definitely should have taken the... Yeah, never mind.
I
Do
had
you have braces?
a retainer.
How long for?
I used to take it out. Yeah, it was one of those ones you could take out, look like a little crab.
Yeah, right, yeah.
But it used to make when I was taught in class, I used to speak like this. So I couldn't put it in and read out in class.
Did you have braces?
Yeah, I had them for ages. I had them for years. I hated them. Yeah.
Painful.
No, just like... you just don't want braces, do
But
you?
now that they're out the way, though, probably worth it.
Yeah. My teeth still aren't that great. They just took so long to do the work.
Yeah.
I had them on for like 4 or 5 years or something. It was mad.
I had my retainer for that long as well because I had one too many teeth growing in the top row. I'd
really?
have one pulled out and then a retainer.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's bringing.
And speak like this in class, like Chrissy Banks.
Cody goes up to the truck and looks at it, and The Rock pops up on the Tron with terrible audio because he's on his runway, about to get in his bird, as they call it. As you said, the rich people call their planes birds, and fly to Canada for Elimination Chamber. This promo is... He's clearly been given, like, can you just give us like a minute or 2 minutes? And he goes like 5.
There's one, in what he says, there's one newsworthy bit, and that's it. The rest of it is waffle.
And then at one point he says, Cody, let you help me to embrace you. So he's just stumbling and just...
He's not the same, is he?
No. Rock knows Cody will do the right thing at Elimination Chamber. He hopes Cody enjoys the truck because he knows they both love driving. They love driving on the beautiful roads, the dangerous roads, and the dusty roads as well, Joel.
Yeah, good.
Why has he said that now?
Oh, his daddy.
His dad.
Oh, yeah.
And it keeps cutting back to Cody, who has to keep a straight face and look emotional and stuff. But you can tell, I'd be thinking, this is wank.
The Rock just seems like he doesn't prepare anything.
No,
now.
this was so improvised. Yeah.
Just every segment of his is just off the cuff.
Rock says he's been talking to Dusty all week. And then he sings a song by his favourite country artist. And then he compares himself to a big pot of coffee. Because he has the sugar, the spice, and all the things nice to make all of Cody's dreams come true.
He's off his lips, the guy. The guy takes several things before these promos and just says any old bollocks that comes out of his mouth. The newsworthy thing, by the way, which I think is in the past now in this promo, they FaceTimed this week.
Oh, right. I was about to say the weight belt, but okay.
The weight belt, but in terms of what you said.
The Rock has been talking with Cody all week. We FaceTimed once.
Yeah, so they've had little... So I was thinking, there'll be a little worming in there. Boom.
It's meant to make us think Cody's going to take this deal.
Yeah.
Rock reveals one last gift that he's got with him he's going to bring to the chamber. A weight belt emblazoned with the words Cody's soul and the date that his dad died.
But why is that a gift?
And I'm not sure how this is meant to convince Cody. I'd be freaked out.
If you came at me at Christmas time and was like, Ross, I've got you a belt and it's got the date
soul.
Your dad died on there, Ross. I mean, I don't want that, Jack.
Yeah, right.
I'll go and see his grave once a year on his birthday. Maybe I'll go at Christmas time as well when I want to go and see it, but I don't want to be reminded all the time I put my trousers on.
And also, if I, 1 year previously, had used a weight belt to betray and batter you, you'd get bad. You'd be like, no, this is giving me flashbacks.
Yeah.
This is a bad sign.
It's not like, because I can see why he got him the slap-up meal backstage. I can see why he got him the truck.
Yeah.
That makes sense, trying to butter him up real nice before he sticks him up his own candy ass. But the belt made little to no sense for me.
The belt is so sinister that Cody should have immediately known. And he did know, I suppose, because he did turn it down. But he walked into a trap at Elimination Chamber. He did. This was a really bad promo from Dwayne.
Yeah, another one, the third one of the year. Netflix was pretty bad.
Yeah.
NXT was as bad as it can be. This one was not as bad as that one, but it still wasn't good.
Dwayne's like a striker who keeps scoring fluky goals. I can't believe they've pulled this storyline out of the fire, out of the jaws of defeat. I can't believe it. It's gone in off his arse.
It has.
Again. Fair play. Fair play.
It would be so much better, though, without his bits, ironically. Not last year, obviously, but this year. Without Dwayne's bits, his bits like weigh it down than the other people around. Like Seth Rollins did a great clean-up job last week that we spoke about.
Cena's done magnificently.
Cena's done it this time. So yeah, without The Rock, it'd be so much better.
It would.
Even though he is the central character.
Raw.
Huh. What is it good for?
Absolutely nothing. But it was better than SmackDown, I think. Probably.
Yeah. This is one of the best Raws of the Triple H era.
The SmackDown... I like the wrestling, but it felt long this week.
It's 3 hours. That's what we've learned now. On a go-home SmackDown, it's 3 hours long.
Yeah.
So get used to that, everybody.
An angry CM Punk opens Raw and says he might be about to get WWE thrown off Netflix for what he's about to say. His enemies seem to think he's exhausted all of his chances to main event WrestleMania, so now he's going to address those enemies. Who should he start with first? The crowd suggests The Rock. He's doing this on the announce tables. He's right next to the crowd.
It was like Pat was trying to remind him, you're meant to talk about The Rock first. He kept going, how about The Rock? Go on, maybe The Rock, yeah.
It's like, I think Punk knows. He's quite good at these.
Yeah.
He calls The Rock a bald fraud and says he only pretends to care about this business that gives him goosebumps, and he mocks the arm slapping that The Rock does.
It is a skin condition, because I watched back Elimination Chamber for WTF, which is live on the Patreon today, and he's got them already as he's coming through the entranceway. They don't just...
How does he give him... Do you think he pulls his nipples a bit? That was just awful.
Ari Emanuel will do it, I reckon. Come here, Dwayne.
Yeah.
Little Brian Geewarts will do it.
When was the last time you had goosebumps? I hadn't had them in years. How does he get them?
Listen to a particular song and a certain key change or a chord progression or something.
Jablonski.
I was like, whoa.
Trailblazing by Steve Jablonski.
Really?
You give that a listen. Oh.
All right.
What was the song I listened to that gave me goosebumps? I can't remember what it was, but it was... something about the music. It was like it was scientifically engineered to give you a lift.
Oh, well, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
But this bit here was absolutely fantastic. I can't imagine how you were, because when I was watching it, I was like, go on then, get them, Philip.
I was on my feet in the living room. Go on!
The bit where he calls himself middle-aged and crazy, but The Rock in turn is going through a midlife crisis. He's called The Rock's delusional for wearing the title he didn't deserve. But I Burn it!
It's going so well that the crowd interrupt him to chant his name.
Yeah.
And he realizes that.
This was
such
the
a good
old
promo,
CM
man.
Punk because it was great just not to hear, oh, isn't it great to be alive in insert? He just got straight to the point. It was fantastic.
And it was the opposite of The Rock's promo because he had way more to say, but did it so much more succinctly, whereas The Rock had now to say and took 10 minutes to do so.
Amen, sister.
Yeah. Then he turns his attention to John Cena, who now we can all see through. Cena stole something from Punk in the chamber, and now everybody can see the real John. Cena claims that he never gives up, but he's given up on all of these people and all the kids and everything. Punk will get his hands on John down the road, and he'll make a wish that it never happened.
Yeah, both of you bald frauds is mentioned again.
Bold frauds, says it again.
We can all see through you. 20 years of hustle, loyal, and respect. You're not going to fool me twice. He mentions kids. He mentions bull poo. It's fantastic.
Finally, Punk calls out Seth Rollins, telling Becky Lynch to come get her man, which we've talked about already. Seth arrives and they brawl for ages around the arena while officials try and break it up.
Yeah.
CM Punk's the best wrestler of all time in history. Kenta Kobashi can get in the bin. I don't care.
Audrey Chase.
Mitsuharu who?
Dull, lightful Hudson.
Apart from Duke, maybe.
Yeah.
But no, this reminded everyone what a good promo he can be when he's got something
On.
to get his teeth into. Yeah.
But it makes you think that surely he's going to get involved with Cena in some form or fashion. There is that news as well in the background that he's been taken off Raw shows before WrestleMania.
Yeah,
and added to SmackDown shows before WrestleMania.
That's where that storyline's living.
Yes, and yeah, just the fact it wasn't so much about Rollins, which I think a lot of people thought it was going to be that would be the WrestleMania match, would be Rollins and Punk. It was more so about The Rock and John Cena. I don't know how he gets involved.
No, I don't, but...
Unless it's going to be like last year with a tag team match on night one, and that's his WrestleMania main event. I know.
Punk even said in AEW, main event in night one of a 3-night...
But he's a hypocrite, man.
It's his character who's a hypocrite. He's actually a great man. Yeah, I don't know how he's going to get involved either, but I'd almost rather he didn't. And then if Cena wins, he faces him down in a few months.
Yeah. That might be what the night one thing before the night two singles match between Cody and Cena might be like the reason when Cena beats Cody. So I think Cena's going to beat Cody.
Do you think Cena's going to win?
Oh, yes.
I really don't know yet. I'm going to have to see what happens in the next few weeks.
Why don't we talk about it some more in depthly? Because that's what we're going to talk about for the big question.
The big question.
It's Cultaholics.
Big question.
Oh, I don't think that you have John Cena turn heel after 22 years and then not have him win the title.
Are we doing what we think's going to happen or what we want to happen?
Think and want.
Okay, well, I agree with you. I think that John Cena should win. But what's his schedule like after Mania?
I think it's more full-time because he's doing something in Hungary right now.
Okay.
He was there apparently on Monday.
Eating children.
Or Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that thing. Oh, God.
Like
Who
that
eats the
thing.
children? Hansel and Gretel. Was that the story?
Yeah, the witch tries to eat them, doesn't she? Yeah.
That's
Like
John
Hansel and
Cena,
Gretel.
the witch.
Such a heel, man.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Jesus. I think Jesus Cena has to win.
Yeah,
Praise me.
I think John has to win as well, but it'll be a sad ending of Mania if
Yeah.
so.
I
But
thought-
Triple H gave us that at 39. He's not afraid of that.
Cody's had the title for a year now, so it's been a while. We know Triple H likes those long title reigns.
Yep.
I think I want it to happen as well. Talk about thinking and wanting. I think I want it to happen as well.
I've really been experiencing this heel turn on two levels. On one hand, I'm like, this is amazing. But this has been the first heel turn in a while where I'm like, oh, I feel like a kid again. I'm like, you horrible man.
Yeah.
So I want Cody to win in that pure way, watching the show. But looking at it, really, I'm like, Cena probably should win. Don't know what Cody would do after it. Maybe he's the one who wins it back from him down the road.
Potentially.
Because I'd obviously like Punk to beat him as well, but you could have Punk lose and then someone needs to stop this guy and then Cody has to come back and do it.
I reckon Cody might switch brands and go after the Yeatman.
It can't end like this.
Yeah.
For Rhodes, it can't end like this.
It might.
Oh,
You go after the Yeatman because the Yeatman didn't come and help him on the weekend, did he? He's got no friends, Cody.
he's got no friends.
Where were you, Jay?
You got no fans. You got no ground.
So, Joel, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I it's hard to. I don't know how I feel. It's also new and scary.
So
right,
sincere.
it's true.
But yeah, no, I think I do want Cena to win, just of the intrigue of it. And
But
I
keep
think
it going.
And yeah, he's got the whole year to wrestle still. And I think
only
it's still
7 months.
But and he's scheduled like another 30 appearances.
Something like
still.
that, yeah.
He's
He's
gotta-
got time to do things.
He's got to then somehow turn face again before
I
he
know
retires.
that's what's tricky as well. How's he going to go back?
Well, he'll have
face
to
after
hit The
this?
Rock.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that might be his last match.
Oh no,
I think
The
against
Rock's
Cody.
never putting John Cena over.
Cody could be his last match, maybe.
If he beats him at WrestleMania, then it probably should be.
Yeah. But where does that happen if he's retiring by the end of the year? Survivor Series. So it feels weird, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
I reckon they might put their own pay-per-view on for him.
The John Cena pay
in December.
Yeah.
But before Christmas.
Presented by The Rock, and it's all about The Rock.
But yeah, he's gonna have a match against Orton because Orton's a face. I think Orton will beat Owens at WrestleMania, then go on to maybe that might be the summer one.
Yeah.
Who else has got a face?
These big matches would all be bigger if it was for the belt as well. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do want to see it when you're
He's
right.
got to have a match with Punk, obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
But I don't know if WWE are envisioning that, or if they're just wanting this to be its own little WrestleMania story, and then Cena can get on with his farewell tour after it. And if that's the case, then Cody will win.
Yeah.
That's why I can't predict it.
Yeah,
Because
I don't
it's
think
all
that's the right way to do it now.
No, I don't think that's. I think I
Yeah.
agree with you.
It's
And
tough.
I do hope they have a plan and they're allowed to see it out rather than someone coming back and going, I see your plan and I turn it sideways and stick it up my candy ass.
It is good that he's turned heel, though, because it makes the match a lot more unpredictable, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know which way it's going to go.
No, same. Have you heard these rumors that other people might join The Rock? Drew, Rhea?
No?
Oh.
Ethan Page.
People are, it's not. I don't know if it's rumors, but people are speculating anyway.
Wait, because he
Ethan
did
Page?
the three fingers at
yeah.
Bad Blood, then he did 2 fingers at the weekend.
Yeah.
There's 2 more people, and he finished like that, didn't he? He didn't. There was a freeze frame where people caught him like that.
Ah,
he
sick.
went like, "Ah!"
Yeah. He did a lot of gestures, actually.
He did like,
He was like Suarez when he scores. He's like all over the place.
he did like that, didn't he? Like,
And then he kissed John. Blew him a little kissy. And then John, yeah. Right. Well, that was a good discussion. I'm glad we had it.
great minds battling it out, and you had a front row seat, everybody.
Yes. The Judgment Day are in the clubhouse, and they're all quite happy, even though Liv didn't win the chain.
Well.
Nearly all of them are
At the
happy.
start, Dom and Finn have a little awkward. How are you doing there, pal?
Really?
Then Finn's like, I'm fantastic, and it's great to see you're great as well. But then when Dom turns around, Finn's face turns into the face of a slapped arse.
The Judgment Day are still quite happy, even though Liv didn't win the chamber, because Liv and Raquel are still tag team champions. And Raquel now has her eyes on the IC title as well.
US,
You-
IC.
On the
That's
I-
my mistake.
on the IC
I've
title
tried to
as
correct a normal right thing.
Finn Balor is still sulking, though, because Dom and Carlito got embarrassed by Bron Breakker last week. Dom says, well, Finn, you didn't attack him either. You had a chair and you backed away. Maybe if we had a new member, you wouldn't have had to.
Don't talk like that.
We don't
now.
need a new member.
It's like he's in the room twice.
What are you doing, you little... I nearly swore. Right, anyway.
That's fine. Jamie Carragher did last night on TV.
Did he?
He's having a race against I Show Speed. I Show Speed is wearing Crocs in the suit. Jamie
quick though,
Carragher's
isn't he?
got like proper trainers on in the suit. Beats him handsomely.
Who beats him?
I Show Speed wins.
Right.
But Carragher tries to wipe him out. And while they're setting up to go, he lets out a giant F-bomb, doesn't he?
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Jamie Carragher really bullies him, though, throughout the
Jamie
whole
Carragher,
show.
I think, is a bully.
Yeah, 100%.
yeah.
Not just for the spit incident, which is the worst thing ever.
Yeah, that is bad.
Which is the worst thing ever.
He spat in the face of a child.
He wasn't aiming for the child, but you've got to consider that you might hit the child. And he was aiming for another person. And that bloke shouldn't have been following Carragher's car going, "Way." that
Carragher
isn't
should
it."
be used to it, though.
Yeah, you're right. But also, do you remember on Soccer AM when him and Gary Neville were part of like the little drill challenge they do?
Oh, when he halves Jimmy
He-
Bullard.
Oh, it's a leg breaker.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
oh my! He gets the ball, but
Especially on Jimmy Bullard, who is as flimsy as CM Punk. Flimsy as
I got what
CM
you
Punk.
meant, though.
Jesus.
it's a scary challenge.
Yeah.
But he keeps referring to Speed by his real name.
It's something really normal, isn't
It's called
it?
like Darren Watkins.
Darren Watkins,
And he
yeah.
goes, someone called Darren Watkins can't be good at anything.
The first question he asked him on the show is, "So, Darren, or whatever he called, I Show Speed, like, how did you get so famous? What are you good at? What's your talent?" And I Show Speed can't really give him an answer, can
You
he?
can tell Speed was getting a bit fed up.
Yeah. I didn't realize he was only 20.
Is he?
I Show Speed. He's like, I started streaming when I was 15 years old.
He's taking over the world now. Wow.
Yeah.
Bloody
5
hell.
years later. But it looks like
Disgusting.
the Judgment Day are going their separate ways still. Dom, Finn, new member Raquel, and then Dom, Liv, new member Raquel, then
Finn and Carlito.
JD, and then Carlito
JD.
is in the middle on his own. Is A1 still?
Is Speed the youngest person to ever be in a Royal Rumble, do we think?
Maybe.
Potentially.
Possibly too.
Do you want to have a little look?
Maybe I will.
That could be true. That could be that could be well true, fam.
Yeah, Nicholas wasn't in one.
No. The only thing I can think is if one of them luchadors in the mid-90s was like 90, like really young. But I don't think they were.
Yeah, how old was S.A. Rios before he was S.A. Rios?
True. Yeah, true.
Aguirre?
Yeah.
Agui man.
Aguila, yeah. Finn denies needing to add anyone to the group, and maybe he'll be able to deal with Braun on his own tonight.
Bull bollocks.
Yeah, not true. Not true. And I think the rest of Judgment Day know that as well. They're like, all right, good luck. He leaves, and Liv again says she and Raquel had nothing to do with the attack on Jade.
And I believe them.
I believe them as well.
Because they were walking into the building where Jade was inside the building.
I can't believe they've been framed so much. Tonight, Gunther is facing Otis and cuts a promo on him before the match. Otis reminds Gunther of Jey Uso, a people pleaser who makes a clown of himself to entertain these fans. The crowd only cheer Otis because they pity him rather than like him. When Gunther looks in the mirror, he sees himself with the Quidditch Cup. No, wearing the World Heavyweight title belt, while Otis can't even find a belt that fits him. And Otis looks sad.
This was disgusting.
Otis has the best sad face in wrestling.
For fat men, we have belts that have extendable. It's like a bungee rope there, Jack.
I'm not doubting that Otis can find a belt that fits.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of belts out there for
You
Otis.
can't be saying that.
And especially...
he's lost a bit of weight and now he thinks he can...
Don't forget who you are there, Gunter.
Yeah.
You might go back there. You never know what's coming around the corner.
He cheap shots Otis with a big boot and the match gets underway. Otis gets a few moments of hope, which are exciting, but I think it's unsurprising that Gunther ultimately gets the win. He continues the attack after the bell. Tozawa tries to make the save. Gunther beats both them down. There's like a powerbomb from one onto the other. And then Jey Uso makes the save. He clears the ring and raises the World Heavyweight title belt. But then he gets blindsided by A-Town Down Under. I was like, what?
The manatees are right and Raw.
Yeah.
Those random South Park manatees. You got an answer there, Joe?
Yeah, I think Speed is the youngest. I think the second youngest was Rene Dupree in 2004.
Oh, Dupree, yeah.
He was also 20 years old, but I think Speed's birthday is the 21st of January. So he's only just 20.
That's disgusting. Imagine how much money he's got as well.
Yeah.
For doing just streaming.
He does do mad stuff. Can't deny his bravery.
Jumps over cars and that.
Yeah, he's athletic. Yeah.
I could give that a go.
He's got that American like super charisma that we just can't do.
Yeah.
Who's his pal? Kai Cenat, he's another one as well, isn't he?
Oh, he's been on the wrestling, hasn't he? In the crowd.
He was vlogging when Cena lost the Rumble and he's going, John, no! He's like crying.
But he deserves it, quite frankly, for beating up that robot that time.
that video.
Because that's prodding the bear a bit too much. I'm poking it even. But the match itself here was fantastic, I thought. I've been a big fan of what Gunther's been doing these past couple of weeks with Tozawa and now Otis. The structure of the match was fantastic. Otis tried things, but Gunther fought them with ease. Then Otis kept trying things and eventually got the better of Gunther. For a little while there, a fantastic fall-away slam on the floor from Otis, maybe being the highlight of his offense during the match. I like the start as well, with Gunther in the midst of saying a line, booting Otis in the face because he is a poo house, even though he won't tell you that. Gunther's back on top towards...
helped that as well. They were like, he says the mat's sacred, but you can't do that.
Yes. Gunther's then back on top towards the end. Otis hangs in there for a bit before Gunther sees him off with a power bomb. I think this match needs a bigger stage than the Random Raw.
Yeah, same.
Otis has got that organic goodwill of the crowd that you can't manifest.
I almost said before when we were talking about who beats John Cena if he wins the belt, Otis will be a fine
That's
choice.
a match they need to do. That's a main event of Raw or SmackDown if they want to do it.
Yes.
And then, Theory and Waller getting involved because, as was said, the South Park Manatees are booking Raw. I guess that's Jay's next couple of weeks. I guess they're looking for a tag team that they can...
But it also seems like it could finally lead to the breakup of A-Town Down Under.
It won't, though. I've got no faith. It should have happened a long time ago.
They try and beat him down, I should say, but he takes them both out, but this allows Gunther to sneak back in and choke him out with a sleeper.
So, yeah. I guess Gunther next week will face Maxine Dupree.
Yeah.
Jey Uso's got 2 weeks of A-Town Down Under.
Yes. Bayley is interviewed during the break and congratulates Bianca Belair for winning the Chamber, but Bayley's own path to Mania is now unclear. But she's going to keep her head up, and she'll be watching the IC title match tonight because when one door closes, you have to break another one down. That's not how the saying goes.
Break the doors down.
Break the doors down.
Jericho's coming back.
Yeah.
The inventor of the Elimination Chamber, according to Michael Cole. Can you name who did invent it?
It was, he invented Money in the Bank.
Correct.
But who invented the Chamber, Bischoff?
No.
Yes, it was. in storyline.
But in real life, it was
Dunno.
Triple H.
Ah!
There's a quote from him from 2014, which I found for doing the WTF video for that moment there, where Triple H is like, I drew a square on a paper, and then I drew 4 more squares in the corners of that square, and that's how the chamber was born.
He's just got such a mind for this business, Ross.
It's just I drew a square, and then drew 4 more squares, and an elimination chamber.
This man is in charge of the biggest wrestling company.
But it's so interesting that he would come up with it, because I imagine he came up with the look of it, but surely the intricacies of it, he can't have had a hand in at all.
I feel like Triple H probably was trying to think of what the most badass match is that he could win. And that might honestly be how can I beat loads of people?
But just all that footage of the lads in the first one going, well, there's that quote from Booker T who sat next to Triple H going, someone's going to get effed up tonight. Like the hard bit on the outside that's now been replaced by padding. Triple H is a real sicko.
He is. Well, he loves metal and that, doesn't he? He's all, he is a sicko. AJ Styles is interviewed backstage, but good evening. Guess who it is? Carrying Cross
done it
with like a boyfriend-girlfriend kind of thing. Going, it's just me.
You see, there's some brilliancy happening on Twitter at the moment because people were going like, do you think that, if you notice now, every single time Karrion Kross interrupts someone who is not talking about him, his hairstyle is rather similar to the person he's interrupting.
Oh, I was as well.
Therefore, he's making them feel a bit more relaxed and like they're looking at him. And he replies, you're getting it or something like that. Not you're like keeping up with me and what I'm doing. He's playing 4D chess, the guy, because I've written down in my notes, once again, he's interrupted someone who wasn't talking about him and then gone, I've got you by the end of the segment.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Where's it going, though? Because he's moved from Sami Zayn to AJ Styles.
Don't know.
With no payoff.
No. He tries, unless everybody ends up losing, I don't know.
We can't blame Sammy's loss to KO on Karrion Kross.
What if he's putting massive bets on and he's like Darren Browning them into losing? And then he's just rich and leaves. He tries to play his mind games and compares AJ to John Cena. Styles says he's not John Cena. And maybe the WWE Universe needs a reminder of who he is. This seems to be like sort of suggested to him by Cross. He says, well, Logan Paul's slagging off all you part-timers. He goes, I'm going to call out Logan Paul at the Madison Square Garden show. I had to Google what this meant. It was the name of AJ's old heel theme, I think, in TNA. Cross says that, Cross, you're trying to be the devil on my shoulder, but God knows my evil ways.
Praise be. Praise the Almighty Lord.
AJ, that was the name of his heel theme, apparently, in TNA. He walks off, and Cross goes, that was easy.
I've got you, yeah.
Yes.
So the fact he's straightened his hair means he's inside AJ Styles' head and potentially the devil on his shoulder.
Yes. So Cross can only ever mess with people who have shorter or like hair that he can mimic, basically.
Yeah. Who is bald in the wrestling now?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Well, he's safe now from Karrion Kross.
Unless he goes back to shaving his head.
Who's bald? Chad Gable's safe.
Yeah,
he's
Chad
got
Gable's
shorter
safe.
hair. I'm trying to think of people with short hair now.
There's not a lot of bald men on the main roster, actually.
He could fashion a mullet if he wanted to.
The Rock.
Otis is in danger. Oh, The Rock's safe, yeah. Tozawa, I doubt he's going to bleach his hair.
Spike it up.
Cody must be safe now.
Sheamus is safe. You can't copy that. Yeah, fair enough.
But all the ladies on the roster as well, they're in danger.
Yeah.
He can fashion his hair like that if he wanted to.
Lyra Valkyria beats Ivy Nile again. Oh, no way. Have they wrestled before? Was this they've had interactions.
Interactions. It's really refreshing to hear that word, that name pronounced correctly.
Matthew has started pronouncing it correctly, actually.
It was just a bit there, pal. Do you remember he said that a couple of weeks ago?
I think he did clarify that it started off as a bit, but then he realised he actually couldn't pronounce it. So Lyra beats Ivy to retain the women's IC title. I've noticed what they're doing is, after every Lyra match, and they are usually good, but they go, wow, what a match!
Yeah.
That's what they're getting her over as. She's the Bret Hart of this generation.
Yeah.
She was also a bit more bad-tempered in this one, which I like to see.
She was. But I like the story of the match as well. Ivy worked the leg. Lyra gets on top but can't fully go all the way because of her knee, which is sore. The match was full of good action and booking that made sense. Ivy with the deadlift standing suplex. That looked fantastic. The ankle lock with the bend on the knee as well. That's what Joe Hendry should have done years ago.
Yeah.
Not a double ankle lock. It's an ankle lock with a bend on the knee at the same time.
Well,
Looked
Henry was
fantastic.
wrestling a very large man in Jake Hager. How is he going to beat him?
Still bendy knees.
Double ankle lock. which looked like a Boston crab.
It did. Ivy with the shoot German on Lyra, who was
on an unwilling opponent. Frankly, it wasn't Henry's fault.
Ivy with the shoot German on Lyra, who was looking to grab the rope to save her. It was a little moment there, was nice. The backbreaker Lyra used to set up the Nightwing looked fantastic in the corner. And then the match was my summarising notes of the match was given time. The lasses nailed everything they went for. Classic Triple H structure though, with the loser on top. 2 moves later, then they've lost.
Sometimes when two quite small, usually women or two quite light or small wrestlers wrestle each other, I worry that the moves don't sound like they've got impact or whatever. That was not a problem here at all.
Ivy lays it on.
Yeah.
She's very good.
She is, and so is Lyra. That 1-2 combination of moves at the end, really, really good.
Yeah. I would argue maybe that thing in the corner could be the finisher more than the Nightwing.
Possibly. It looked scary. Could she do it to everyone, or is it just because Ivy's quite small? No, she probably could.
Yeah. She's an animal.
She's really strong, as we saw.
I'm not saying that because she's a bird lady. I mean that in terms of how physically she is.
Celtic Warrior workouts. She was a beast. Do you see them? Io was on it, and Dakota.
The bit with the bridging.
The handstand contest. Yeah. It doesn't go well for Shane. Who's his pal?
Big Paddy O.
Oh, right.
That is his name. I'm not just being stereotypical.
No.
Big bald Paddy who went to uni with.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, I'm sure it's Paddy.
He's trying to hold Sheamus up. He was just chilling with Dakota there.
He's like, we went to uni together in 96. That's how he starts the episode.
I've only seen that clip from it anyway. That's nice.
Yeah.
Oh. Jackie Redmond tries to interview Seth Rollins as he's escorted from the building, but CM Punk appears and they continue to have this pull-apart brawl. This is part of the reason why Pierce slipped down in my rankings.
Why?
He couldn't get a handle on the situation. Whereas 10 lads in different tag teams were trying to have a brawl on SmackDown, and it pretty much got sorted.
But if Peter Griffin and the Chicken are fighting down the road and the police can't get a handle on them, how is Adam Pearce meant to get a handle on these two boys?
That's very silly. Whereas this is the realism-based WWE.
That's fair.
Dakota Kai's interviewed during the break and says she still wants the IC title. I'm afraid you've lost 2 matches for it. You're not allowed. That's my reasoning.
Back of the queue.
Lyra will be seeing Dakota again soon. Dakota warns everybody not to write off Io Sky tonight. She's been the best in the world for years, and she'll reclaim the top spot tonight. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Of course she will.
Who was predicting that? Obviously, she's going to lose.
I felt very silly.
Obviously, yeah. We even said, even though we're 3 cold white men.
We're tits. I don't know if you joined in, but me and Matthew were definitely like, all right, you.
I wasn't seeing that happening.
No.
But I still think it will be a triple threat match for the title. The women's title. They're not going to have Rhea Ripley not be on the show.
She'll be on it in some way.
Fighting who?
Dom? I don't know.
Oh!
No, I don't think that.
Triple threat, I think, yeah.
And it'd be a good triple threat as well.
Oh, yeah.
hell yeah.
One of the best I've ever seen.
Very good. Outside the venue, Adam Pearce tells off Seth. Rollins says if Pearce doesn't do anything about CM Punk, if he doesn't book them in a match, he'll just do exactly what he did to Roman Reigns. Make sure that Punk doesn't even make it to WrestleMania. Pearce books a steel cage match between the two for MSG, in which we will almost certainly see the return of Roman Reigns to cost Seth.
Yes.
Surely.
Yes, we will. Which means, you would deduce from that situation, Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins? Jesus Christ.
At WrestleMania.
At WrestleMania.
And if that's the case, I think then maybe Punk is more likely to go into the Cena match.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it needs it.
So it'd be Rock and Cena against Punk.
Oh,
and
tag.
I
meant triple
on
threat.
night 1. Oh, triple threat.
Maybe it's if we win this tag match, Punk gets added to. Oh, but why would Cody want that? If he gets the pinfall, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's ways it can go.
Then Cody's got to act like a heel, does he not?
I'll tell you who the loser's going to be. It's going to be main event Jey Uso. He's not main event. He's not main eventing.
He might be opening main event.
He won the Royal Rumble. This happened to Del Rio, didn't it?
It's happened for years.
Has it?
Yeah. Where the Rumble winner doesn't actually get the main event.
But they surely, now it's a 2-night thing, get one of the main events.
Hopefully.
I don't think you will.
No, not when The Rock's there.
Not when Punk and The Rock are both there.
Politicking pricks.
Arseholes.
What, are you calling CM Punk a politicking prick?
I mean, not in the same way as... Ludwig Kaiser comes out and he's very proud about beating Pete Dunne and Penta last week. Now he's taken the limelight away from Penta, and it's the attention that Kaiser has deserved for so long. Because, and I couldn't believe it, he's a future world champion.
Now, I've heard a great man once said months ago, not even when Ludwig Kaiser was on his own, that Ludwig Kaiser would be a future world champion. I can't think of who that great man is,
It
though.
was Fraser Porter.
Fraser Porter, of course.
And I laughed at him for this, not because I don't think Ludwig Kaiser's good, I just didn't see it happening.
So do you think Ludwig Kaiser's gone into business for himself on live television?
No.
Or live streamings?
And the fact that I don't think that, and I think he was scripted to say this, if this is a pendulum of like, there's my prediction, there's Fraser's, it's gone way towards Fraser's side. Because the fact that they've let him say that is foreboding for me.
And I'm sure Fraser will take this news with great grace and decorum and not make you feel inadequate in any way.
Probably doing a sly way like, oh, do you see Ludwig Kaiser's promo on
It happened to me earlier today.
What happened?
You know Greg Miller's left the WWE.
Greg Miller?
He's a gaming fella.
Game
Oh,
over
yeah,
Greggy.
yeah, the grey fade.
Yeah,
He's
glasses.
like an older man, but he looks fantastic.
Yeah.
He hosted This Is Awesome.
Yes. I keep mixing him up with Matt Camp for some reason, but it's not.
Similar grey fades.
Okay, right, yeah.
So off the back of that news, I was like, oh, damn him, basically. Because to peel the curtain back a bit, he agreed to do Straight to Hell. But then he had to go to some convention. So I was like, oh, I'll message back in a couple of weeks. So I messaged back and he ghosted me. He didn't reply. So I was like, he's lost his gig. Down with him. Because I'm a petty guy. And then Fraser turned around and was like, all right, well, I contacted him and I did Desert Island Grabs with him, actually. He must like me more than you, Ross. That's what he said. That's what he said. But it's just the way he says it, though, Jack. It pierced me like a sword. A sword through one ear and out the other.
I can just fully picture it.
It was just the.
Oh, right.
I actually. You know what I mean? Oh, I wanted to launch myself over the table.
Oh, no, it's just that I've done an interview with him the other day.
Couldn't believe it. But Ludwig Kaiser's going to be a future world champion, so he is.
And then Fraser will come in and be like, oh, have you guys seen the result of the pay-per-view? We're making him the wrong type of Scottish. Have you seen the result of the pay-per-view? He doesn't
I said this 7 years ago. In Peebles. Which I still don't believe is a real place.
My mum and dad have been. It's real.
They haven't, though,
It's
have
like
they?
Brigadoon.
It's like something you'd say if like you're going to go to the forest in April and take some shrooms.
No,
I'm going to pop down to Peebles.
My mum and dad know it. They were like, oh, your pals from Peebles, a nice place there. Couldn't believe it.
The pals from Peebles.
Yeah. What Cena did to Cody is nothing compared to what Ludwig Kaiser will do to Penta, which I doubt. He'll teach him exactly what fear is. Sarah Miedo, Penta arrives and clears Kaiser out the ring and hits him with a big dive.
This was funny because Ludwig Kaiser had several chances to run away, but for some reason he kept getting back into the ring and getting felled.
While looking scared as well. Go, no, how can this keep happening to me?
Yeah, it was nice healing from him to keep doing that because the commentator was like, just run away. What are you doing? But on Penta-related news, there is a video on The Talk, which Kayla found last night. Kayla came across last night, where you see him unmasked.
We've seen him unmasked.
I know, yeah, but you Google it, you don't see anything.
Really?
But he's getting out of his rental car and going in the building, and he's got sunny G's on, but you can see what his face looks like. So if you want to see what his face looks like, it's on The Talk. If you want to see it.
I've seen Liger unmasked.
I've seen Penta without his trousers on.
I've seen Suzuki without any clothes on, as I've told the story before.
Yeah.
But I've seen Liger without his mask on, and I didn't know that. I just saw a bald Japanese man in the venue we were in, and then he went away, and I forgot what he looked like, and then our promoter went, that was Jushin Thunder Liger.
Bald
and I was
fraud.
like, damn it!
He's a very small man.
Yeah, he's a cruiserweight. He's a junior heavyweight, yeah.
But I didn't expect him to be so small. Because he looks
He's
like...
quite stocky.
Yeah, but he's very small. It's like Dave Meltzer.
He's
Meltzer's
like,
very small.
Liger's got to be like in his 50s now.
Yeah, well, he was then.
I wouldn't fight Meltzer either. He's got huge
I reckon I could
muscles.
take Meltzer.
He's huge.
Because Meltzer... Right, here. This is a hot take for you.
Distract him with a promo.
No. I distract him with a dustpan and brush to clean up his room. No, Meltzer's torso is so small that the fact he put on a little bit of muscle makes the muscle look twice as big.
It's dense muscle, I think.
So I think mass would take down Dave Meltzer with ease. Don't want to sound like Fraser here, but I reckon if I could fight Dave Meltzer, I could beat him without breaking sweat.
I don't think I could, but I'd rather fight Meltzer than Alvarez, who I think is like a jiu-jitsu whiz guy.
Probably.
Yeah.
But if you watch that Straight to Hell I did with Meltzer, focus in on the muscle, because I was thinking this while doing
Look how terrified he is of me.
No! So I'm sure he takes his wonderfully coloured hoodie off halfway
Yeah.
through, and the muscles aren't like big, but they look big on his little frame. It makes sense in my head.
I don't know.
He's so compact.
He is.
He's like one of them batteries.
Double A, not triple. Or one or the other one.
No,
Oh,
maybe a double D. I don't know.
Single A.
Single.
I don't know.
Kathy Kelly is interviewing Bianca Belair.
Is interviewed backstage. She doesn't want to talk about the situation regarding Jade and Naomi because she hasn't had a chance to talk to them both yet. And as sad as she is, she's just as proud that she was able to win the Elimination Chamber. She's excited for tonight's main event. She's going to be there at ringside, and she puts over both Io and Rhea.
She literally says she feels guilty, which I thought was telling, but she says she feels guilty because she won and her pals had other things going on.
It's coming out.
But it's coming up.
It's coming out. You know when like a murderer is interviewed on the news before anyone knows that they've done it? It's like that.
Aye, but the most interesting thing about this segment is the meeting of the minds in the background is shot.
It was Natalia.
Natalia and Maxine Dupree.
Yeah.
Now, last week when Jey Uso was in the trainer's room with Akira Tozawa,
Yeah.
Natalia was in their faction, helping out Akira. So what's going on here? I can't wait to find out.
I don't know. Maxine's going to get her to teach her some stuff. Teach me the sharpshooter.
Oh, yeah. that way around.
Yeah. Wait, did I
Maxine
say...
teaching Natalia.
No,
you did say it right. That
Can
was
you
just me.
teach me that worm that you did?
Natalia is going to be on NWA and GCW as well.
Yeah, Bloodsport.
She's going all over the
She
place.
is on Bloodsport. She's an indie legend now.
Yeah.
Like Cody Rhodes when he made his own way.
That's nice of them to do, though. If they've got bugger all to do on
Yeah,
TV, let
100%.
them go and do stuff.
Why not?
They should do that for more people.
A-Town Down Under interview during the break. Grayson Waller has a message for his boss, Dwayne. If he's looking for another soul, Grayson's keen. Waller accuses Theory, though, of being a Jey Uso fan, and Austin's like, well, can we not do this right now in front of the camera? Grayson says he'll take care of Jey next week. Theory interrupts to shout yeet again, and obviously Waller's not happy about that.
Now, this is confirmation that official Netflix Raws skip certain ad breaks. Because I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
I don't either.
I was thinking this watching NXT last week, so I was sat there thinking, it's going to be full 2 hours. It's now whatever time it was. In 2 hours' time, I'll be done because I'm watching it on
this was
1.25. And I've done it again this week, and this confirms that they cut little bits out.
I think I just imagined
It
this.
skips ahead in the timeline.
That was just a little story I wrote.
Fair. Nice little short story.
Yeah. The one that sounded suspiciously like a real segment, but wasn't.
Fair. Why would you fantasy book them two out of everybody?
I don't know. I was
Fair.
bored. Chad Gable. Oh.
The little bits here. Fantastic.
It was so AEW or TNA.
Did you see the shop that he walked past?
This has to be a Borash thing, by the way. Something Meats?
Los Hermanos.
The Brothers.
The brothers.
Right.
Who's just left AEW? Ronald Ray Phoenix.
Oh. Wow. That's great. Wow. Unless it was just a shop really called that.
Yeah.
Wow.
He must have gone all the way to Mexico to do that.
It looked very authentic, didn't it?
If you know the street where that was done, maybe it was in Texas. No.
Well, yeah, it's right near the border, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been, but it looked authentic.
Where was
to
Breaking
me.
Bad?
Albuquerque,
Albuquerque,
New Mexico,
yes,
yeah.
New Mexico.
New Mexico. Chad Gable's in Mexico, though, I believe, like the country Mexico, looking for the Lucha Libre mentor that he was recommended by Dom, I think it was.
Yes.
Have
Have you seen this guy? He says.
People aren't wanting to talk to him, but he somehow finds him.
People laugh at him.
Yeah.
Now the makeup here I thought was spectacular. Because it looks like Uncle Howdy, but if Uncle Howdy was like a karate master.
He finds like a big chin. And
Big chin, massive beard, big baldy head.
Yeah.
So stereotypical it hurt, but it fit the silly bollocks nature of what was going on.
In an alley, he finds a mysterious old man who says, "You cannot beat what you don't understand. You must become Lucha to beat the luchadors." The man sells him a box, telling Gable he now wields power beyond his understanding. Gable looks inside, but we don't see what it is, but he looks excited.
It's a mask.
It's got to be a mask, yeah.
Yeah.
But why would he be so excited about that?
I've also written down it could be Wheeler Yuta. That's what he looked like. If Wheeler Yuta in 30 years' time with grey hair, that's what he looked like.
Yeah.
But it's got to be the mask of El Santos or maybe El Dandy.
But how's that gonna?
Because mask carry. You ever seen The Mask with Jim Carrey?
Yeah.
He puts it on.
So this is going to be a like Mike situation with the shoes.
Yeah.
You put on the shoes, you can play like Michael Jordan.
Yes. But he puts on the mask, he can wrestle like Rey Mysterio and beat Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania. Or maybe Penta and Rey.
I hope it's like an Easter egg or something. Ooh.
No, imagine like a tag team match at WrestleMania, Chad and one of the Creeds. Or maybe it's going to be Chad and the Creeds versus Rey,
And the
Penta,
other-
and Rey.
Yeah.
Other Rey. Little Rey.
Yeah.
Not King Rey. And imagine like the first half of the match, Chad Gable's got the mask on and he's wrestling like Rey back in 97. And then somehow they get the mask off him. Then he's like plodding around the ring and his limbs don't work properly. That's what I would do.
Yeah, that's great. It's proper Lucha Underground stuff, isn't it? I like it.
No, that was better than Lucha Underground. It was better than latter day Lucha Underground, which went off the rails, though.
Yeah,
that's fair.
yeah.
The man didn't really demand that much money for the box.
$500
Was it?
Something like that,
Oh,
yeah.
well, fair enough. Sorry, I thought it was like 5.
Yeah.
Oh, fair. All right.
So he keeps going like, come on.
Yeah,
A little bit
yeah.
more.
Back to the arena where the War Raiders beat the Creed brothers to retain the World Tag Team titles. Good match.
Oh, slow.
It's what you want, though.
A little slow Bunsen burner of a start, but then when Ivar starts getting his stuff in, but then takes the Julius dropkick off the top rope backwards to the floor, going like that.
Yes.
Shocking scene. So that was the Creeds then take control, turn it into a proper ding dong with all the teams getting their stuff in there. All 280 pounds of Brutai doing a 450 off the top rope. Julius getting the superplex off the top despite Ivar trying to pull him off the ropes, not his winky. His balance was incredible. Brutus moonsault misses, but he manages to land on his feet basically because he is freak.
Yes.
Ivar misses his moonsault, then has to roll several miles the wrong way to get in position for Julius to do his shooting star press, which was funny. The match really fingered. What?
I don't like that turn of phrase.
Why?
Because
You
I
invented
brought it
it.
in. That's exactly why I don't
How
like
many
it.
fingers are you giving the match?
I'm giving the match, I don't know, 3.5 fingers.
3.5 fingers. I'll go 4 fingers.
Just a bit, you reminded me of the bit where it went, you had to,
Yeah.
But the missed Brutus ball at the end as well was cool.
Yeah.
They're just two teams that, it was Ron Seal, dare I say.
It was a Triple H structure as well because the loser were on top. Ivar squashes Julius on the ring skirt screen thingy, then the War Machine for the win. 2 moves to turn the tide and win.
Yeah. I was good. It was a good match. I wouldn't have been annoyed if the Creeds had won, but
No,
maybe
no,
that
no.
needs to happen in a main event or something.
Yeah.
We get an LWO video package.
Just before that, though, Jack,
Oh.
Michael Cole tells us that Sammy is out indefinitely because he suffered the damage suffered at the hands of KO.
okay.
So does that mean he's out of WrestleMania or returns at WrestleMania to help KO beat Randy? To help Randy beat KO.
They're starting to book it like when the Bloodline story got crap when Jimmy turned back. And we get an LWO video package. The New Day might be able to beat them down, but they can't take their heart, their spirit, or their fire. It's the most stereotypical Latin American. Like, I felt embarrassed.
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio says they should have finished what they started, the New Day, and challenges them to a tornado tag match next week. And then, helpfully, for anyone new to wrestling, he explains the rules of a tornado tag.
Yeah.
too.
New Ballymadry, he ends it. Which I believe
New Day sucks.
New Day sucks. Which is interesting because Madry's a beer. Suck it down.
Ah, yes.
They're selling jars of suck.
I particularly found a bit cringy where Ray and Dragon Lee have pre-prepared a way of saying New Day sucks, where one goes, New Day sucks, New Day sucks. I
Cool.
thought, how are lads?
Really cool.
It wasn't cool.
The lights were good.
Yes.
The promo looked great, but as you say, it was so stereotypical it did hurt. But yeah,
They just needed to mention Destiny, and then that would have been all the checks boxed. All the boxes.
box checked. Yes, I fully agree with you. As you take a long sip of Dr Pepper there. How's the Dr Pepper?
It's burning cold in my throat in a nice way.
burning cold in your throat.
No, it's got a bit warm now, sadly. Bron Breakker is interviewed during the break. He mocks the Judgment Day, but is interrupted by the entrance of Finn Balor. And then the broadcast returns. Finn says Bron is only still champion because the Judgment Day have let him be. Bron says he's a champion because he's a dog.
I'm a dog.
Finn reckons he could take the title anytime I like. Bron heads to the ring then. Fair enough, I'll come and get you. And fends off an ambush from Carlito and Dom. Balor tries to attack Breakker but gets beaten down himself. Bron goes for the spear, but Dom pulls Finn to safety, so Bron spears Carlito
This
instead.
is shocking, this.
Why?
Dom Mysterio being the bigger man.
I know.
Him and Finn aren't getting along. Well, I think Dom thinks him and Finn are fine, but Finn thinks him and Dom are not fine.
Dom's going to get murdered by Finn at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, Finn's really losing it.
Yeah.
He thinks he can beat Bron Breakker.
He's an idiot.
He's lost his mind. Ross did a swear, but
I didn't-
maybe we
If you
don't
ever
know.
watched Father Ted, I said what they replaced the F word with.
Yeah, their version, the Irish
Sounds
version.
like if you're in the back garden and you're sitting on the decking.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
sounds a bit like that.
Yeah,
But begins
hecking.
with F,
Yeah.
Up the chicken sausages on that note. But yeah, poor Carlito getting a hell of a spear around the corner.
Yes.
Pat loves it when Braun runs around the corner.
He gets really excited.
Look at the speed he ran around the corner.
He gets as excited as like F1 fans must get when the cars go past them live. Ah!
I don't get that sport.
I used to like it, and then it all got a bit too boring for me.
That would have been my life if my father didn't die.
Go-karter, you said? Go-karting, man, yeah.
Yes, I
yeah.
could have been.
And you were quite good when we went go-karting, I seem to remember.
Yeah, it was just the way that let me down. Of me.
I thought you meant of the go-kart.
If you put a massive rock on a cart, it would be harder to push, wouldn't it?
I did find the go-karting... Pacini said he got told off by the marshals at that track.
It was horrible.
Was it? I wasn't near him at any point really on the circuit.
He kept trying to bash into people and stuff, trying to cause
doing dodgems.
Yeah.
What a reckless man.
Yeah, because then we had the lady on the track who was driving rather slowly.
Yeah.
And that was, I would argue, that was trying to cause more accidents than what Adam was trying to do. But Adam was trying to do it on purpose.
This was that was the peak of our friendship, and I don't think you even know it. But I followed you round. I followed your line to overtake her, and I thought that's the peak of my Ross's friend.
I'm happy I could guide you the way through.
Yeah, I was like, wait, it was like under the tunnel bit and up the hill. I was like, oh. As we went past her, I went, beep, beep. No, I didn't do that.
I threw a banana at her.
God, what a memory. Bron Breaker.
We should do it again. After we've been to hot yoga, we should follow up with a trip to the go-kart track.
That'd be a great day out.
Yeah.
Go-karting is fun.
Yeah.
It is fun.
I've never done it.
Unless you get someone like Pacini.
Yeah, that sounds
Tries to
scary
bash
to me.
into you, yeah.
I don't even like dodgems.
You also want to make sure it's... Because the other thing I remember was how cold your hands got, even with them gloves on. It was a
That's
cold
because
day.
we went in February and it was
we?
outdoors.
It was a cold... Oh, it was cold.
And we went at 6 o'clock at night, so it was dark. It got dark towards the end.
That explains
That
it,
was
yeah.
good, though, I thought, under the lights. It's always more magic under the lights, isn't it?
Beep. It was a good time. Otis and Co. thank their friend Jey Uso backstage for saving them earlier. Jey is interviewed. He goes that's all good, brothers, and then he walks off and gets interviewed. And he gets angry at all the doubters, but he admits that Gunther's even started to make him doubt himself. But ain't nobody going to pick him up apart from himself, though, because he's Jey Uso. Gunther might have put him to sleep earlier on, but he's woken up a beast.
You woke up a damn beast. I like when Jay talks like that with intensity. He's back on track. He does the yeet at the end, but that's fine because that's his catchphrase. It
But
wasn't
it's
just
slightly
about the
different the way he says it. He goes, Yeeta. He's getting angry.
Yeah, he's getting a bit paranoid in his own head, you could say, which is a callback to the former Russo theme song.
I was worried about some of these feuds when I realised that there's actually the build to Mania is a bit longer than usual, a couple of weeks into April, and I thought they've got to stretch some of these out. But I've not minded the way they've done that with this feud. I think they've done it well.
I think the story of Jay doubting himself and then realising he can do it is a story as old as time, but a story that can feel fresh in 2025.
Yes, absolutely.
What a wanky thing to say.
No, but I agree though, and I think it could end up being it could maybe be the best Jey Uso singles match we've ever seen.
I'd hope so.
Yeah.
The bar's not high. Is it? Let's be honest.
Some of the Roman ones were good if you like that style.
The drama.
Yeah.
But bell-to-bell action. He's still not got that proper, that's the Jey Uso singles
He's had
match.
some fantastic tag matches.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt in that.
Yeah.
But the singles game's a different kettle of fish. I feel like we're on a kickoff show.
Yeah, of course.
I feel like you're Megan Morant and I'm Sam Roberts here.
It's time to talk about the main event. Rhea Ripley defending the women's world title in the main event against Io Sky. Bianca Belair watches from ringside because she's the Rumble winner. She's going to face the winner at Mania. And she cheers on both women. In fairness to Bianca, she's cheering on both.
It's a bit louder for Io, though, I'd argue.
Both women are down on the outside and they're trying to beat the count out back into the ring. Rhea gets in there first. And Bianca has been cheering her on, but because Io is the last one left on the outside, Bianca does, come on, Io. Reminds me of sports day in year 5 when I got screwed. So I don't know what to say.
Why?
So it was the obstacle course race under the net through the
Year
hoops.
5?
Maybe a bit younger. I
was gonna
in
say.
primary school certainly. Under the net, through the hoops, all the stuff. And I think I was either screwed out of second place into third or third into fourth, where you don't even get a medal. If it was that one, then
Yeah, that's heartbreak.
I've got through all the obstacles. The lad who won has won. My mate Scott is in front of me. And and he starts slowing down, coasting towards the line. And the two teachers there at the finish line, and the other one sees me coming up behind him, come on, and helps Scott over before I can pip him. And I think that's...
Well, that's your behaviour.
Anna was better behaved. No, I was like a proper swallow.
I think that's your behaviour biting you on the arse.
I was proper... I had really good marks in that in primary school, right? Let's not beat around the bush here. Sorry, I'm getting fuming. I was a little teacher's pet. And despite that, she goes, oh no.
Well, maybe Scott came from a poorer family. He had nothing going for him.
His dad was a copper. Why am I revealing?
What was his surname?
No. Hey, God.
Did you get a toothbrush for finishing runner-up?
Why don't you piss off? You sardonic little arsehole.
But that's all right finishing second in that one. At least you haven't got the worst smile. You've got the second worst smile.
Best smile.
No, the second most jaunty teeth.
That's not what they said. Anyway, that's what Bianca's doing with Io. She's preferring her secretly. I think you're right.
Yeah, she's scared of Rhea Ripley.
Or do you believe Rhea in that? Or do you think that Bianca just didn't want to see a great match end in a count out?
No!
She didn't care about
I
that.
don't trust Bianca as far as I can throw her.
No.
Which is 3 yards of our gave a little caber toss from the foot first.
If she jumped for you, yeah, maybe. it would
How
help.
far do you reckon you could caber toss Bianca Belair? There's a question.
I reckon because muscle's heavier than fat and she has loads of muscles, it wouldn't be very far.
Yeah. Joel?
Yeah, it depends how much she's putting into it.
Is she helping?
Nah,
or is she...
she's got to be
no, I
stiff
don't-
rigid.
Oh,
and you're
not-
just going...
Not far.
Hardly,
I think she's
yeah,
also
not far at
looks
all.
like she's quite tall as well, doesn't she? Like when she stood next to Jade, it's not that different. And if you ask that question about Jade, I don't think I'd be able to pick her up.
Oh, you would.
Why?
Jade? I can't pick Jade up.
Of course you can.
Seen the muscles on
She's
her.
lean, though.
She is lean, but like she's got so many muscles.
All
So
of the
many-
muscles?
All of them.
I reckon you should believe in yourself some more.
I think I could pick her up and I'd teeter and have to immediately put her down again.
Joel, what's the weight of Jade Cargill?
Oh, it doesn't.
I want to know
It's
this.
hard to find out wrestlers' real weights, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's her gimmicked weight?
Is that rude to find out a lady's weight?
Yes, it is.
Not if she's a pro wrestler. They announce it at the start of. Oh no, they don't
No, they
announce
don't.
the women's ones.
No.
Yeah.
I'll Google it for you. Jade Cargill. 73 kilograms. Right.
That's lighter than I thought.
What-
Yes, I could pick up.
What
Jake.
weighs 73 kilograms?
Just like
It's a great question.
probably Joel weighs like 73 kilograms.
I don't know how much I weigh.
Would that sound about accurate?
Especially in kilograms.
What is it in stone and pounds? Oh, this is so English. God,
What is 73 kg?
I'm desperate for the break.
No, let's wait. Kg
It's
in
important.
stones and pounds. It is. Oh, God, it's taken me to another website. Oh, it's a table. I can't read a table. Just give us the bloody... Oh, my. It's another table. Where's the conversion thing? This segment's died a death. We couldn't lift Jade Cargill.
There we go. Rhea thinks that Bianca is only rooting for Io, which might be true, and accuses her of wanting to avoid facing Ripley. Are you scared of me? Do you not
I
want to
think
face me at
she is.
WrestleMania? They get into a shoving contest, which the referee breaks up.
Wonderfully so by Jessica Carr.
Yes, she's really good at it.
Yeah.
But Rhea lets it get in her head. She gets back in the ring, but continues to talk trash at Bianca as she's setting up to finish Io off.
See you at WrestleMania, buddy, she says.
And then goes for this avalanche riptide, which Io marvelously counters into a Hurricane Rana.
Move of the week, Joel Fletcher.
Oh, baby.
Joel, sorry, bleep that out. I went to school with a guy called Joe Fletcher. Oh, it's fine to keep in, I guess. He won't listen to this. Joel Holland. Bleep that. All this chat about school.
Ross just accidentally mistook Joel for a Joel he went to school with
Who I've seen once in 10 years on a stag do in November.
and doxed him massively.
Joel Holland.
Yes.
That is my move of the week. Io Sky's reversal out of the riptide on the ropes.
Okay.
That's fine to leave it. I don't mind.
All right, fair enough then. Move it away.
I'm not even close to the guy. I don't know what I'm thinking about him.
It's just going to be just the fact that the jingle's going to happen before we've explained. So everyone will be like, what did he just say?
Giving away Joel's stage name is Joel Holland, but his shoot name is Fletcher.
Right.
Whoops.
And then Io hits her moonsault and wins the belt, and she's going to WrestleMania. And I'm lightheaded from that, laughing. Oh.
Fair play to them for going the unpredictable route, or route as some
It's
people like
time
to say
to play
that
the
word.
game.
Yeah, it's the overriding theme of this year's build to WrestleMania is the unpredictable nature of it. Still, as we're sat here now, we're wondering what certain matches are going to be. And this is certainly one of them, because you would assume with Bianca and Rhea's interactions in particular, it is going to be a triple threat match. But yeah, the match itself, they were both going at 100 miles an hour from the get-go. I think there was a little... Maybe there was a little fire under their arses after the match wasn't on the pay-per-view, and it's just, I say just on Raw, but you know what I mean by
Yeah,
that, with it
yeah,
being
yeah.
a title match here, with a big title change. Lots of reversals and liquid wrestling. One of the best big boots I've ever seen from Rhea Ripley with Io on the run. Whoop-ta! And it was interesting to see Io use the Asuka lock. Not her move, but the move of her friend who hasn't been seen
She
for a
also
while.
did one of Dakota Kai's moves as well, I think, just before that.
Can't she not do anything by herself?
Oh, it was a nice little moment.
I know, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe Asuka's not too far away from coming back, and maybe that's a way of getting her back on TV.
Maybe.
You do my move, do you, sir? I don't think so. Or I love the tribute. Thank you.
I think she should pay tribute. But we'll ask her to take it that way. I really liked it. It humped. As a match.
When it's a ladies' match, it has to hump.
Yeah. I thought it was really good. Their humps.
You don't have to do that. Yeah, that's Fergie's song about her bodacious bottom.
Break so bad. It was good, and I just on your point about how the overriding theme of this build to Mania got me thinking about how this build to Mania has felt compared to last year's, and I think in a way last year's was like electrifying and like outside of the realm of normal wrestling, and it was the press conference, and from that moment on, it was like, oh, this is something different. We've not really seen much like this before in the modern age, but this year's feels a bit more within the realm of Triple H's control, but it's still very, very good. I'm enjoying the build. Generally.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of the shows have a lot of filler, but the good stuff like this is really, really good.
I think they've seen what the unpredictable nature of last year's main event did to the fans and gone, let's do that up and down the card, never mind just for the main event.
Yeah, they might well have done, and it's working.
It is working.
For now.
Go and have a nice piss.
Oh, thank you. And thank you all. We'll see you. Wait, for NXT next in a second.
Joel stops the camera, then we just start again straight away.
Yeah.
NXT. The show opens with Chelsea Green and Piper Niven versus Zarya and Sol Rucker. It's a tough night for Chelsea, who gets busted open and pinned after a soul snatcher.
Mike Cardona. Oh, I've had a great start of the segment there. Matt Cardona, to give him his real name. He had a great time on Twitter. He was heartbroken that his wife had her face smashed open.
He said that she still looks beautiful or something like that. So that's nice. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Cute.
Corey is still bitter about being in NXT. Don't know about you. Oh, sorry. Do you know how long it's been since I've had my presence graced by Chelsea Green? The inference being because I'm not on the main roster now. Chelsea and Piper gave these NXT lasses lots of chances to show what they can do, which is the point for me for this kind of match. The Moonsault Doomsday device from Sol and Zarya needs to be their tag team finisher. Shocked to see more friendly fire from Piper to Chelsea. We're seeing it all the time now. It's going to be, they're going to split up soon. It's going to be heartbreaking scenes because Piper will be forgotten about forever.
Did you see the cut during the entrance where Chelsea's doing like, ooh, look at me? It cuts to just like an adolescent lad in the crowd who's gobsmacked. He's like, oh,
she's a gorgeous lady.
He's like, oh yeah, he couldn't believe what he was saying.
Sorry,
It reminded me of those lads behind us at Mania 32.
I can't remember what you're on
So
about.
there was a women's match on the pre-show, like a 10-woman tag match or something.
Oh, the Total Divas versus the team, whatever it was.
Yeah, and they're all obviously we were on the side that you see on the hard cam. We weren't on the hard cam side. We were on the TV side. So they're all facing the other way, and the lads behind us are just saying terrible things about their bottoms. And then one of them was like a bit smarky than his mates. He was like, yeah, Eva Marie's not... They were from like London by the sounds of it. Eva Marie's not a good wrestler. And then the other one, yeah, but she is bad though.
It was actually Gabe Kidd.
She's buff though.
Yeah, Gabe Kidd and the War Dogs were actually sat behind us on that day. Young whippersnappers, the War Puppies. But yeah, Zarya doing the F5 to Sol onto a knocked out Chelsea was fantastic. Mm-hmm. Or was it Piper? I've written down Zarya doing the F5 to Zarya.
I think she did it to Piper.
Onto Chelsea, yeah.
But it wasn't the thing that broke her nose.
No, it was before,
yeah. But it probably didn't help.
Yeah, then a big Sol snatcher for the win, and Sol and Zarya have lots of nice moves and appear to be becoming a well-oiled machine as a tag team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who would have bloody thought it?
Oh, these crazy, wacky characters.
I don't know about you, though, Jack. I can't wait to see how the storyline with Nikita Lyons, Big Cat Kita, will be paid off.
Me neither. She wasn't on this week's show.
No, they've forgotten about it for 2 weeks now. We were supposed to see Big Cat Kita show these ladies what it's for to wear a bikini on a beach.
Yeah, she was going to mess up their training session or something, wasn't she? She never turned up. We see a meeting between Jordan Grace and Ava earlier today. Grace says she's got unfinished business with Roxanne Perez. Cora Jade interrupts and walks in the room. Grace assumes that Cora's here to defend her BFF, and Cora goes, have you been watching? Me and Roxanne,
idiot.
Me and Roxanne aren't best pals anymore. Yeah.
That's bad from Joel and Grace, that.
It is bad. Cora was actually here to thank Ava because she's managed to get her a TNA Knockouts title shot against Masha Slamovich. An NXT superstar holding that belt would make it mean more than it ever has, which is a shot at Jordan because she was the TNA Knockouts champion.
Yeah.
And a shot at all of TNA.
What is the point of TNA? Apart from giving like people who aren't on NXT every week a few reps.
They're getting buried by NXT. Time. Jordan Grace is offended by this and says, well, the day you win that belt will be the day I retire. And Cora goes, pack your bags then, mate. And Ava goes, settle it in the ring.
Yeah.
And I thought, is this going to be a good show from Ava?
No.
After the break.
In fact, no, it's not as bad as recent weeks.
Okay. Yeah.
We're in a step in the right direction.
After the break, Trick Williams is angrily talking to Ava now. He wants a rematch against Eddie Thorpe, but Ava is hesitant despite Eddie suggesting it himself last week.
Yep.
And Ava's like, don't know if I want to even though you both want this match, I'm going to be difficult.
Well, that's because she's saving themselves from themselves. The tale as old as time.
They are interrupted by those lads from the uni, or the lads who are maybe the new Chase U, Uriah Connors and Cale Dixon. They arrive with a gift basket for Ava because they've heard she's got a new office. And they're like, oh, you giving this gift, celebrating your new office?
It's stationery is all it is. There was a pair of scissors and a bit of sellotape. It's, their gimmick might be students, so they gifted her student things. But only student things that nerds carry. How old were you when you got rid of your pencil case, Jack? I'll tell you. I was 17.
Yeah, I was at school somewhere. She wants the gift, though. She keeps on being excited to take it.
It's useful to have, isn't it?
But Trick keeps on going, bring your gift back later, which is rude. Just wait for them to give her it, and then you can carry on.
I would be frustrated if I was Trick as well.
Really?
You want the match, your opponent wants the match, and then some idiot won't book the match.
But that's not the fault of Cale and Uriah.
But they were friendly fire. Well, not friendly fire. They were just
Collateral.
close. Yeah, collateral damage. That's the one.
Cale reminds Trick that he's the reason that Chase U was put on the line in the... Oh, wait, sorry. Trick goes, why don't you just go out and hang out with Mr. Chase or something? Which is nasty. And Cale goes, you were the reason that Mr. Chase put the U on the line in the first place.
He's not the full reason, but Trick certainly could have helped out more instead of just sitting on commentary that time.
Trick shoves him against the wall and says he'll teach him a lesson tonight. He storms off, and both Cale and Uriah say, in honor of Mr. Chase. In honor of Mr. Chase.
Get him! Come on! This is the night we make a star out of Cale Dixon.
It's not, though.
No, it's not, is it?
Jada Parker wins a singles match against Kalani Jordan, the new Kalani Jordan that no one can beat, but Jada does. After the bell, she says she'll be watching Julia versus Stephanie Vakir at Roadblock.
Yeah, I was thinking this one should be mental after they have displayed over many weeks now how much they hate each other.
Miss Parker.
There was an extra bit of stank on the collar and elbow type to display this. Kalani making Jada's head proper snap back off a lariat because it looked like Jada went for the bump like a fraction too late, so she ended up getting a shoot shot. Kalani then was one step ahead of Jada for a bit after because of the shoot shot, but then Parker comes back with a nice sidewalk slam on the top turnbuckle. Kalani avoids a big boot, catches the leg, and then does like an exaggerated Russian leg sweep, which I thought was a very nice maneuver by her. The lasses then traded bombs before a missed 450 from Kalani allows Jada to hit a second drive-by arse for the win. It didn't feel like a feud ender.
No.
It feels like there's more to come, but it looks like Jada has already moved on to other things.
It feels like if this rumor about either Julia or Stephanie being injured is true, maybe they've just given her a little impromptu push up the card. And if they're going to do that with anyone, I can't complain about it being Jada Parker.
Yeah.
She's fantastic.
Steve versus Jade will be good.
Do you see Steve on Bully Ray's podcast?
She's lovely.
She is a charm. The comments are all just lads just falling in love with her. She is fantastic.
That's what happened there. Her in a pair of spectacles.
Everyone was like,
lovely.
But they were trying to say it in not that. They were going, she's so charming and charismatic.
Yeah. They were just like, do you want to feel the, what was it?
Do you want to feel the demon or the
Diablo?
El Diablo?
The Diablo, yeah.
And Bubba Ray's like, yeah, it was good.
I wouldn't mind feeling to be a Diablo. Put the horns on the head.
Yeah, the horns. She brings out her horns and makes Bully wear them.
That's feeling the Diablo.
She is charming. She is charming. But that's not why everybody was also... It doesn't matter.
Her in a pair of spectacles.
Oh, goodness gracious me.
No, it's a bit...
Yeah,
I don't know what's happening.
Kelly Clancid or Kelly Kincaid to give her... I'll give her a
No,
real
it's
name.
rancid Kelly Clancid with Smelly Melly, the little baby wavy.
She is back and interviews the D'Angelo family. Tony cuts her off and goes, 1 second. First things first, Kelly, welcome back. Oh,
what a great guy.
He's a great murderer guy.
Oh!
What?
Who did he try and murder?
2 dimes pretty deadly.
The father
of
Smelly Melly the baby.
So the baby's not called Smelly Melly.
Smelly Melly, the baby of rancid Kelly Clancid, was murdered. Well, attempted. He got away because the lake was shallow enough.
Him and Kit Wilson, sorry. They escaped to SmackDown. Kelly asks them about Izzy Dame's betrayal. Tony refuses to say anything because his mum taught him if you've got nothing nice, what would he call an Italian American? His mama?
His mamacita.
No, that's Spanish.
His Marmaduke.
His
Ma.
my ma. Hey, ma. It's his ma.
Maya Yama.
His Maya Jama told him, if you haven't got anything nice to say about a woman, you shouldn't say anything at all, which implies that he's really unhappy with Izzy. And you would be. He understands Stax' concern about his condition to wrestle tonight, but Tony's here tonight. When he's not around, Stax calls the shots, but when he's here, he calls the shots, and he's going to have this match. There's only one family in NXT, and it's the D'Angelos.
Yeah, the back has made a big thing here. A chink in the armor of the impenetrable man, who I thought was going to remain impenetrable the way the match went, but ultimately it didn't happen.
No.
But there was a moment there where he kicked out, and I'm thinking, what are we doing here with this man? Who's not actually a man.
He can never be beaten, but he was. More tension, kind of, between Stax and Tony as well in this interview, where Tony's like, Stax.
They know their roles. It's the legal you want to watch out for.
Oh, Luca.
Oh, he doesn't seem to know his role. He tried to tell Stax to do something last week.
Right.
But Stax is the underboss when the real boss is not here.
That's true. That is true. We get one of those really fake press conferences.
Why did it happen during the show?
I don't know.
Why? It makes no sense.
I hate them.
They're
because
stupid.
They're clearly getting like PC people to play the journalists, and they're reading lines. And the first man who asks the question has the most wrestler voice. He's like, "What do you think?" Yeah. Oba says defending the title against Moose won't be easy, but he can't afford to lose the NXT title to a TNA wrestler. Disgusting. He's asked. I hated this question.
No, it's a really good question.
Wait for this, Joel.
Have you written it down verbatim? Because I was blown away by the wording.
This woman asks
This
Oba.
woman.
She goes, "Can you talk a bit about the size difference between you and Moose because you're both similar builds?" What are we doing? What are we doing?
What does that even mean?
The size difference between you,
But you're similar builds.
because you're really similar.
Yeah, so not much difference.
No.
It's a nonsense question.
It is.
And Oba has to take it seriously and go like, "That's a very good question."
It was
yeah."
written by Spike Milligan, it turns out.
it's like surreal and paradoxical. I hated it.
It's a thinker.
But he can't give an answer, Joel.
goes-
She's been given an impossible question.
He goes, yeah. He just kind of goes, yeah. We're similar sizes, but I've beaten opponents smaller than me, same size as me, and even on rare occasion, opponents bigger than me. And I thought, who?
But then he goes on to say, I hit first and I hit hard. And Moose will wish he never left the NFL on the question about the sizes.
Yes.
I hope they do away with them because they're so bad.
I hate them. I thought they were done with them, but no.
The only good one I can recall is when Andre Chase has one in the car park and the real Dave Meltzer's there with his teeny tiny little arms. Hey, Dave.
Was that the last question? That's the last one I've written down, the last bit of that.
Yeah, there was
press
only
conference.
two questions, I think.
The Hardys arrive and talk about how amazing it was to come to NXT and defeat a great team like the No Quarter Catch Crew. I'm not being sarcastic. I like the No Quarter Catch Crew tag team.
Who can't?
Yes, exactly.
Who can't like them?
They know that Fraxium have the same fire as them, but then Hank and Tank interrupt and get mercilessly booed. It was a badly written segment.
A really unfair position to put those audacious belly boys in. Even if Prime Chase U interfere the Hardy Boys, they're getting booed.
Only the Dudleys or Edge and Christian would get cheered because of the history. But Hank and Tank interrupt and everyone's just like, get boo. They just stop booing over them. And they've got to try and be like, no, we're just here to ask for advice. How can we get on your level? Matt says, we know who you two are and the respect is mutual. But to get better, sometimes things have to be taken to the extreme.
Which means to get out your comfort zone.
The lads think they're talking about weapons. They're like, tables, ladders, and chairs, yeah. And Jeff goes, no, it means getting beyond your comfort zone.
And
yeah.
your own perceived limits. I thought Jeff Hardy was a bit like the ultimate warrior in this segment.
He's a bit spiritual and in the universe and that, yeah.
Speaking about fire burning and ready to ignite.
This is my fight. Yeah. that's the lyrics to Adam Pachiti's theme tune in WCPW.
Boom!
Get up, get up.
Yeah.
Heart monitor on the Tron.
Surely we can play that on here.
No, I don't want to risk it. But just the way that the theme would be like set up as if like a huge wrestler's coming out. It's like, dum, dum.
I remember it, yeah.
Were you there?
Yeah, I was at some shows.
No, you weren't.
I was.
No, you weren't.
I was at a few. I was there for the Rumble that he was in with Ray and stuff. I high-fived Ray.
I was in as well.
High five Ray.
I got to the front and high-fived Ray.
Mysterio, Phoenix.
You weren't the person
Mysterio.
calling me a fat you-know-what.
Were you on the aisle?
Yeah. I was at a few shows.
When Pentagon came out in that Rumble, or Penta, he did a Zero Miedo with one lass who was buzzing to see him and I was like, that's a heartwarming moment.
That's lovely.
Yeah. Were you there? Do you see that? Do you remember that? Do you
I
remember Ross
will
throwing the
have
bin?
been.
Oh, he's left it off his description of the Rumble, so clearly
Yeah,
not.
do you remember Ross throwing the bin?
I put my body on the line to throw that bin, Joel.
Yeah. No, I can't remember that.
What a prick.
He was probably drunk. He was probably
You know what?
drinking.
Even if you win the Hall of Fame next week, I'm going to put that I won.
Oh
Which I've
my
never done, by the way.
Whoa.
Did I tell you that when I'm so sorry if she's watching this. When it was the World Cup final show, which was a long show, and halfway through, I think I went to like the KFC on Northumberland Street or something. Like I had a part of the show where I had nothing to do. On my way back to the venue, bumping into this lass who was leaving the show, and she was my dad's dentist's receptionist.
Right.
And she was like, she overheard my dad talking about what I was up to with the dentist. And she was like, oh my God, shut the job. And she was, she told me this. She was a lovely girl, but she just kept on slagging off the show. She was like, yeah, we just left. We weren't enjoying it that much. Anyway, the channel's lovely. And I was like, well, thank you on one hand, but...
I wouldn't take offense to it not being very good. You didn't write it.
I know, yeah. She was more complimentary about the stuff I had a more direct hand in than the show. Yeah, that's true. That is true. She was a lovely girl. I'm sorry for exposing her on this forum.
I did one show I went to, I got really drunk. And me and my mate went, and he went to the toilet, and when he came back, the match was over, and he was like, who won? And I was like, I have no idea.
I've got no
Just
clue,
out of
mate.
it, yeah.
Was this when you were at uni?
Yeah.
Oh, it was on your doorstep.
Yeah, exactly. I went to that
Wow,
uni. Yeah.
That's the dream.
What did you do?
Well, I did web design and then switched and did film and TV production.
Oh. Iranu.
Very nice.
Thank you.
I walked past those student buildings with Joel once at night. I think we'd had a drink, and we walked past and there was some students still up playing pool, and Joel went, "That's the dream, that."
Well, you used to go. You
Student
still
days.
do it now, don't you?
I love that story.
Spot White.
Go to Spot White.
Yeah, place of dreams.
Scary Spot White though.
Love it.
A friend of mine got taken hostage in there, but that's a story for a different
For
time.
those who don't know, Spot White is the only place open after the nightclub's shut. It's a pool hall which you can sometimes get in,
Drugs
and it's.
everywhere.
I've never seen them personally,
Me neither.
Never have I.
but it's where all the creatures of the night go when their shift's finished.
Not like an Undertaker way.
No, like
Just literal
bar staff,
feral.
strippers go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a carnival of darkness.
I wasn't including strippers in there. That's an honourable job.
I've met this girl now. Like, what do you do? She's like, I'm a stripper. I was like, oh, fair. I wasn't just.
Sounds like you're disparaging this young lady.
I was not at all. I really enjoyed the
I'm
film.
an idiot.
I enjoyed the film Anora.
I'm
a
an
lot.
idiot who took the drugs and all that malarkey.
Oh,
doing
well,
that.
yeah,
That was
yeah,
my
yeah.
description of the feral people.
Yeah, oh God. Oh no. I wasn't suggesting that. Right, the Hardys promo. Josh Briggs and Yoshiki Inamura interrupt, and they say the Hardys can give Hank and Tank all the advice under the sun, but it's just a waste of time. They'll never get a tag title shot against the Hardys because JB and Inamura are going to get one instead. Hank and Tank dive onto them. What do they say before they dive onto them?
It's time for them to get extreme because a brilliantly written promo. They're told to get extreme is to get out of their comfort zone. So they do so by doing some tope suicidas.
They say it like a war cry before they do it, but I wasn't sure what they said.
Hi-do!
Yeah, it was that.
And then they do a tope suicida in a tandem fashion. It was fantastic storytelling because when have you ever seen them do that before? I hope never because I can't remember them doing it.
They all brawl away up the ramp. Then we get a moment that I really... The crowd pop for it because they know the lore behind it. But if you had no idea what Matt Hardy's been up to since leaving WWE, you'd cringe so... He goes, Fraxium, I knew you'd come. And then they turn around and Fraxium are already there in the ring.
Yeah.
I cringed a bit.
Why?
I don't know.
I know you hate it.
No, I don't.
You hate the whole broken universe.
No.
There's documented footage.
I apologized for that because I met Matt Hardy in real life and I was scared. Matt senses Fraxium appearing behind the Hardys, and they agree that in 7 days they'll find out who the best tag team in the world is.
Yes.
We already know it's Fraxium at the minute.
Oh, yeah.
Currently it's Fraxium.
They should run rings around these Hardys.
Oh, they're going to lose.
I know I saw that tweet this week that did banger numbers saying, tell your girl that Jeff Hardy's still doing it. It's him doing the old Swanton Bomolition.
Yeah.
That must have been last week because that was last week's show. Anyway, that's irrelevant. 1998, they first started in the WWE, those Hardy boys. Can you believe it? It's 2025
They
now.
were very young when they started, but that's still a long time ago.
Very long time ago. But yeah, Jeff Hardy being the Ultimate Warrior is my takeaway from this segment, as is the harsh booking of Hank and Tank.
Oh, God.
Given an impossible job to do.
Yes.
Get cheered in that moment.
They managed to get it back at the end a little bit. We get a high package for Julia versus Stephanie Vakir before the next match, which is between Jordan Grace and Cora Jade. Masha Slamovich is watching in the crowd. This is a weird one. The match has ended early due to a legitimate injury concern involving Cora, but she has since tweeted that she's fine. Because there was
It's not a
speculation
leg,
that it was
yeah.
her knee. But
It was a head.
It was that when she gets pushed into the corner. And then,
again, this was during a commercial break if you watch it legally on Netflix. So nobody saw the incident happen. Jack didn't see it either because he's in the United Kingdom.
I did because Tom Campbell talked about it with me on the news, so I must have got it from him.
Oh, that's fair.
Tom.
Tom likes illegal things, don't we?
She gets. I think I saw a gif of it on Twitter actually. She
fair.
gets pushed into the corner, and then to be fair to her, she looks done. She's like, "Oh my god!" And then you see her go like, I don't know what she says, but
Was it like a bit of whiplash?
I don't know what it was, but I'm glad we're in a world now where this is not frowned upon, and it's fair play that she thought she was worried about her health. End the match.
And you would assume that Jordan Grace would win the match anyway. So why do another move if she's already buggered?
Absolutely.
Yes.
We get a split-screen satellite interview with Ethan Page and Javon Evans. Ethan talks about the start of their feud, and he hates that Javon is young and inexperienced, but still came out to try and give him advice when he was at his lowest point. Ethan admits he is jealous of Javon and would happily break his jaw again in a heartbeat. Javon interrupts and says Page took his smile, but next week Ethan won't be able to run. Nothing's going to hold Javon down anymore. And then they keep bickering as the interview ends.
Yeah, I agree with Ethan Page. Going like
riveted by this film.
I just didn't sleep very well.
Oh, these two.
But I agree with Ethan Page. Who's Javon Evans to give him advice on being a husband and a father?
No, that's true, but he didn't need to assault him like that.
Yeah, but I do hope that Ethan Page wins next week, just because it is a New York City street fight, which would mean if he did win in underhanded fashion, Ethan Page would be the most devious bastard in New York City.
New York City.
Get Matt Berry in. Raise his hand.
I was racking my brain. I panicked there. It's like, does he mean Taz?
You're the one who introduced me to that clip. I didn't see that before.
Was I?
Yeah, mentioned on the podcast.
It's a good clip.
Yes.
I've never actually watched that program though.
Me neither.
No.
Just seen the clips of him.
Pretty good.
I've watched a bit of Toast of London. Yes, I can hear you, Clem Fandango. I just like the random one where he's like, "This is Clem H Fandango. Can you hear me?" Like, H.
What's it called? The show that the devious bastard.
What we do in the shadows. The film's great.
Oh, there's a film.
Yeah, it's based on the film.
Right.
The film's by like Jermaine Clement and Taika Waititi.
Oh,
and stuff.
from Flight of the Conchords.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's really good.
I'm sure it's silly in points.
It is quite silly.
Split screen interview just to build up the match next week. I think Javon will win because
He probably will.
Ethan
Yeah.
won at the pay-per-view.
But Matt Berry should be there.
Yes,
Raise
100%.
Ethan Page's hand.
Trick Williams faces Cale Dixon.
It's nice to go through a podcast with no Ethan Page slander.
Very nice. I respect him as a talent and as a man.
I'm looking forward to the AEW segment this week.
I didn't really like bits of AEW this week. So
Me neither, but it's all right to say. But Matthew doesn't like any of it.
And then we all get the blame.
I know. It doesn't affect me one bit.
One bait.
I found this week my mouth isn't working even more so with my brain than it normally does. On that pictures video, I watched a couple of bits back. Why are words coming out the way they do?
I didn't notice that when we were recording it.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Aye.
Oh, dear.
Hey.
Oh, I saw you didn't actually make the thumbnail my wonderful last pitch either.
No, maybe I should have done.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe I changed the thumbnail.
Maybe.
My
Milk a few more views.
I bloody need them, that's for sure.
Wait.
Wow.
Why, wanking off a cow?
Clip that.
What are we up to now? Trick Williams, he hits Cale Dixon, doesn't he, with an immediate trick shot and just doesn't even pin him. He just gets on top and batters him until the referee ends it via stoppage.
But it's like you got to think back to WrestleMania 28 and what happened in the aftermath of WrestleMania 28. For those who don't know, Brian Danielson, he was felled in 13 seconds by Shamu, Sheamus. And then after that, the crowd were like, "Way, he deserves better than this." And they went and tried, obviously ruined the WrestleMania main event of that. Well, made it better, obviously, by giving something the fans actually wanted. Not Batista and Randy Orton. That's 2 years later. The entire Yes Movement happened before then. I know wrestling.
I can never... Well, I also get confused whether it happened at 27 or 28, because I think 27 he was on the pre-show and everyone kicked off. And then 28 he lost in seconds. Yeah.
27 was, I believe, the United States title. And then 28 was the World Heavyweight.
Oh, in my mind it was 19 seconds, but I don't know why.
13?
How long did it take Sheamus to beat Daniel Bryan?
Please be 13.
I had 13 in
I've
my
got
head.
13 in my brain. I've
Let me
not
have
got
a
no
look.
notes of that.
I'm going to say 19.
But yes, what I'm trying to say is the Cale movement will happen
okay.
after this match because he had fancy music. He did a big like whee on the apron, which was so impressive, and his trousers were so glittery. And as we all know from Joe Hendry back in the day, if you got something sparkly, it makes you fantastic.
I'm just still not really on board with them as replacements for the you I knew and loved.
Me neither.
No.
It's clear that Mr. Chase has a couple of bums on his hands with Kale losing in the fashion that he
Chase
did.
loses all the time as well now, man.
Sometimes.
How long, Joel?
All the time.
What did you both say?
I said 19
13.
seconds.
Well, it was 18.
Oh!
This close. Oh, I can't believe it.
Isn't that weird, isn't it, though? God, I sound like Gabe Kidd that again. Isn't that weird, though, isn't it, though?
Why?
Just that 13's burned in my brain, is that it was.
Strange, yeah.
The bloody Nelson Mandela.
Probably more of a famous number than 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Famous numbers.
Why is Nelson Mandela to blame for all that?
Because people thought he died, and then when he actually died, a lot of people went, I thought he was already dead, and that's the Mandela effect.
Yeah. What he's a selfish guy.
Trick calls out Eddie Thorpe, who appears on the balcony bit, and says the Trick is clearly struggling with not being the man around here anymore, which is true. Eddie says that it should have been him anyway. He's beaten Trick once, and he'll have to do it again just to prove his greatness to everyone. And he wants to do it in NXT Underground match. Trick agrees.
I just don't believe a word Eddie Thorpe says. Just the cadence of his voice. He has no bass in his voice. You think you should be the man? That should be me, damn it. No!
Everything he's saying is true.
Bit of passion behind your voice, Edward. Edward Woodward.
Do you think the match will be good? The NXT Underground match between the two?
It'll be an Eddie Thorpe match. I don't have much faith.
Oh, he's good at wrestling. He's just not.
He's all right. He doesn't
Yeah.
get you out your seat, does he?
But Trick does. So maybe the wrestling fundamentals of Eddie and the superstar quality of Trick will.
Mashed together for a great contest.
Maybe. It didn't work really at Vengeance Day.
That
but-
was the strap, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a stipulation.
They always hamper the straps always hamper the action.
Moose gets his press conference now. He puts over Oba and says he'll be a major player in WWE for many years, but not right now. Moose plans
Have you got the Roxanne bit after this or before?
after.
That's right.
My goodness.
What's that? Why is there a trap door on my
It
microphone?
nearly broke the laptop.
It's a company one.
Moose plans to leave with both tight. Wait, what Roxanne bit? I've got a
Roxanne
bit.
felled Jordan Grace backstage with a chair.
I've got that later. Yeah.
That's all right then.
Yeah.
That's just your dodgy version was out
Oh
of sync.
no, I don't. No, I don't. It's before I missed it. Sorry.
That's all right. Oh,
We-
you've done a Matthew
I've
for
done
your
a
own
Matthew,
notes.
I have. We see the aftermath of a backstage attack from Roxanne Perez on Jordan Grace. Roxanne says this is her NXT, and then shortly after, we learn that the Undertaker will be the NXT.
Yes, he'd be at Roadblock after he lied to a young whippersnapper saying he had a move for 30 years. But does this mean now that Roxanne maybe wants to go back with Cora?
Yeah.
Be friends again with Cora?
I wasn't certain if this was something they'd cobbled together after Cora got injured, and were like, oh, we need something to happen.
Potentially.
But I feel like the Cora Jordan match was setting up Jordan Roxanne anyway.
Probably. Even though they're not together anymore. I keep saying together.
Because
They're not friends anymore.
Jordan was demanding a match with Roxanne earlier in Ava's office.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, so
I
maybe-
see you know your NXT well.
Of course. Now Moose gets his press conference, puts over Oba and says he'll be a major player in WWE for many years, but Moose plans to leave with 2 titles and be the face. He says of this franchise. I assume he means NXT.
I think it's the relationship.
Oh,
Because
right.
he says at the start there is no match in this relationship bigger than Oba versus Moose.
He does say that. I don't know if it's true.
Literally, it is the biggest match.
Yeah, bigger, yeah.
But in terms of people caring, surely there's bigger matches.
Yeah, yeah.
Who would be the biggest? It would be Andre Chase versus Jeff Hardy.
Joe
probably.
Hendry. Oh, right, Jeff Hardy. Moose leaves, and now Ava takes the podium. She books Roxanne Perez versus Jordan Grace for Roadblock. Was set up by the attack earlier on. Fatal Influence interrupting the crowd to ask a question. Why hasn't Fallon Henley had her title rematch yet? Ava says they can talk about this later, but Fallon demands an answer, and Ava just walks off.
So flippant again. I want to go and watch the main event. It's your job.
She hasn't been given a rematch. She's right. She is correct.
We need to establish, because on the main roster, I think they did away with the automatic rematch thing. Or did they bring it back?
Oh, yeah.
Someone had an angle fairly recently where rematches were either brought back or taken away, and I can't remember.
The Street Profits just complained recently about never getting there. Oh, was that a rematch, though? Just a title shot?
That was, yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
I can't remember.
We need it established either way. Because it's Ava's tone.
And just if you're right, Ava, and you're confident in your own GMing, just answer it there.
Yeah. You've not had the rematch because of X.
Yeah.
And Y. And maybe Z as well. But I want to go and watch the main event. That's not how a general manager should react.
Ricky Saints, who didn't really have much to do on this show, actually, considering he's the hot new thing. But he cheerily introduces himself to Ridge Holland backstage. Hey, Ridge, you all right, mate?
I know who you are, pal.
Ridge says that Ricky doesn't fool him. He sees right through him. Saints tells Ridge to get used to him. Get used to seeing me around, and walks off.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the end of the segment.
It's not, but there's an interesting part at the start here because Ridge tells Saints, your performance didn't move me last week. Which I thought, upon hearing that, Ridge has had told to him endless times. Because there are few performances of Ridge that have made me moved in any sort of way.
The one where he beat Andre Chase and killed the U moved
That's
me.
one.
The big one where he beat Andre in the ambulance match moved me too.
Big E bit, obviously, for the wrong reasons, though.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a weird turn of phrase for him, of all people, to use.
I think you might be right. Saints walks off and bumps into Sean Spears' stable. Spears says that the Revolution will be televised.
Why has he said that now?
Because that's Saints' catchphrase.
All right.
And also Gil Scott-Heron's catchphrase from back in the day.
Who?
The guy who wrote the song, The Revolution Will Be Televised.
Oh. How's that go?
It's spoken word. I don't want to do it.
Go on.
Nope.
Poet laureate.
I'm really not. I don't think I could I'm not the right sort of person to give voice to the civil rights movement. I don't think I can.
But a Yorkshireman is. So, Joel, if you wouldn't mind getting the
No.
getting the old verses up and giving us a little rendition, that'd be...
It's like a poem with drums over the top, which is kind of what rap music is now.
Yeah. And the Revolution will be televised this weekend. 9 pictures on the channel now.
Thank you, Joel, for that. That's very good. Yep. Minimising the black struggle, but that's okay. No, I'm joking. But then Spears stole that and now says the Revolution... Wait, the Gil Scott-Heron ones, the Revolution will not be televised. Ricky's saying the Revolution will be televised because he's a star.
Yes.
Spears, but Spears steals the catchphrase from Saints and says the Revolution will be televised when he wins the North American title right now.
Yep.
And that's pretty much it. He did a bit of a switchblade, stealing someone's catchphrase and for his own gain.
Yeah. I mean, it's not officially his catchphrase anymore, is it? Now he's in NXT. It's something different.
Oh, right. Fair
Welcome
enough,
to the Revolution, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
But I'd never in 1 second thought that Sean Spears had any chance of beating the impenetrable man, Tony D'Angelo.
That match is next with all of their allies at ringside. Tony seems to have the match won when Izzy Dame just breaks up a pinfall. She's trying to get his foot on the ropes, but the lads have landed. It's not her fault. They've landed too far away. So she just illegally interferes in the match and the ref has to pretend. I didn't see how, yeah.
These malfunctions happen from time to time. NXT is not immune for these happenings. I've hit a wall here. Goodness me. Wake up, Ross.
Adriana Rizzo jumps on her and kickstarts a brawl between the two sides at ringside. Meanwhile, Spears in the ring. Stacks has got in the ring for some reason. What's he doing?
He's the underboss. He's helping the overboss.
Spears shoves Stacks into Tony, which knocks the champion off the apron onto a chair on the floor below, which further injures his already injured back.
But then what happens next?
Back in the... Wait, what? Which
Please,
bit,
Daddy,
which bit,
tell me
which
what
bit are
happens
you
next.
talking about?
Because after he takes
The finish?
Yeah, he takes the chair shot to the back. He bloody kicks out the next one.
Yeah, he does,
Spears has to do it again.
Back in the ring, the match continues. I skipped it. I think I was just annoyed by that. Tony's back gives out on his own finisher attempt. On the spine buster, and Spears wins by just falling on him as his back gives out for the win, as if Spears is like Andre the Giant or something.
Yeah. This is impossible, but there is a chance that Tony D is the cope of NXT.
I don't think it's through political clout. I think they just really believe in him.
Yeah, I do as well. It's weird though.
Spears is now the North American champion, though.
Which I think is a vehicle to get the belt on Ricky Saints. I think having someone like Spears go up against Ricky Saints as a tentpole event like Stand and Deliver is, I think it's more like it gets more natural crowd reactions for the babyface up against a heel like Sean Spears.
Which is weird because I thought you were right that Saints will be the one who eventually beat Obafemi. That could still be true.
Could still be true.
But the North American title reign in between makes it feel like it's going to take a bit longer.
Double champion. He'll
Ricky,
win the
2
women's
belts.
championship as well. It'd be
Okay.
fantastic. But the match I thought was quite good. Like Spears was in control for a while, like the vet that he is. Then Tony hung on. Spears, the Canadian, doing a sharp shooter to a man with a poorly back. Is he sick in the head or something I've written down? Tony throwing random bombs like the forget about it. But Dame is there to save Spears, as you mentioned there, by putting his foot on the rope, kind of.
Sort of.
But maybe not.
Yeah.
Tony and his bad back taking a bump off the apron to the floor on the chair. Then he kicks out with the C4 after taking that bump and after the sharpshooter and after his back was already hurt. He is the best wrestler in the world ever. And then his back breaks out on the, busts up on the old spine buster attempt.
When he's about to win the match, that's when it gives, and he just falls backwards.
Yeah.
And that's the pinfall.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shawn Michaels must be a massive fan of The Sopranos. Or
He kicked out of a crowbar to the back of the head.
From Oba? Was it Oba?
Back under the cage match was from one of Spears'
Oh, that's all Spears.
It might have been from Izzy.
He beat Oba twice, of course.
He beat Oba one time just through being braver than him. That's not how it works.
No.
Yeah, I think Shawn might just be a big fan. It wasn't the worst. It wasn't the wackiest week of NXT, you know.
It's a topsy-turvy one. The good was good, but the bad was bad.
Yes. AEW Dynamite, pal.
AEW Dynamite.
We've been nasty to Matthew in this podcast. I just feel a bit
No, we
bad.
haven't.
No, we haven't really. But
I imagine he does the same when one of us is not here.
probably, yeah, of course, yeah. It's just a natural thing when someone's not here, isn't it? You slag them off.
It's not malicious.
No. MJF. Oh god, that pause made it sound like it is malicious. Yeah. MJF is out on the streets of Sacramento. What he did to Christopher Daniels last week was light work. He wants to prove a point to Hangman Page's little Mark fan club. So if he wants a fight, he can come and find him now.
Love the delivery of all of this. It was like Flair in WCW.
Oh, wow.
You want to do that?
Oh, yeah, he got more angry, didn't he, than usual?
Yeah, you want to shoot your shoots there, cowboy? Well, there's a bullet with your name on. I just like how he's got back on form. It's not always about the low-hanging fruit about his opponent. You're an alcoholic. Who gives a bollocks? They've overcome that. It's fine.
Yes.
Now he's got directed sort of like, it's all focused now on certain things. And what he does later on is even better than the opening bit for me.
Yes, I agree with that. And that's like the cold open of the show. That's like the start of the show. Tony Schiavone is in the ring and hosts the contract signing between Swerve Strickland and Ricochet. Ricochet is not wearing the stolen robe from Prince Nana.
But why is that?
It's getting some upgrades.
How dare he?
I know what that upgrade's going to be.
What?
I don't know, actually, but I was going to say it'll be a picture of him and Nana being pals.
I hope it's just like 10,000 pairs of Dharmas just stapled to it.
God's sake.
Because that's what made Trevor the great man that he is today, is the Dharmas.
The sunglasses. Yeah,
More
the Dharmas.
glasses discussion later on in the podcast.
Can't wait. Ricochet mocks Swerve, who keeps trying to ignore him and just goes, sign the contract. But Ricochet keeps cutting this heel promo.
I am a superstar. A superstar needs some time to shine before he signs.
He says Swerve's lucky to even be getting a rematch because he already beat him. And it was Swerve, this bit's kind of true, Swerve who started all this by mocking and bullying Trevor.
Toilet paper.
You're bald, he said. Now Ricochet is a step closer to becoming the world champion he was always supposed to be. He signs the contract and still keeps talking trash, and Swerve has had enough. And I thought this was a bit of a poor performance from Swerve. Not up to his usual high standard.
I think that was the low-hanging fruit as well.
It wasn't the content of it for me, it was he kept stumbling over as well.
Because he's so angry.
Okay, I guess you could say that. He's going to expose Ricochet for the coward he is. Ricochet's awoken the most dangerous man in AEW, and he'll only ever be remembered. I see what you mean now. He'll only ever be remembered for two things: that Swerve briefly reawakened his career, and for his ring announcer wife,
who I would have debut this weekend to help Trevor win if I had the pencil.
Yes,
and have her be Trevor's manager because I think she wants to do that. She said that in the press, hasn't she? So let's test it out.
God, the weird tribal fans would be so weird if she appeared on AEW.
But we're not one of them, so we'll be fine.
It's fine.
We'll just appreciate her if she's good, and we'll crap on her if she's bad.
And she is very good. She's very good.
Yeah. And then, there's a bit more at the end. But before that, I thought Trevor was fantastic with him just being the superstar.
Yeah,
It's time to shine.
He's really pretty good now.
Yeah, it's the Dharmas, I'm telling you. It has an effect on people when you put them on. When I go for my eye test in April, I'll be getting some Dharmas. You watch me fly. What?
Just looked at Joel and he's just going, yes. Like, you can't wait for that.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah. Do you want to get some Dharmas with me, Joel? When's your next eye test?
We can be the Dharma brothers.
I've just had one of these new glasses.
Oh, you coward.
Can't get another now.
You could have got some Dharmas.
Could have done.
But to your point, I just think Swerve was selling how mad he was by not being as fluent as he normally is.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, because he kept going like, "Oh, just shut up, man, will you?
Yeah.
Shut up. I'll smash your face in. Shut up." But yeah, I can't wait to see what the embassy robe looks like because I think that's rubber stamped that Nana won't turn. Surely.
I don't even know who's good. No, because what if the custom stuff is Ricochet and Nana forever and ever? Hart?
He won't like that.
No, he's in cahoots.
Oh no! Oh, he opens it up. Oh no! I've gone for Swerve in the predictions.
You might.
Bollocks!
No, he might.
That's going to be the reveal. Or maybe him and Samantha. Maybe Samantha's inside the coat.
I think Swerve's quite a good pick, though, because Ricochet won the first match.
Yeah, that's why I went for. But I don't think to do the ruining of the jacket and the Nana turn. That feels a bit too heavy.
But Swerve got the last. Well, I'll mention what happened now. He got the last shot in though, which sometimes doesn't bode well.
But then they wrestled later on, so there's that.
Oh God, they did. Of course they did. It's going to be Swerve. You've won the predict. Don't worry, you've won.
God
You've won.
for that. I think Sam also went for Swerve. I can't remember. We only shot like 2 hours ago.
Ricochet tries
4
to.
hours ago. It's 4 o'clock.
Swerve goes to leave. Ricochet tries to stab him with a pair of scissors as he leaves, but Swerve blocks him, and he's got his own scissors, and he goes. Ugh.
I thought he got him in the eye. I thought the match was called off there and then.
Swerve, Ricochet is busted open, and that's the end of the segment.
Yeah, I thought it was for a contract signing, which are never the most thrilling things because you can tell what's going to happen anyway because they all end the same way just about. I thought it was all right one for a contract signing.
I liked it and wished that the match hadn't happened. I thought that was enough of build. And I didn't think it needed what happened later on.
Yeah, I thought there was a bit in it. Well, we'll get to the main event later on, but I thought there was a bit too much wrestling between the lads who were wrestling at the weekend anyway.
Yeah, keep that for the pay-per-view. Yeah, fair enough. The team of Ospreay, Hobbs, Orange Cassidy, and Mark Briscoe beat the team of Brian Cage, Mark Davis, Lance Archer, and Brian Keith in an 8-man tag, with Ospreay getting the fall on Brian Keith.
Shame to see Brian Keith cosplaying as Lionheart Chris Jericho for the match with his yellow pants and his little jacket. He was loaned out to the Don Callis family for this, but there was an interesting bit where he wasn't tagged in. Like, they didn't trust him.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
and Don was like, it's fine. My lads need a little bit of a training in there because he's Irish now, apparently. Mark Davis with a big powerbomb on Powerhouse Hobbs was a lovely maneuver. Got close to move of the week, but it's not as good as Io Sky's reversal. Joel Fletcher. Nice moment with Mark in the chair, with Archer bringing the chair into the ring, clearing the way when Mark did the move over the top rope off the chair, clearing the way for Ospreay to win with the cutter and the hidden blade on Keith. Then I didn't know what was going to happen after the bell.
Well, I'll tell you. Right now, the other baby faces are beaten down on the outside. I think Hobbs gets slammed into the steps.
Yeah.
Like on the side of them. Ooh.
The unforgiving steel steps.
All the other baby faces are taken on the outside while Davis chokes out Ospreay in the ring. Carl Fletcher arrives and beats Ospreay down some more, and he's like slapping him in the face.
He's been cutting that fella.
Oh, he's looking great.
He's looking real lean.
He is.
Like Ludwig Kaiser, but Australian.
Yes. Ludwig Kaiser. No, I don't know. Davis seems conflicted by this, even though he just choked him out. You need to get your life together, mate.
He's a prisoner.
He is, yeah.
Both in terms of body and soul.
In his own mind and in the family, yeah.
Yeah.
He tries to stop the attack, but Fletcher and Callis berate him. They make him get a chair and then send him up the ramp. Get away. Kyle hits Ospreay with a brainbuster onto the open chair as Davis watches on from the ramp, conflicted.
There was a high chance that Mark Davis somehow gets involved in the steel cage match designed to keep the family out.
Yeah, no one can get involved in the cage match.
Will win, won't he?
I think Will win after this. I wasn't sure until this show. I enjoyed the wrestling, but if the results pan out the way they now seem very clearly to at the pay-per-view, then I'll be a bit disappointed.
Oh.
I just think it made things too clear.
Yeah, a little bit. I do expect Mark Davis to get involved after that final bit in the segment there. But the match itself, I thought, was a nice house show vibe to it. Just all the lads getting plenty of time to do all their nice, big, fancy moves. Brian Cage, fantastic again. Everything he did to Orange Cassidy in particular, it made me warm and fuzzy.
Yeah.
Inside of my tum-tum.
Yeah. That was really good.
Yes.
We get a video package on Kenny Omega versus Konosuke Takeshita. They used to respect each other when Takeshita was just a rookie during Kenny's time in DDT. But now Takeshita is bigger, stronger, and faster than Omega.
You can say that again.
Kenny says he's going to take the title at Revolution. Fair enough.
The footage that he used of DDT back in 2012,
He was just a little boy.
He was literally a little tiny boy. A teeny tiny little boy. And now he's a big
Like Dave
strapping
Meltzer.
man. Yeah. Like that little... I know he said that little freak Dave Meltzer. That little freak Dave Meltzer. But it was 2012. The current score is...
Don't say that too much. You'll start getting wrestlers like being your friend and stuff. Yeah, get him.
It's 2-1 to Takeshita in the singles matches.
Oh, this has to be Kenneth.
Yeah.
To set up Kenneth versus Kazuchika.
That's what I went for. Phew. But yeah, he's such a... It's amazing how the human body can grow. Hang on, how old is Takeshita?
I'm going to guess that Takeshita is 28 years old.
9. So in 2012, he was 17-ish.
Right.
God, he was a teeny tiny 17-year-old.
Tall still.
I don't know, he was sort of like below Kenny's head, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah, I guess so, yeah.
And now he's massive.
Yeah, what's happened? Is he the same man? Is this an Avril Lavigne situation?
What, do you reckon he died?
And then they replaced him with another Takeshita. Yeah.
Potentially. I think that's what's happened with John Cena.
Yeah.
John Cena was felled in Hungary, then replaced by Jimmy Cena,
Jimmy.
his evil brother, with a different face.
You think you know him?
Is it Christian?
It's not. It's everyone's favourite, Cope. He wrestles Wheeler Yuta and wins a singles match against him. After the bell, though... Oh, Joel, are you ready for this? Because
Yes.
Cope's been like concertoing all the Death Riders and they're all out of action. But he shakes hands with Wheeler and tells him that's what respect really feels like.
What?
That's because, Joel, the great Yuta has been abused by his father figure. Shown no respect by John Moxley. So the fact that Cope's made him feel, once again, warm and fuzzy inside of his tum-tum.
Wow.
It's sort of, I think he's definitively left the Death Riders now. Excuse me, I'm getting emotional.
He's
talking about
beating
this.
him.
That's powerful.
He's beating him with love.
Oh.
But he's taking him out. He's taking all the others out with violence and head trauma. But he's taking Wheeler out with care.
Oh my god.
Cool.
I hate the name Cope.
Yep.
It's awful.
It's really bad.
I still can't get used to it.
boss.
Every time you read it out, I'm like,
Cope is awful.
Cope, he's Cope.
Cope.
He's Cope.
Even Moxley refused to call him it in the promo he cut on him once. He was like, Adam Copeland. Cope leaves, and Moxley comes out to remonstrate with Yuta. He pushes him around a bit, and then Wheeler kind of shoves his face, lightly I'd say, but shoves him aside and walks out. Moxley follows him to the back, like a couple who've had an argument on a night out.
Yeah.
He's going, yeah, man, what are you doing, man?
That's only happened once with me and Kayla, and it was at the bloody Cultaholic Christmas party, 2023, in the bloody smoking area, having a little chit-chat.
Oh, God.
People stand there looking over. I was like, oh, why is it happening here?
That wasn't the really icy one, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, God, ice. You fell.
I was bad.
What a night that was.
Yeah.
Was that the bad one? Yeah, I think it was.
When you were sick pink.
Pink?
I thought you were sick pink. I thought you were sick
Was
and
it
the
pink?
sick came out pink. Because Ross was
can't
getting...
remember.
No, that was the year before. That's when you were getting all the shots in.
Tequila
All
Oh,
Rose.
Baby Guinnesses.
Baby
yeah.
Guinnesses and the pink ones as well.
Tequila
Slippery
Rose,
nipples?
Tequila Rose.
Tequila Rose. That's when you were sick pink.
Yeah,
That was the
maybe,
year
yeah.
before. Aye.
Oh
You
my
can't
God.
keep up with the big boys.
I was fine this year
One
'cause
year
you
when
weren't
Ross
there.
threw a chicken wing at me from across the room.
What a shot it was, by the way.
I had no idea. I got told later that it was Ross. I was like, where did that come from?
Oh, that's good.
It
That's
was,
funny.
it was bloody raucous.
Do
it
you
was.
work for Cultaholic then, Joel?
I don't- when?
we went to the the smaller...
The social club?
Yeah, that was a great one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I really
right.
liked it.
That's when you were sick pink, I want to say.
Oh no, I won't say
Or was
that.
that the... Oh, right, fair enough.
I don't. No, I won't say that. I slipped on the ice.
Oh, no, we've done 2 years in that venue, haven't we, the other one?
Yeah. I'm on
right.
about the other venue before
Aye,
that.
right.
Yeah.
When Mike from Coop's girlfriend didn't like me because I was a bit too... like, oh, do you want a drink?
She was just like, no.
Yeah, I was like, nah.
No, I remember this. Ross was like, shots, everyone's doing
Yeah,
shots. And
yeah.
she was like, no, I'm not. That would have been the chicken wing year because Mike from Coop was there and he would have brought the chicken wing.
Yeah.
chicken.
Yeah.
Oh, what a guy.
Tasty.
Oh, delicious. Why did I say that so weird?
Oh my God, yeah. So delicious now.
Oh, MG.
But the match between Cope
Let's
and
talk about the
Yuta,
match before the promo. Yeah, okay.
I thought, you know what, I could not be lower on Cope in terms of how he's been used and how he is the guy who it looks like is going to be the guy to beat Cope and come out with this, beat Moxley and come out the storyline with the title, which should not be happening. It should be the opposite in terms of the age range. I think he gave the Yuta a lot in this match, so he didn't look like a mug, and that was fine. But it was that old thing of Yuta gets... But he got close, but not close enough. But I don't mind that when it's Yuta, because maybe I don't want to see Yuta beat Cope. I don't think Yuta's at that level just yet.
Right.
I think there's more people in the past who are better examples of someone who should maybe beat Cope, but Cope was just too good for them.
I think that because Cope, remember, joined the Death Riders after a match like this against Moxley, but like a really bloody one and a really intense one. And I think that was better, but this was still good. It's just Cope being the ultimate good guy who's clever and smart and has taken everyone out. But there's a kernel of hope here in this episode.
Is it New Zealandish?
We'll get it later on.
Because
But,
my God, I'm pinning all my hopes on that.
and it was, I think, something that should not have been included at all in the show because you just let it surprise us. But they had him say, we'll get to it. Moxley follows Wheeler to the back and they're arguing and Wheeler walks off and Moxley goes, I keep walking then, go on. And it does look like that they're done.
Because he says, like, if I see you again, I'll...
He cuts, yeah, he does. He's out, I see you again. He cuts a promo on Cope, congratulating him. Oh, well done. You've left me all alone at Revolution. But Cope still doesn't stand a chance against Mox, who's going to enjoy every second of beating his ass. Moxley says there's no respect in this business and never has been, but he seems to be the only person who ever remembers that. Maybe Cope has pulled the trigger 3 times in this build by taking out all his allies, but at the show, Moxley will only have to pull it once.
Yeah. So he's got one finishing move, and Cope's got one finishing move he has to do lots of times.
Oh,
That's what I learned from
I thought he just meant
He's going to shoot him.
no.
Oh.
I thought he meant you've expended all this effort taking out you've had 3 shots already.
Oh, right.
I'm only going to need 1 at the
I
thing.
see what you mean.
But it could be what you meant as well.
There's so much gun talk this week,
Pow.
but no gun brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Shocking scenes. Again, Moxley's, I said this on the pitches, his turn of phrase. He's had so many little turns of phrase in there. He's a very well-read man, you can tell.
Oh, yeah.
Going to the library and snorting his lines. That was something he did when he was younger. He doesn't do it now, just to clarify.
But, he's a really good... the language he uses in his promos is so distinct compared to everyone else's.
Yes.
Calls himself a sheep in this one. Oh, you've left me all alone like a sheep. Well,
Like sheep.
like sheep. Very nice. We see a music video for the Outrunners' 1987 smash hit, You Are Not Alone. Different from the Michael Jackson one.
Banger.
It's a training montage for their match against the Hurt Syndicate. I think it should have been a bit more over the top.
Oh, no, this was based in realism. I thought it hit
It's
the
got
nail.
987 in the bottom
It
corner.
hit the nail on the head perfectly. The freeze frame at the end on the handshake, spot on. No complaints.
They
They're
are
not gonna win.
They are going to get so destroyed. It's
Yeah,
going to
they
be
are.
sad. Renee interviews MJF outside as he's still waiting for Hangman Page. MJF doesn't think Hangman's going to show up, calls him a coward, but Page pulls up in his truck and Renee has to get out of there.
Pulls up, I think, if Renee didn't realise they were there, I think her and MJF would have been flattened by that electronic pickup truck.
MJF also gets out the way. Page gets out and chases Max towards the building. We resume the chase where Max is found backstage by Page, who beats him into the arena. But hold on a second. That's not MJF. It's a paid lookalike, like what Saddam would do.
Or Kurt Angle
Oh, that's better.
with his brother Eric that we mentioned a little time ago.
Mm-hmm.
What did Saddam do?
He used to have lookalikes and that apparently to avoid assassination attempts.
Let's have a Joel. Can you Google Saddam?
It's a real
Hussein
thing, it's a real
lookalikes?
thing.
I just want to see if there were actually lookalikes.
No. What are we talking about?
It's an interesting part you've brought up there. But I thought it was very good of good heelishness from MJF.
Autocorrect there and everything. It was ready for it. Oh, yeah.
Whoa. Hang on.
That's not the program.
That's just fancy dress.
Yeah, that's fancy dress.
Hold
Not
on.
that one.
This is everything I hoped it would
Not
be.
that one at all.
SNL sketch.
I think you've made this up.
I haven't. That's not real.
That's not them either.
That's fancy dress as well.
This is like the comparison of people going to Pitbull. It's a boat full of Saddams.
That's like a school of fish or a murder of crows. A boat full of... They're just blokes with mustaches.
It's like a Saddam.
One in the middle's so much younger.
No, this is like Winnie the Pooh. This, but with the Saddam Hussein edition. It's all the different emotions of Saddam in different vessels of human being. You've got normal Saddam there. That's Winnie the Pooh. Mm-hmm. He's hungry for whatever he's driving towards there in his speedboat.
Here's Eo.
You've got
on the far right.
No, front him there. That's Eo.
Oh, right.
Look at the anxiety in his face there. He's hanging up for your life.
Panicked, doesn't he?
Then you've got who's that sassy looking fella at the back?
He's Tigger.
Is he Tigger?
Yeah, he's
playful
got a bit.
Tigger.
Yeah.
And then no, maybe he's
Piglet,
Tigger. He looks a bit more playful at the back, doesn't he?
Piglet being
Piglet.
trying to be cute. Piglet again.
I guess yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
you've nailed it.
It's like Winnie the Pooh, but with Saddam we do it.
Who's Christopher Robin? The world. I don't understand. Anyway. Oh, let's get off this
That was a
now.
nice detour.
Oh, God.
So yeah, it's like Kurt and Eric Angle. Good heelishness from MJF here.
Yep, the guy shouts, I was paid. And this distracts Hangman. MJF attacks him from behind. They fight into the ring, and MJF takes control with a low blow and a heat seeker and reveals a t-shirt underneath his jacket that reads, MJF did nothing wrong. MJF fends off a couple of security guards, which allows Page to fight back briefly, but MJF hits him with the Dynamite Diamond Ring. He gets on the mic and says, the crowd seem to love it when Hangman burns things. What about when I do it? He covers Page in lighter fluid and gets ready to set him alight. But before he can do so, a team of officials and referees charge into the ring, take him down, and drag him away while he screams, you're all hypocrites, you're all cowards.
Bang on. Fantastic scenes from MJF once again, because we are hypocrites. If Hangman set a man on fire,
Oh, we'd love it.
We'd be like, well, hey, go on.
Yeah.
But when MJF tries it, hey, burn, baby, burn. But MJF tries to do it, we would boo the guy endlessly.
Yes.
So big fan of this segment here. More deranged MJF, I think, is what's going to see him over the line. I think the tease of the horrible thing he's going to do here will set up him actually doing the horrible thing or something similar at the pay-per-view at the weekend.
Yes, I just agree with everything you said here. Backstage, the writer and director of Queen of the Ring is interviewed and plugs his film. I thought he was like a fish out of water at first, and the second half comeback from him was
I think he did this on
unbelievable.
purpose.
To make us think.
And then he whapped it out, didn't he?
Had us in the first half, not going to lie.
Exactly.
Tony Storm joins him and says it's a marvellous film, but she's sad that her gratuitous nude scene was cut. The director reassures her that scene may or may
Now, darling.
may or may not be in his private collection in Mulholland Drive. And she seems quite happy with that. She's like, oh, good. All right,
What a creep.
Yeah. Both of them. Just a pair of freaks.
This gratuitous. My mouth has stopped working. This naughty nude scene involving Toni Storm is now in his private collection.
And she loves that. She's like, oh, good, yes, good.
Send it in the podcast.
No, come
Ash
on.
Avildsen.
Is that what he was called? Tony plugs her upcoming interview with Mariah later on as well.
Which is also fantastic. Yeah, he pulled it around in the end. The now, darling. And then he goes off. I'm all Holland Dry.
It was a stunning comeback from him in this promo.
That made me want to see the film.
No?
He understands wrestling.
Yes.
Based off those 2 lines of dialogue.
I think it's a fair point, though.
But it should be a good film, though. The story of Mildred Burke and all those struggles of...
Yeah.
Like they said, ladies wrestling was illegal back then, didn't it? In the 20s.
It does sound very good. Very interesting. Very good. Very evil. I'm doing Danhausen's thing. I don't know why.
I don't know.
Thunder Rosa teams with Chris Statlander to take on Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. Have you noticed?
Are you going to say... Because I've got written... For those keeping score at home with wrestlers' girlfriends and whatnot.
No, I wasn't going to say that.
All right.
What were you going to say?
Well, Penelope and Megan are Joey's old girlfriend and current girlfriend in a tag team.
Megan's with Joey.
Aye.
Huh.
He must have the biggest
Aye, but
winky that's ever been seen.
Penelope's married to Kip now. It's all water under the bridge, isn't it?
Yeah, but it'd still be a little bit awkward, turtle, shaky palm tree, wouldn't
It would be a little bit like that picture of a young AJ Lee meeting Lita
Yeah.
and a young Roxanne Perez meeting AJ Lee.
No!
He's got a modus operandi.
Stop it, man.
Sorry, no, I didn't mean that.
Why would you say that?
Sorry.
Delete that tweet.
I was only joking. Wrestling fans are going to run with it, and it's going to be awful for a bit.
Imagine it's true. No.
Right, so what I was going to say was that I've noticed that Matthew tries to do Booker T's jokey Penelope, but he gets it wrong in a third way.
How?
He goes like, I'll try and read this as Matthew. Thunder Rosa teams with Chris Statlander to take on Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford.
Oh, yeah, because it ends with very suddenly, doesn't he? Penelope.
He doesn't say it like Booker does. He pulls out the challenge.
Penelope.
As we all know, that's how you get hurt.
It's like Jeff Hardy emphasizes the wrong bit. Penelope.
The heels they show wonderful tactics in this match. They isolate Thunder Rosa and pick up the win with Bayne hitting her F5.
Megan Bayne, the lady of the match again. We're all on the Bayne train.
You would say that, wouldn't you?
Well, I don't think anything of her.
Fair enough.
Physical appearance, Jack. Let me tell you, I think her prowess in the ring is what speaks volumes over her physical beauty.
Given her relative inexperience, she knows her way around a ring.
She picked Thunder Rosa up on her shoulders and hoisted her over the top rope to the floor and then fought F it. I'll do the same to my partner, but throw my partner onto my opponents, therefore making it a devastating maneuver. I thought it was a good back and forth contest by the end. Bayne looking the star of the piece. Her release F5 on Thunder for the win was very nice and tough. She
flip.
Sort of throws him at the same time, but not like an F10.
Yeah.
She does like an F5 with a bit more throw.
I agree, it was very good. What it's kind of shown us is that either that whole horrible miscommunication in that match really was a production issue with no heat between any of the wrestlers, or everyone was just on their best behaviour here.
No,
they all cooperated.
Yeah, no conspiracy theory. Stevie Rich is in the mud.
When Thunder Rosa was laid out after the pinfall, I was waiting for her to just get up and just walk out, because that's what wrestlers do.
Yeah.
But no, not at all.
No, she's a stand-up gal as Thunder Rosa.
Me in the mud as well, I'll hold my hands up, because I did suggest that too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what... I'm a hypocrite.
Oh.
Probably. I can't remember what I said about it.
I took the lead, I think. I was definitely trying to push.
Something definitely went a bit wrong because it was a bit awkward out of the way.
It totally did.
Yeah.
Mercedes Monet's interview backstage. She's loving hanging out with Renee. She's in a great mood.
That's because Renee is like a game of guess the catchphrase. Everyone's favourite game.
Say my catchphrase, Renee. Come on. The money train. The other one.
It is good heelish bollocks, though.
Yeah. She points out that she's beaten Momo Watanabe before. Sorry. Momo Watanabe before. Momo might be one of the best in Japan, but Mercedes is the greatest TBS champion of all time. That's bigger than a country full of wrestlers. And there's no stopping... Sorry, that was very sarcastic of me there. And there's no stopping the money train.
This is true. This is the match I'm least hyped about. Mainly because I don't know much about Momo at all.
They've only given us like one video package, haven't they? Yeah. On Dynamite, they might have on Collision.
Yeah, to be fair. I don't want to be that guy going, AEW needs to have promo packages and long and lengthy history documentaries.
Just a bit more.
Just a little bit more, yeah.
Just a bit more.
Who is she?
We don't even know. For example, she's in like a ruthless heel stable in Japan. We don't really know anything about that. Show her battering some lass.
Yeah.
Yeah. More. Show us it in a more prominent position on the show.
I'm sure we'll get to see plenty when she takes on Serena Deeb, though. What a matchup that will be.
Well, Renee mentions that Momo is facing Deeb on Collision and Mercedes will be there watching. She is confident that Serena will break Momo for her and Revolution will be a walk in the park.
I don't think that will happen,
No, same.
but it'll be good all the same.
Good, arrogant healing from Mercedes once again. Speaking of arrogant heels, Max Caster comes out for his open challenge and tries to lead the crowd in a chant of, "Let's go, Max, you're the best wrestler alive."
Bit Chuck Taylorish.
Bit rippy-offy of Chuck Taylor, yeah.
But it's all right. The Maximaniacs are a thing now.
The Maximaniacs.
That's ripped off of Hulk Hogan, did you know?
Oh, the Animaniac. Oh, right. Oh, yeah.
He fits this role perfectly, does
Yes.
Max Caster. I like to see where... Imagine if it's just that's it. That's his career.
Where's going?
Every single week. I don't know.
That was Heath Slater's career for a while.
Yeah. For a while,
Different
though.
legend. But, oh, yeah, not for the whole thing.
Yeah, where's like there's no theme to it. There's just him calling out wrestlers and getting battered.
Yeah.
At least Heath's had like a Legends theme.
True. He just gets beaten by whoever.
Imagine if in 3 years' time we're sat here. Imagine in 3 years' time we're sat here. That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But then imagine like in 3 years' time we're sat here and Max Caster is still doing this, just every single week.
It's a payday. It's a
It is a
paycheck.
payday.
Pin me, pay me, as they say. Jay White is revealed as his opponent and instantly beats him with the Blade
No,
Runner.
give him his proper name.
Switch.
It's Switch. Shing shing. A little bit of shing shing action.
Jay White is revealed as his opponent and beats Caster instantly. And then, I don't know if this is genius writing or careless writing. Jay gets on the mic and says he and Cope have each other's backs. Now Moxie's all alone, and at Revolution, Jay's going to be there to see Cope become the new world champion.
I liked it because, much like Nerdy John of Brainiac on Sky
John
One,
Tickle.
John Tickle, thank you, walking on custard and other things like that. This made you go, things that make you go, I never considered Switch somehow whizzle-wazzling Cope.
Same.
Or maybe even Christian and getting the contract off Christian
I
because
thought-
we know that contracts, they're not actually what's written
Yeah,
on them.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
just about possession.
I thought that he'd just fallen into the, I'm going to call it the Copey verse, like the Cody verse. With
The Cope Cope text.
Yes, but no, you're right. It was a bit too. What's the point of saying this?
But it does make you go, And I thought it was good for that because I never considered it before.
I now have no idea who's going to win that main event, which is good.
Oh, no, I think Cope's winning. But it
Do you?
depends if Christian cashes in or if maybe Christian cashes in, then Switch does something, or if Switch gets there before
What's-
Christian.
What's Switch? God, if this is just to have him try and cost Cope the match and he overcomes it, that's bollocks.
Oh my God, I never even thought about that either.
But
There's a chance that would
That
happen.
would be such a Cope thing to
That's
suggest.
how Cope's been used in AEW so far, so I can't see that happening. That would be disgusting.
So you
if it
still
happened.
think Cope's winning?
I do think Cope's winning. I think Switch or Christian will get him after the bell.
Yeah, because also Cope. I just keep thinking about how he got choked out and lost the match in Australia, and that's rare
Yeah.
for him to lose.
This gave me hope, though.
Adam Hopeland.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what to think. Can't wait for the ride.
But isn't that a good thing?
Yes, in a way it is. It certainly could be. Renee hosts the sit-down interview between Tony Storm and Mariah May. They've agreed to no physicality, and Mariah immediately spits in Tony's face.
Now, her spit, she's like one of those snakes. It was like a shower full of
was
spit.
it? Oh,
Incredible scene.
great.
Like a Jamie Carragher spit.
I don't know, because this was quite thick.
It was
and
gobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Because it lands on the camera a bit as well, doesn't it?
Not like an MJF spits, literally like he's got cement in his
Oh,
mouth.
I don't like this discussion. This is
Male
awful.
cement.
Just the viscosity of various wrestlers' spits.
But yeah, Mariah's is very like a sprinkler in a garden.
Well, she wasn't in the heat of a match. She wouldn't have been dehydrated at this point. so
He is
maybe-
MJF, it's promos.
Oh, yeah, when he's
I guess he's
talking.
shouting a bit, yeah. Joe, let me spit in your face, see what it's like. I've just been talking for 3 hours.
No, thank
Oh,
you.
fair enough.
Jack's right there.
I'm all right.
I was going to ask next, but he's made that clear already.
Before when I was apologising profusely for spitting. Spitting. They've agreed to no physicality. Mariah immediately spits in Tony's face. May says that Tony plays the victim, but she started all of this. Renee defends Tony and says, "Hey, it was your fault, actually," which wasn't very impartial of Renee, but she's always hated Mariah. That's a thing. May says that Tony and the title are nothing without her. At Revolution, they will both go down together. Storm doesn't reply, so she changes her tune and says, "Isn't this what you wanted, Tony? A trilogy with your greatest co-star. They can have a Hollywood ending they've always dreamed of." Tony says Mariah doesn't deserve that. She sentences her to a lifetime of mediocrity. People will like Mariah, but they'll never love her. She will dwindle and be replaced. People will ask, whatever happened to that Mariah May? Well, she found out what happens when you try to kill God.
Yeah!
They square off, And Renee goes, I hope none of you get hurt in the match. I hope you're all right.
Pray for her, they say at the same time.
They
Which
both
I
go,
could have
"Pray
done
for
without.
her,"
But it's
yeah.
very cinematic. It fits the piece. I was like a big fan of the twist on the Tony Storm character, because this is the first time really that we're seeing this, like a proper serious tone in what she was saying, but it still fits the Tony Storm
Tone.
cadence.
Tone as well.
Tone.
She was a serious tone in this.
Emerson Tone.
I guess. Second time he's
Second
mentioned.
time in a week. I've hit the wall. But yeah, it was a nice twist.
Early 2000s centre back.
Really average footballer. Did he go to Aston Villa afterwards?
I don't know.
Yeah, whatever.
I barely even remember him. Probably like he probably played in the first match I ever went to.
What a great thing to say.
I know.
But yeah, the most serious twist on her promos really fit. I think Mariah May is a better crazy bitch than even Tony Storm is at being a crazy
Sometimes,
bitch.
yeah.
I was unnerved watching the unhinged Mariah May
She's
here.
a scary lady.
Yes.
And yeah, I liked it as well. It also, I think Tony will win, but it made me think the way that Tony was saying you'll get forgotten about, you'll get dwindle, you'll blah, blah, blah. That made me think, that might not happen. I don't know.
I think Mariah's performance here made this one of the matches that is proper up in the air when it comes to the result. I didn't know who to pick in the predictions. I went for Tony just because it is soon after Australia.
Yeah.
But I would not be surprised if Mariah May won. Would not be. She's
I-
brilliant.
Don't Stephen Larson do their predictions with like weighted predictions? They do like confidence points.
I don't know.
So if there's like 7 matches on a card, I think they'll assign each one and they'll wager a number of points on. So like I give this match 4 confidence points. This will be one of my lowest confidence points.
So it's
on
like a
the card.
game of that game I see on YouTube all the time. How many brands of buttons can you name in 60
in 5
seconds?
Yeah.
What's it called?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
They do that, but like it's just so they rank there, so that it's not all like if there's a load of obvious matches, there's at least a bit more risk assigned to them. I suppose it's a good.
We
format.
should steal that and pass it off as our own.
I've thought about this before, and we just can't because they're lovely men, and also because stealing's wrong.
Hey, people steal from us all the time.
Yeah, but stealing's wrong.
I saw a different channel do pitches last week. I was disgusted.
Pitches, the concept of a pitch isn't. But I know, but pitches.
But
was
wrestling
it 9?
pitches
Was it
on
9?
YouTube. What?
Was it 9?
9 on.
If it's 9,
Wasn't he like 12?
It might be, yeah.
12. That's also a multiple of 3 there.
Yeah. Disgusting. Leave it if it's not yours. Leave it alone.
Just while we've gone, we should steal that from Stephen Larson. They were lovely guys. I'd like to meet them again. Actually, they were nice.
So would I.
Them, yeah.
Have you? Because were you fan? Because my mate was like, "You met Stephen Larson," and I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah." He was like, "They were big gaming, like Machinima."
I didn't watch him back in those days, but when Going in Raw started,
Oh,
that's
right.
when I used to listen to that a lot.
I haven't spoken for a while. Got fairly, no, on talking terms, fairly quite close. I was a bit on during lockdown. I was on their channel once, doing something. Really, I've fallen away with everybody really in the wrestling space.
Lovely lads.
Yeah, very good at what they do.
If we ever went to America again for a wrestling show and they were in that town, I'd meet up with them.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure they'd have busy schedules. I'd like to meet up with them.
I'd carry them round the streets on us like a throne.
I would suck no. I'm just trying to escalate it further. It's nearly the end of the.
I would kill all their enemies, and then suck.
Sound like Tony Storm. I will murder your enemy. In the main event, Kazuchika Okada and Ricochet team up against Swerve Strickland and Brody King, and it's a great match.
Oh yeah.
I could have done without it, I think. The heels win after a sneaky belt shot from Ricochet on Swerve, confirming, therefore, in my mind, that Swerve will indeed be winning at Revolution.
Here. Yeah, I agree, because again, the action was fantastic. Like the Swerve stomp while Brody had both lads on his shoulders. A lovely tag team maneuver. Brody slapping Trevor on his bald spot, which is his entire head. That's also fantastic. Trev doing well with his role towards
Less
the
funny
end.
than Cena's bald spot, though.
Yeah.
It's less funny when it's the entire head, surely.
Oh, no, is it? No, because he's owned the baldness.
He has, and he's handsome.
So maybe, no, Cena's is funnier.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Cena doesn't want you to see. He tries to cover it up.
Or
but
like
it's-
Aiden gets so angry. I know I've just mentioned it before, but like the amount of heat that bald spot gets means it's worse. I think.
surely we'll let the heat out with it being.
Come on.
Hey. But I was surprised to see as much action between the lads who actually have matches at the weekend together on Dynamite this week.
Yes, same.
Yeah.
Same. I was also.
But that's not a complaint
but
because the action was
you were
good, yeah.
more surprised in ring, and I was more surprised with regard to results.
Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe. Yeah, because you would assume that maybe Okada would pin someone near the other team.
Yeah, not Ricochet pinning Swerve. Yeah.
Or maybe this is what they want us to think, Jack, and we're just a pair of marks.
I would be very confident in Swerve winning. I'm
You
not
are the
going
king of the smarks,
to
of course.
wager anything. I'm not going to wager anything on it though.
So if it was a confidence pick, how many points are you going to give it?
I need
This
to look
new stipulation we have invented right now.
I'd probably have to see the whole card really. But it would be a lot of points wagered on that one.
Yes, Swerve had Trev beat a few times before, well, I say beat, before Okada flew into breakup. The pin with an elbow drop, a nice moment. Trev winning by cheating. Hell of a kick from Swerve to set up Brody, eliminating him from the Rumble to make room for the finish I've written down. I think they do an over-the-top rope spot at the end, don't they?
Yeah.
I was trying to be funny there, and it not worked.
It was good.
Very good match, though, yes.
Yeah.
A good Dynamite.
A good main event, a good Dynamite.
And it will be the show of the year the weekend because Revolution always is the show of the year.
I would suggest anyone who thinks that should check out The New Beginning in Osaka, which, sorry.
See, King of the Smarks.
It was a really good show. It was it's my show of the year so far.
NXT Vengeance Day, the show of the year.
It was a good one.
JB Inamura. I did a little motion there in the sky of the spunky cock dance.
Oh, right, that's what that was.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how much I like that match.
Okay. We've both done that now then in some form. This.
Joe, what would make you do the spunky cock dance, Joe?
I don't know. I've never done the
Would
spunky
it be a
cock
boat
dance.
full of Saddam Husseins?
And that was This Week in Wrestling.
Let's have a rummage in our mailbags.
It's mailbag time.
Oh, yes, it is.
Good evening, gents. When we saw John Cena... Oh, my God.
Did it say gents or diddlers?
Good evening, gents.
Oh, fair enough.
When we saw John Cena at WrestleMania last year, Jack proclaimed that he thought John Cena, quote, looks like he smells bad. The 3:32:49 mark of the 7-hour bonanza that is the Cultaholic Podcast episode. I don't remember much of that podcast.
Me neither.
326 was the episode.
I'm going to try and get in contact with a local brewery
Oh,
to send us
Do it
beer.
there. Oh, I think we do the podcast there.
No.
For the Mania one.
Send them beer here.
I'd like to go to the brewery and do it.
No.
Imagine
that'd
just
be fun.
People wandering past. What did you think of Cena? They'll be like, what?
We'll get all
Who are you?
self-conscious and it won't be as good.
Well, we'll start off that way.
Once the beers are down. I'm guessing for this Mania we'll do a separate one, separate podcast just for WrestleMania.
I assume so, since we've done it for the rest of them.
There'll
Yeah.
never be another one like that 7-hour one.
But we can still get crunk, guys.
Yeah.
Now, nearly a year later, John Cena is now a heel. And my question is, could the smell that Jack thought he could smell while viewing John Cena possibly be the first signs of the corruption that has now taken over his very soul? Also, can Jack let us know if he thinks any other wrestlers look like they smell bad so we can prepare for a heel turn? Thanks for everything you do, and up the podcast, 4-time Formula One world champion, that arsehole Max Verstappen. You robbed Lewis Hamilton of the... A.K.A. Reece from Wrexham. Thank you, Reece.
Can I just say, the call that John Cena looks smelly is so wild.
No, it's not.
It is.
Only since
He is the cleanest looking guy who has the smallest amount of body odor I think I've ever seen.
I can
since
see
he
it.
came back and was pale. It's the pale.
It's
Yeah.
the pale.
And the way... This sounds so mad. I've really put thought into this, why he looked like he smells bad. It's the paleness contrasting with the blue of his jorts. Something about that, I think, you've just slapped them on this morning. I don't know. I don't really know.
Yeah, I get a smelly vibe. I don't know why exactly.
What? He's the most regimented man this
He
side
was.
of Corporal Cage.
No, if he was regimented, he'd buzz that down and everything, and he'd be...
He's got to play the part, though, and he's got to have floppy hair for the Hollywoods.
I really prefer my buzzed John Cena. I
think
really
everyone
do.
does.
Yeah.
It would certainly hide the bald spot better.
It would.
But in terms of smell, I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Fair enough.
But to be fair, you've been fairly clairvoyant-ish in your description of a smelly
It's
man.
just because I was a CM Punk fan and I hated John. I hate John Cena. CM Punk's real. That was me.
Nah.
In your Von Wagner voice for some reason.
Yeah, well, Punk looks like he smells worse than Cena to me.
Well, he's just a punk from the streets. That's
He's not a
fine.
punk, though, is he? He's a hypocrite. He used to be a punk, but he's forgotten who he is.
Any other
Accept it, Jack.
Any other wrestlers who look like they smell bad, so be prepared for heel turn?
Well, of course, when this question comes up, I've got to mention the guy we used to work with who goes, don't you think Charlotte Flair's feet look like they smell?
I thought that was Pacini who said that.
No,
Oh, was it someone else?
it was someone else. Yes,
And that's a fair shout, but
It's
we
not a
can't
fair
say
shout.
who-
it's not a fair shout. I don't think Charlotte Flair looks like she smells.
Fair enough.
No, I don't know, no.
have no opinions about Charlotte Flair that I can broadcast.
What does that mean?
What?
Nothing.
Have you watched an interview with Bubba Ray Dudley interviewing Charlotte Flair? by
No,
any chance?
I have interviewed Charlotte Flair.
All right, you think she's a bitch?
Oh.
No. Let's. No, she was just a bit unfriendly, that's all. But she was a heel character. Maybe she was in character. I don't know.
Protecting the business, as Matthew would say.
But Andrade was with her, and he was a heel at the time, and he was wonderful.
Well, what did she do to make you feel so uneasy?
She's quite rude to me. I shouldn't say
Go on,
that.
what did she do? This is
Nothing
what-
in particular.
This is what people want to know. And how does she smell?
I didn't. All I remember is that Andrade smelled wonderful. Like, he was really.
Oh, I can imagine that.
Yeah.
He was in a suit and everything. I shouldn't.
What did she do?
No, nothing. She didn't do anything.
Did she spit on you?
No.
Did she
nothing
slap
like
you?
That. No, it's just she was just like how you'd imagine interviewing a heel to be, but like before the cameras were rolling as well. She just went. Oh. I was like, "Are you all right? You ready for the? We're all squashing at this bus." And I
Yeah.
was like, "Are you ready to?" And Andrade's like, "Yeah," and she's just on her phone. And I was like, "Are you all right there?" And she goes, "What?"
Oh my God.
And then I'm like, "Are you ready to do the interview?" Huh? She was just very cold to me. That's all.
She must know who you are.
Maybe I'd said something in the past. Yeah.
Rest of the week.
I
She used to watch every single one.
I should never have got into this. Like, I really shouldn't have.
Oh no, we know that Charlotte Flair's not a nice person.
I didn't say that. Just that day. Maybe she was jet lagged. Maybe she was tired.
Or sick of being on a bus speaking to wrestling
Sick-
people.
Right. It
Yeah.
was almost certainly that.
Or you did something to her.
Or I did something to her, which I can't think of, but you never know.
Charlotte, you look like you smell.
You got more than you bargained for there, Reece from Wrexham, with that answer.
So there's no one else who you think smells? A baby face who
I
smells?
think it's best if we move on.
No, it's
I've revealed far too much.
It's a fun
there.
question. Are there any baby faces you think smell so it can get ready for the heel turn?
No, I can't think of anyone off the top of my head. Oh, there's an obvious one.
Oh, come
You're
on.
saying that 'cause he's a big
I was
boy.
panicking to think of an answer.
Oh,
Hello, Diddlers, and thank you for all you do on the podcast.
not a problem.
I've been a big fan of Cultaholic since the beginning and of Botchamania 2 for many years. I'm sorry that Matthew's not here. Your content also helped me bond with my son during a difficult period when me and his mum separated. He's now 10 years old and we share the love of wrestling and talking about wrestling. So thank you for your hugely positive contribution you've made to both of our lives. That's amazing. Thank you very much for saying that.
Yes.
There's no jokes to be made. It's just a nice thing.
It is a nice thing.
Watching
Does
Elimination...
your son smell?
Watching Elimination Chamber with my son and seeing his sense of shock when Cena booted Cody in the nads.
Imagine being a child when that happened.
I know.
Oh, God.
And then the beatdown that followed got me thinking of a question for you. What is the earliest beatdown that sticks in your memory as a wrestling fan? The one that sticks in my mind from childhood was footage during the first SummerSlam where Ron Bass gouged Brutus Beefcake with his spurs, forcing him to miss his IC title match. As a 7-year-old, it shocked me to the core. It would be great to hear your earliest memories of a beatdown that have stayed with you. Thanks again to all the team at Cultaholic for what you do. From ex-Wolverhampton Wanderers striker Steve Bull, a.k.a. Nick from Wolverhampton.
What a player Steve Bull was.
Thank you, Nick. And thank you very much for the kind words about you and your son.
I've answered this question before on the podcast, but many moons ago, I believe. Ivory versus Tory.
Oh, wow.
Where they get the iron and Ivory puts the... Ivory puts the iron on Tory's back and the iron is on.
Right. Because you can imagine what that feels like.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah, that's the one.
How did they fake that? Was the iron just
Probably a
not on?
sound effect and the iron was turned off.
Is there no mark on it when it's... Is there a cut or something?
Should I try and find it? Have a little watch.
it's
Have a little
I'm
watch.
sure they didn't shoot burner.
Have a little
But it
watch.
was the Attitude Era, so you never know.
Vince Russo was probably like, yeah, whoa, good idea, man.
yeah.
Wow, we were.
I think the first one that really affected me, I don't know if beatdown counts, but I was actually really traumatized by Kai and Ty and Val Venus.
I can see that.
I was only... Well, I didn't see it as it happened. I had a VHS tape that was like the best of Raw.
You know what gives me the winkies most about that segment? It's just the thought of Val Venus being completely exposed and her looking.
Well, he might have had a...
But in kayfabe, he doesn't.
That's not the worst part of what happens
That's
to
an
him.
invasion of private
That's
space.
not the worst part of what happens to him in that segment.
But it doesn't actually happen, though, does it?
Oh, he had a
little bit of shrinkage
at the right time. Yeah.
Saved his winky. Because it was cold.
No, that traumatized me as a kid. And I remember hiding the VHS tape from my younger brother because I thought, you can't watch that, Tom. That's too young. And then I'd hide it under the settee and he'd find it. So I'd come down in the living room and he's busy watching Raw. I'm like, no, Mom, he's found it.
I found a Reddit thread, by the way. Ivory versus Tori on Raw. Someone called Positive Treacle 961 shared it 2 years ago.
All right.
How the heck did they do that spot where one of them burns the other with an iron? It honestly looked real, and the red marks looked legit. And the first comment says, definitely some sort of ink on the iron that transferred because you can see some of it on her shirt.
Clever.
Yes.
Secrets of wrestling revealed.
It would be dark dye from the iron since most of it was on Tori's shirt. Well, it wasn't even that bad at all.
Fair play. But a memorable beatdown nonetheless.
Joel, any beatdowns?
Oh, yes.
No, I can't really think of a specific. What?
How am I, Joel?
What?
Play along.
I don't know. When I was growing up, I remember Ray getting beaten down a lot because he was my favourite.
Oh, is he? You're a Ray guy.
I used to love Ray.
Were you a
Mysterio.
teeny tiny little boy, were you?
Yeah, teeny tiny. Yeah.
That's why people relate, don't they?
Exactly.
This short king taking
Yeah.
at these large kings.
Yeah, him and like JBL beating him down probably. I can't.
The Great Carly.
Yeah. Him and Eddie when they were going back
Batista.
and forth.
That was a bit later, but you
That
were
was
supposed to be
later,
my
yeah.
friend.
Yeah.
Oh, horrible.
My little Ray.
Yep. Thank you for. We did put you on the spot slightly there. But
I
thank
can't
you.
think of one specifically, like the first one.
I remember when one of the Godfather's hoes got put through a table, and then they interviewed her in hospital, and I think it was Victoria,
Yeah, that rings a bell.
and it felt really serious, and I was too young to.
Look at that.
understand what was going on.
Ivory in the original glow.
Yeah, she's an ageless woman. It's weird, isn't it? Her Hall of Fame speech was so lovely.
Yes.
When she says, "I've never gotten married. This is like my wedding," and then she assigns different roles to all the people there.
And then Steve Austin was like, by God, that could have been me.
I thought
That could have been me.
I thought he fancied Sherry.
He fancies a Lillian Garcia, he used to mention on his podcast, and Ivory were the two that used to mention.
Lillian was she was my drinking buddy. No, she wasn't. He didn't fancy Lillian.
He did.
He was my drinking buddy.
That was just how he tried to worm his way in, but Lillian was like, no, Steve.
He fancied Sherry when he was a kid. He said he had a crush on her when he was a youngster. And the Ivory as well, really.
I guess Ivory's a bit Sherry-ish if you look at her.
He's got a type, yeah.
Yeah.
Neither of them,
no.
nothing like Deborah. Yeah, hang on. What's going on?
He's married to predominantly blonde ladies. Bland.
Yeah. What's going on? Anyway. Hey, lads.
Hey.
First, I would like to talk about something you guys have been talking about for the past few weeks. Bob Dylan.
Joel, can we get your face on screen, please? Just I want to see a reaction to what's
He's
about
not
to
even
say.
as big a fan of Bob Dylan as like Owen is, apparently.
No, I do like him though.
Okay.
I appreciate him.
I remember you objected to the Bob Dylan's overrated
He's
talk.
probably the best songwriter of all time, he said.
Yeah, that is what I said.
I am a little younger, so I've not really listened to music from that time period. Mate, we're too young to... Don't do that. Why are you doing
That's
that?
fascinating to think, isn't it?
He went on from the 60s. Why would you say that?
We look like we're about 80 years old, apparently.
When you referenced All Along the Watchtower, I recognised it because the main character from the TV show Lucifer, Tom Ellis, once sang it on the show, and I really liked it. So I thought I should go and listen to the original ones to compare. After listening to Bob's and Jimi Hendrix's version, I can comfortably say that Bob Dylan's version is the worst.
That's fair. I agree.
Okay. But he did write it, so fair enough.
Yeah.
He is awful.
Well, he's not awful, is he?
Anyway,
That's
wrestling. My question is related to something you guys referenced in the Chamber Special podcast from just this week. Now that we know WWE, for example, are feeding misinformation to the dirt sheets, we can maybe guess that they might have done.
I think it was confirmed, wasn't it? Because the whole Drew McIntyre's winning thing.
Do you think there is a risk of them losing their jobs? What, the dirt sheets? I know some people subscribe to their membership plans to get their thoughts on the product, but surely a large portion of the subscribers are there for the inside scoops. If they know that wrong info is being fed and there's no point in subscribing, wouldn't they just cancel it? Would love to hear your thoughts. Thanks, guys. Mac. Thank you, Mac.
I think it is a choppy time for that sort of work at the moment, now that that's out there, that Dr. Chris Featherstone was potentially, not 100% confirmed, but it seems like he was fed a deliberate red herring or a fed herring.
I guess it's a consistency thing. Like if he then starts to get things right again, and it was just a one-off.
That's what I mean. It's going to be a choppy time because now it feels like a journalist might be in two minds about running a story from a certain source that in times gone by, they would have run without a second thought.
Do you think they've got a group chat? Oh, no, because journalists don't share their sources with each other, do they?
Oh, no. That's irresponsible.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, you can't do that. Because that's a mark of a journalist, is just how good your sources are. Like, Meltzer's had a horrible few years getting stuff wrong. But I assume that's because he's got his sources, which are now getting fed stuff that's not right. Yeah.
To a permanent end.
It has been compromised to a permanent end, basically. So, yeah, because obviously Meltzer was the guy for years. And that's because he had the best sources.
His sources were like The Rock.
Jericho.
Not The Rock.
Probably still is Jericho for AEW stuff.
Yeah. What was I going to ask there? Do you see the Sean Ross Sapp tweet?
No.
It's weird.
I have him muted. I got bored of all. Don't say nasty things about me. What did he say?
He tweeted saying, a wrestler has just told me that they have a burner account, like a Smark Twitter account that has like 20,000 followers. And they told me I could either reveal the account, learn the name of the account, but never publicly reveal it, or I could reveal that I know this info, but never be told who it is.
Oh,
And he chose that
wow.
one.
What?
So in neither situation was he allowed to reveal who it was behind the account, but he could either keep that information to himself and learn who it is.
That would be very valuable for Sean, who gets riled up by even people with 2 followers, never mind 20 when they tweet at him.
Or, well, he was told by the person who runs the account, I guess. And they went, I have a burner account.
And it's a WWE talent, right?
Did he?
I think it's WWE.
So he said, yeah, I know a talent who runs a burner account with 20,000 subs, and they've told me I can either reveal this info, which I'm doing, but they'll never tell me the name of the account, or I can keep it to myself and they will tell me.
If that wrestler's watching this podcast...
He's just a man of the people, guys.
If that wrestler's watching this, I will keep that information stuff if you tell me.
Yeah.
And me too.
Yeah, me too.
And nearly everyone, actually. Which makes me think, was this like a Cody Rhodes thing? I would never sell my soul. My sources are these people. And I'll never do that.
I should say, I do like and appreciate Sean Ross Sapp. It just annoys me.
Arguments, isn't it?
It annoys me how he's reached. He is the top journalist in wrestling now. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
And he keeps answering these people who are just trying to rile him up.
Yeah.
Rise above the hate. I know it's hard to say that,
Rise
but rise
above
above the
hate.
hate, Sean.
Hustle. No, I agree. Reece is... Oh, wait. That was the mailbag.
Wait.
And thank you for that mailbag.
Christ alive.
You're right.
We are getting old, aren't we? I just went like that and he put my shoulder out.
Oh, how did Lesnar do it all those years?
I don't know.
Mailbag at cultaholic.com is where you can send in your lovely questions.
Ooh.
Good evening, diddlers.
Hello
There it is.
there.
I wanted to pay homage to a certain special person whose name has been popping up on the podcast quite a lot recently. They are known for their sense of fashion, culinary skill, and their taste in men. Can you guess who it is?
How I guess who it is, Joe?
I've read this.
Before you all get too excited, I am of course talking about dear old Jeffrey Dahmer. With his glasses now proven to improve a wrestler's abilities, I wondered what other styles of glasses could a wrestler pull off. I've sent in a list of 10 images of different styles of glasses and tried to find people who look really cool wearing them. All you have to do is pick a wrestler to spec up and step out. Past or present, male or female, fastest thought first. I'll put my name here in case any of the email gets cut off by mistake. Thanks for everything you guys do on the pod and everyone else for all they do with the channel. This podcast is something I actively look forward to every week. Rangers and Newcastle legend and proud dog father Peter Lovenkranz.
Yeah.
Also known as Callum from Cleethorpes. Ross has attached descriptions as getting pictures for all would be too much. Oh, is that you?
Yeah, I put that a little because there are pictures of people who look cool. I'm going to get the email back up so I can reveal who looks cool wearing these glasses from the celebrity world. Some of them are like what's that company called who does the pictures I have to pay for? I've forgotten what they're called.
Getty,
that's the one. Thank you. Some of them are Getty images, so we can't actually use them.
I see. But thank you for the question anyway, Callum. We'll try and work around that. And
Yes,
we'll go
we
through these
will.
now. So it's which wrestler would look the best, would look really cool wearing these different types of glasses. I already know my favourite type of glasses. Sunglasses, that is. Clubmasters. Which I think,
They're a bit like these, yeah.
but with you want the thick top and the thin.
Yeah, I like them.
I like them.
For
It's a
sunglasses,
retro.
yeah.
It's a timeless look.
It's timeless.
Timeless.
I prefer them to the Aviators, which is thin all the way around.
Yeah.
Or the Bubba Ray Dudleys, which is that Wayfarers? I don't know. We'll learn. We'll learn.
We will learn.
I got some fake Ray-Bans once, and they broke like instantly, man. Right, anyway, so I'm just thinking about it now. No, I got them from China. Someone from the office recommended it to me, and they were like, yeah, it's sound. You can get it from China for dead cheap.
It was Sam.
It wasn't. And it took like 4 months to arrive, and then they broke.
Oh,
They're
no.
like way too small for my head or something. They were women's sunglasses and flimsy too. Right, anyway.
I think I've lost the email, by the way, that the Reese's Pieces was sending. I'm going
It's
through
okay. We don't
I'm going
need it,
through the
really.
deleted filter. It was just I remember Sabrina Carpenter was one of them for one of the style
she
of glasses.
is unreal. What?
Does she wear glasses?
In a music video, I think.
Ah.
Yeah. I should not have said that.
The Brits was an interesting time this year. I found it.
Hey!
Right, so what is the first type of glasses?
Are we going to have some pictures or just none?
I don't know.
And then if you want to just
Getty in that.
look at Google,
Right.
if you want to type it in while we're going, Joe.
The first type of glass is the Harry Potter round glasses.
Wow.
We know
Here I
what
want
he looks like.
So
Popcorn, we got any?
Which wrestler would be enhanced by wearing the Harry Potter glasses?
Oh, no, we need the person wearing the glass. Oh, it doesn't matter.
Who on earth?
Oh, dear me. There he is.
There he is.
Get him.
Fwah.
The Dark Lord. Who would look good in them?
Andre Chase.
You're going to say him for everyone.
I'm going to
No.
go with... I think... You know when a really attractive person gets bored and starts wearing mad stuff to see how weird stuff they can wear and still be attractive?
Why, yes, I do.
But you put them on them. It's crazy. Owen mimicked playing the harmonica on our stream, and I nearly wet myself.
Made you
Just the way he
explain
did it
the
was
harmonica.
no, he mimed playing a harmonica. And it was. I've never seen anyone move like it because we've got to play. Oh. We've got a player on our team called Dylan. So we
He
sing
was telling me about
we sing
him.
like a Rolling Stone when he scored.
Uh,
And Owen, we were going. We used to once upon a time, just and then we were like, no, let's carry on now. Let's carry on watching the match. And Owen just went. I nearly wet myself.
he was telling me about. Does he play up front for you?
He's like a left winger / striker. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just. Ross tried to put his sunglasses on before. His glasses on, and it was just the way he did it made me laugh a lot. Yeah. Like on our stream this week when you mimicked playing the mouth organ, the harmonica.
Where do you want me?
Come over here.
It was so rambunctious. I've never seen you move like that before.
Let's have a look at how the harmonica's played.
Where am I going? Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I'll do it into the mic.
you don't need to do something. No, that was not what you did. Get out.
Oh,
I did.
he's disappointed.
No.
I can't think of what else.
You went like this. You went like. Boom! It was like proper like you went for
think
it.
we just scored.
We had
I
just
need to- I need to get some
in your
celebration.
defence.
Sorry for setting you up like that.
We had just scored. I'm sorry.
Yeah, emotions were flying.
They were the goal. You didn't see the goal, Ross.
What goal was it?
He's got a miss. He's got a miss. He's got.
I was telling Joel about this.
Yeah.
Unbelievable goal. I started to do that. Sorry about that, Owen.
Oh, poor Owen.
I started to do that. Congrats on the win last night in the Champions League, by the way. Up the Reds.
Oh, piss off.
Alison Becker, what a man.
With the goal, he picks it up on the halfway line, just goes on a mazy one, and I start going, he's got a bit, and then he did. He just banged in from like 20 yards. I was like, oh.
wow.
And then Owen played the Harry Potter. I'm going to go for Tyler Bate. I think he could
I
wear.
think he's got
Yeah.
some anyway.
There we go.
Yeah.
Joel, he's an attractive man who just starts wearing mad stuff and is still attractive, and I hate him for that.
I would say Sean Spears.
Why not?
Yeah, exactly.
We're just
I can
choosing-
see it.
Yeah. The next one is the example is Dame Edna Everidge with her cat eye.
That's the example given in the email. It's just a doll wearing the cat eye glasses.
Well, just type in Dame Edna. Yeah, we'll see what she.
That sort of cat eye look.
Yes.
I mean, it's a
Pretty Deadly. One of Pretty Deadly.
Great shout. I'm going to go for Mercedes Moné. Although
Yeah.
she wears the Kanye's, doesn't she? Do you remember the ones that were popular?
Old Adolf Hitler.
You know, I just associate them with Kanye West around the time of Graduation, that album. With the bars across the
bars,
glass. The new
yeah.
rave glasses. I had a pair, we all had it. Mine said VK on the side, because I think I got them at a VK club night or whatever.
That tweet came out when I was getting tattooed, or it was the day after that tweet. That was the talk of the town.
Yeah, that's mad, that.
Old Adolf Hitler.
No, stop.
Or Adolf Hitler.
He's really wrecked his reputation, big style.
Has he?
Maybe. Joel?
Maxine Dupree.
You
Fair.
pervert.
What?
The Wayfarer, which are your classic black Ray-Bans, which I think are the Dudley ones, maybe.
Joel is good.
Right.
It's hard. I've got a microphone in one
There
hand.
your Bubba
The
Rays.
sunglasses there.
There you-
Second on the second down.
They don't need to be
There you go.
sunglasses. They don't need to be sunglasses, do
That's
they?
the example given, though.
There you.
That is the same picture. In the
They made
email.
me think of Bubba Ray, the guy from Wheatus.
I mean, that looks like Ricky Saints to me, so I'm going to go
same.
Ricky Saints.
That's what I
Damn
thought
it!
as well.
You've taken a good one. Then I'll go for Bubba Ray Dudley. It's boring.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
What's next?
Oh, sorry. It's the ones I mentioned. It's the Clubmasters, like Ross's, but sunglasses.
Mine with sunglasses.
Get in.
Here's the picture used. I don't know who this is.
That's me. They're fantastic. Look at them.
They're very versatile glasses.
I'll go for Cody Rhodes.
LA Knight.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've got a pair of them at home.
They're the
I'll
best
have-
ones, man.
I'll have to show you these Ray-Bans I got for my holidays this year. They're outrageous. I don't know if I can pull them off. Richard Tubman could pull them off.
Oh,
but
I
don't know if
wouldn't go for
can.
the ones with the Joel can pull them off because you've got them on your glasses there. But I wouldn't go for the one. I'd just go for black ones. Yes. Good.
What's next?
Oh, I thought you did.
You're the host.
Did you say? Oh, you.
The Rock.
Okay. The biker, racist, loves shooting. Could also be construed as sunglasses seen on the cricket field, though.
Yes. That's
Oh, the
example-
wraparound.
That's the example given.
Like these?
Yeah.
More like that, Joel, if you can see. If you can see the...
I also associate them with
okay.
like arsehole middle-aged dads who go like
Yeah.
mountain biking and that.
Like this man.
They've got more exposed lens at the bottom if you can find. Just type in cricket sunglasses. That's what
He looks
resonated
like
with
Sting. Sunglasses.
More like them,
there.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's Virat.
Up the Coley.
He's actually a bit of an arsehole now, isn't he?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you're going to get to that point, aren't you?
I guess so. My word, who do we go for here then?
The Outrunners.
Yes.
But not because they're racist, but because they're retro in nature.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'll go for... I really don't know. Please, Joel, go ahead.
I could see Otis pulling these.
Damn
off.
it!
Yeah.
I'll go for Tozawa then. Oh, damn it, it's not original, but Tozawa could also pull them off.
For this next one, Jill, just type in Sabrina Carpenter glasses.
These are the ovals, described as with ovals, but horizontal. Oh,
The
I get it,
apex
I
of
see.
the...
Oh,
that
she wears
top right,
She
top
wears
right.
so many different kinds of glasses.
There you go. That's what
oh,
I'm
right.
God, that doesn't even look like it.
Retro. Sabrina Carpenter pulls them off really well, it turns out. Oh, Callum.
That was me. That was my note.
Callum, I'm so sorry.
That's more Maxine Dupree.
It's hard to think of. I'm trying to be subversive and go for a male wrestler wearing them, but it's hard to think of a man's face on those style of sunglasses.
Dion Lennox.
Yeah, why not? You know, handsome glasses wearing man. I'm gonna go for the most Sabrina Carpenter-esque wrestler I can think of in WWE, Liv Morgan.
What?
Small and blonde and evil.
Tiffany Stratton's
Yeah,
there.
Tiffany.
How on earth is Tiffany like Sabrina Carpenter?
Oh, she looks more like
Does
her.
she? I just meant in,
She looks so similar.
I just meant in terms of aura. No, I just meant aura.
All of it is Sabrina Carpenter when it comes to Tiffany Stratton.
She doesn't look that much like Tiffany Stratton or Liv Morgan. I don't see it.
Oh! Do you
What?
remember a few weeks ago when Nia Jax? There you go.
It's the keyboard.
It's
It's
a
the
difficult
keyboard.
keyboard. Loads of people say Sabrina Carpenter's like Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah, but I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that similar.
It's cut and dry.
No, look at that's two different women.
That is the scene there, Joel.
Look at
Oh
that.
well, when she's dressed like her.
Joel at the bottom.
What?
Nia Jax, it was like, oh, look, it's Jennifer Lopez choking Sabrina
That
Carpenter.
looks so much like Sabrina Carpenter.
She looks like her that one night.
And this one.
That she's dressed like her, but she doesn't look like her in the face. I disagree. Anyway, I'm going for Liv Morgan. I'm sticking by it
Fair.
because I think she has similar cavorka to Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah, fair enough.
I've never heard Sabrina Carpenter talk.
She's very sarcastic.
I've only seen her dance on the stage while singing.
She's funny.
Yeah,
And
she's
miming.
actually really funny. Yeah.
Miming some inappropriate things at the Brits.
She was too
Yeah.
good for Buzzer Keown, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Oh, what an idiot he is if he did cheat
He's
on
a
her.
weird. Well, he might be alright. I don't know.
Little funny weird man.
Quite a good actor.
What's next there, Jack?
Owie. I didn't know if Joel had given one.
You'd probably say Maxine Dupree.
Yeah, yeah.
The next one are the Deirdre Barlows. We all know. We can just picture them if we're
Oh, no,
English.
Americans might not know the Deirdre Barlows.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
the picture you're looking for, Joel, in particular.
This one.
There,
There
the
it is.
classic. Ava.
Ha
Ah!
Ah!
Seth Rollins.
Ho ho! Triple H.
I was too young to remember this at the time, but when Deirdre got arrested, apparently the nation was in uproar. It's just a storyline.
I know she got framed for something. I can't remember what it was.
Free the what's the county called? The Coronation Street's in, or the Weatherby?
Weatherby.
It's not Weatherby.
Weatherfield.
Weatherstall. It was like free the Weatherfield 1 or something like that. Apparently, my mum was like, "Oh, the nation lost its mind when Deirdre got wrongly imprisoned."
Yeah. Is that young Deirdre Barlow there next to it? Two along, Joel.
What's going
Aren't they?
on?
That's not her.
No, that's Deirdre
Barlow.
Number 8 is the Hearts. Glasses, but heart-shaped. But they've spelled it the Hearts as in Bret Hart. But I think... Oh, because the Hearts would wear them. Of course they would. Well, I have to go for one of the Hearts then. What? I don't know what to do.
Natalia.
Kevin Owens, because he loves cosplaying as Bret Hart.
LA Knight.
Oh.
See him pulling them off.
Playful side of LA Knight there.
Yeah. More his old gimmick, I guess.
Give me a bit of an LA Fright if I saw him. The Eltons are next. Fancy coloured lenses.
Now, the picture given here is this one.
The classic what you picture when you think of Elton. Not young Elton John. Wig Elton John. Post-wig.
Top left there. That's the picture
he is,
given.
There he is.
I mean, I can't pick anyone else but Elton Prince, surely.
Paul Heyman for me. Just inexplicably 1 week he's just in them. He wears the Hearts as well. Good for him. It's all right if you don't have one.
Maxine Dupree.
Yeah, she could pull them off. Yeah. I could see that.
And last but not least,
Now,
of
Joe,
course,
please Google this name because lots of people might not know who it is.
Jeffrey Dahmer. Oh, no. Oh, God.
There he is. The man who gave...
He said there he is, like he was approaching the green in a golf... There he is now.
There you go. Gwyneth Paltrow is on the Dharma train.
Oh, my God, she is.
Wow.
Oh, that's terrifying.
I mean, she's not weird with her poo-scented candles, whatever she does.
No. Is that Logan?
That is Logan Paul wearing some Dharmas. Far left there, Joel. You see? Oh, well, they might be. It depends what the bridge in the middle, don't
He
they?
is straining there. He's probably laughing at a dead...
They're not Dharmas.
They're not Dharmas at all. We've been... I'm trying to think of Rick Rolls, but Dharma version.
Where's the Dharmas? Ricochet.
Ricochet.
We know what the Dharmas should look like.
The Dharmas make you more evil than you already are. So we're looking for someone who is evil, but could be eviler.
I'm going to go for... I think he needs it maybe a little bit. Austin Theory.
Jay White.
Nice.
Even though I know he's a babyface now, but he can't
Oh,
be...
not for long.
Karrion Kross.
That might be the key we're looking for
Yes.
to unlock the potential of Jeffrey Cross.
Jeffrey Cross there. That was a wonderful, if a bit haphazard Reese's Pieces there. But thank you very much to Callum from Cleethorpes for... I'm always jealous of people from Cleethorpes.
Why?
Because when we went to Grimsby, do you remember that? Like it just wasn't bouncing, Ross. It just wasn't bouncing. We went on the pub on the boat was fun, but everybody because I'm a friendly lad. I made some friends on the pub on the boat. You know, what am I talking like this for? I don't know. I made some friends because I was drunk, and then they were all like, "But we were going back to the hotel." They were like, "Are you coming out?" And I was like, "No, we're going back to the hotel." Anyway, nowhere's open, and they were like, "Yeah, we're all going down to Cleethorpes." That's what everyone in Grimsby does. When they want to go for a night out, there's now in Grimsby, so they go to Clee.
But what if Cleethorpes is crap?
In my mind, because I never went, it's like a magical...
That might be the only
like,
choice to
place.
have.
It's like a magical land.
Because Grimsby was rotten.
I like the pub on the boat.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Well, it showed like
But it was
7.
like the only pub. Yeah. And it was like a weekend, I'm sure.
It was a Saturday.
Jesus. You're from further south than us. Have you ever been?
It's Cleethorpes.
Or Grimsby?
No,
never
I
mind.
don't think so.
Henry did a heel promo song on the worst wrestling fans in the world are from Grimsby. Cleethorpes fills me with the rage that's within me. It's very good. So suck on my balls. It's really good.
Wow.
And he says at one point the ugliest fans in the world are from Grimsby. And on his Tron, it just picks out individual people in the crowd. I'm like, oh, Joe, no.
Oh, that's good.
That was before he became the biggest babyface in the world. Anyway, thank you very much, Callum from Cleethorpes, and thank you to everybody who wrote into the mailbag as well. You can do at mailbag@cultaholic.com.
That's it. That's
I
it.
thought we had more to do, but we've done other things.
We've done everything now. There's no need to break for another segment.
And that's the end of the podcast. Thank you, Ross, for joining me in this.
Thank you, Jack,
Thank
for
you, Joel.
enduring this
Thank
marathon
you.
afternoon.
We've done all right, though.
Ah.
Matthew will be back next week, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Whether Tom knows it or not, Matthew will be back next week.
Whether he wants to or not.
Or is he coming? Did he say he was flying back on Thursday?
No, he said he was coming back like Monday, didn't he?
Oh, yes, it is Monday.
Hopefully
Thank you, Joel,
he
yes.
brings no diseases with him this time. He always gets ill when he goes.
He does always get ill.
Does, yeah.
Well, it's wrestling fans, isn't it? Spend too much time in a hot room with wrestling fans, you're going to catch something.
There's a lot of shows he goes to over there. He goes to the Carrot Tournament and sometimes Ambition, I think, the shoot style one. Yes.
Yes, he does.
I hope he has a wonderful time, and I hope you've all had a wonderful time as well, listening or watching this podcast. I've been Jack. This has been Ross. This has been Joel. Anything to plug?
Patreon today, WTF4 Elimination Chamber went live. Patreon next week, maybe a bit earlier in the week. We'll see how we get on. WTF for Elimination Chamber. No, for Bloody Revolution.
Yeah.
I can't
He's
talk.
done it again. He's punched the table again.
That'll be live then. But yeah, keep your eyes on all the stuff we do at the weekend. I'm a solid boy.
Whoa.
Don't mess with me. I'll break your face. Yeah, there's no live stream this weekend though, because again,
Aye.
I've got insomnia. It makes no sense to stay up. We couldn't find someone to take me place this time.
I'll be doing what happened after the pay-per-view, and predictions are on the channel already.
They
by the
are.
time
Me
this
and
comes out.
Sam are live. Punishment will be revealed on the Patreon next week. We've got the spinny wheel gimmick, which is fun.
Who am I in with on Saturday night? Then?
It'll be me.
Sunday night. Sunday
me.
night.
Sunday night,
Sunday
thank you.
night. Me and Pierce.
Oh, the boys.
Yep.
I don't know. I'd have said that regardless of who But I like you and Pierce, don't worry. It'll be good. Good night.
So you saying that makes me feel like you don't.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, why'd you say that?
No, I do. I'm just worried now that it came across that way. Damn it. I've overcorrected. So yeah, look out for what happened out of that on the channel, and then we'll talk all about it next week. Good. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you very soon. We're going to point at the screen, and we're going to say...
Great week for the Dharmas. 3, 2, 1.
Great
week for the Dharmas. In the 1974 Diddler World Championships, the winner of the Hall of Fame this
it's
week.
kicking off.
I'm cutting that bit out.
Oh.